Tell the machine we're going live.
It's not
that is a fact. We are going live, and we are live, and we have to talk about why the playoffs are better than ever, y'all. We got 6 series right now that are 3-2. And, like, we can't ask for too much more as basketball fans, as basketball savants, as people that work directly with the NBA. It doesn't get too much better than this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a treat right now. I do want to ask you guys at some point in this show, which team that's down 3-2 is going to come back? But before I do anything, Chilltown, you had something that you wanted to say?
Mars, you suck. Yes, Mars, you suck. And you know why you suck, Mars? Because you're going to get exactly what you asked for. We're going to get 3 Game 7s. Yes, we 100% are. We 100% are. That series is coming back to Detroit for Game 7. Yes, it is.
Mars.
So why do I suck?
Not only is that series coming back, that series is going back to Los Angeles for Game 7 too. Yes, it is. No doubt. And I think, as much as I don't want to, but I think that Boston series is going 7-2.
Ooh. That's the only one you're probably wrong about, but I'm hoping you're right.
I think that Boston series is going 7. But you suck, Mars. You know why you suck? Because the drama is necessary, but I don't love it. Even though we need it, I don't love it. And you're going to get what you asked for, Mars. You 100% going to get it. You're going to get at least 1 Game 7. At least one of these Game 7s, Mars. Yes, you are.
We'll get every single Game 7 we're going to get. And I'm picking, I got Denver. Spoiler alert. I got Denver. I got Houston. I got Detroit. I got Philly. And who's the other teams?
Lakers, Rockets.
Well, yeah, obviously I got Houston. Any other teams still playing?
Yeah, next
Raptors.
Oh no, those series are over. We don't care about those series.
Okay.
So the series where there's
you got
a comeback on the line. Yeah, the series where there's a comeback on the line. I got Houston, I got Philly, I got Denver, and I got the other team. I forgot them. I got them.
Hey Ron, I'm telling you right now, Ron, real quick. So as like I should do as a ball player, if you didn't buy that seat, you can't yell at me. So Cantrell, I tell you right now, if you didn't buy a ticket, I ain't listening to a word that you saying. Get him out of here, Ron. If he ain't buy a ticket, if he ain't dropping the super chat or nothing like that, get him out. I'm not trying to hear it from him. No, you are not going to be one of them fans yelling at me. You're not going to be one of them fans.
Yo, come get his ass.
Put him up. You can put him upstairs. Put him upstairs in the nose.
Him right there.
Do that. Put him, because you can yell from up there, but you're not going to sit in the front row with all the expensive seats and yell at me the whole game. Nah. When you actually didn't even buy the ticket, you got the ticket from somebody else. No, show him the door.
I'm sending security right now. Go get him, Swiper.
Get him out of here.
Go get him, big guy.
If you
take care of him.
If you bought a ticket now, Carson, I got no problem.
We started early today.
I hear you.
But you ain't buy a ticket? Nope. Get him out of here. Nope.
I hear you on this, Chill. I don't hear you on why you don't want more Game 7s, though.
Thank you,
it's the 2 best words in sports. It's going to be amazing.
The reason why is because I'm getting too old for this shit. This shit is getting my blood
It is
pressure
kind of
up.
stressful.
That's why. This shit is stressing me out, yo.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. As much as I love Game 7, like 1 I can handle. Like, can you imagine if we got like 4 or 5 Game 7s?
It'd be insane.
What?
I think there's a lot of crazy history on the line this series. Like, I do think there's a real chance that we see 2 or more 3-1 comebacks. Probably just 2. We're probably not getting 3 of them, but that's never happened in the same playoff round in NBA history. It's crazy.
I think the last time
and we can dead like we can dead the best of 5 like in the first round. I know that was like a early conversation when teams were up 2-0, but
that used to be a thing.
We can dead that. Yeah, we can dead that. That's not coming back. The teams are too talented, man.
Dude, best of
OKC
7 is the
Phoenix
best.
Could have been a best of 5. OKC Phoenix could have been a best of 5.
That could have just been a bye. We didn't have to play that series at all.
It could have been, but
okay, so you should
fellas,
have to win 6 games in the.
Let's go ahead and start with, to me, the most glaring game. And the reason why I want to start with this game and with this series is because it has absolutely been a slugfest. Both teams have knocked each other out, and they both it's almost like Rocky versus Rocky, where it's like they both keep knocking each other down and they both just keep getting up. And it's like, why are the Pistons and why are the Magic this physical, yet they're this young? And also we had 2 stars do pretty impressive things for being the age that they're at and doing what they did last night with Paolo Banchero and Cade Cunningham both having 45-point games last night. Let's talk about this series, y'all. The Pistons won last night. The series is now 3-2 in favor of the Magic. Talk to me, guys. What are we seeing in this series, and especially in the game last night?
Oh, I don't know. We should probably let other people speak. What do you think happened?
Do you want a victory lap?
No, not victory lap. I'm not. I'm legit.
That's what it sounds like.
No, victory
I
lap.
saw your tweet
it sounds like
alluding
I just want a
to
victory
me.
lap.
Hello.
It sounds like
I saw your tweet.
Here, Swiper, Chill already addressed them. You could address them right now.
Like, if you want a victory lap, just
There
say
you go.
it.
No, I
Okay,
want a victory lap. No, I know.
Paolo is who you said he was.
I was riding by Anthony Black
Swiper.
already. I'm good. I've already got my victory this year. By the way, made some good plays yesterday. This is not even my
He did
mark.
hit some victories.
He did, and he had a. It was a block, or was it a rebound? It was a rebound that he got on the ground and ended up going 2 or 3. This is really about Carson. That's what it really is. Carson he is not bag FC in any way, shape, or form, unless it's Shea, obviously.
It's a great bag.
Carson.
Well, okay, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Paolo's
let me
bag.
set it up. Let me set it up, Carson, because I know you're obviously great at what you do, bro. So, Carson, you've been pretty hard on P5, and so this is. I'm a fair.
As he should have.
No.
Been.
This is different.
Thank you, Jill.
Let me
Carson
get my
has been
Seattle gear.
unreasonably unfair on P5. I agree with you on P5's flaw. I've heard you talk about P5. Like, I think this would be a great opportunity for you, Carson, to use your vast knowledge of the sport as a former hooper, but also, somebody who dives into it with Nurse Dash, to give Paolo some praise for the fact that we have seen 3 playoff runs now, 3 of them, where he's legitimately won on star runs versus good defenses. Detroit, he did it versus the Celtics, and then he did it versus the Cleveland Cavaliers a few years ago. For whatever reason, when Paolo gets into a half-court setting in the playoffs, he turns into LeBron James. And we've seen him now go on some great scoring runs. And again, game 7 in 2022 or whatever that was, or 23. And then you had the series 24. In the first 3 games last year versus Boston. And then you have this year where he's legitimately looking Cade Cunningham in the face saying, Carson, who's the captain now? And he had 18 points in the 4th quarter yesterday.
He did. No, Paolo
threes.
was incredible yesterday. Paolo was incredible. My frustration with him is the inconsistency and some of the big flaws that he does still have. That being said, I mean, last night was amazing, but also he did a lot of good stuff. When he makes 6 threes in a game, I just almost want to write that off. Like, obviously not in the context of, oh my God, he was great last night. That was part of it, but that's not sustainable to me. And the weird thing is, like in the Cleveland series, that was part of it, right? This outlier jump shooting from a guy who in the regular season is the worst volume jump shooter in the NBA every year. In this series, it's not like he's been consistently leveling up as a jump shooter. I mean, he was 4 of 15 on threes going into last night. He'd been a disaster as a jump shooter. What he was doing really well was the playmaking. That's what's impressed me most from this series from Paolo, because he's always had that potential, but then he does get in this mode sometimes where he's making really bad decisions and he gets some scoring blindness downhill. I think he's done a great job of anticipating the help, understanding they're going to pack the paint like crazy. I'm not going to be able to score much at the basket. Paolo's shooting like 47% inside of 8 feet because the help has been so good. The rim protection's been so good, but he's either going to draw a foul.
Yep.
Yeah, genuinely reminiscent.
First time he had ever been in the playoffs. Can't use that excuse for Paolo.
That's true, but Paolo does get to the line literally as well as any player in the league when he commits to playing downhill, and he's doing a good job of creating open threes for his teammates in this absolute slogfest series. Some bad turnovers last night, some issues when he did kind of try to force the issue in traffic. I do wish he was a more reliable free throw shooter, but he has these great performances. It's all about, to me, him committing to being the 6'10", 250-pound bully ball force that he is. That's why when you talk about Bag FC, Paolo should not be part of Bag Nation. That's not his strength as a player. His strength is I'm skilled enough and I am way too big and I am way too strong. And when I get good position and when I get a Duncan Robinson switch or I get a Karis LeVert switch, they cannot deal with me physically. And then when he's making good decisions, creating for teammates, Paolo's a really good player. So I did say that I was done with him. And the reason I said that, this was before the playoffs, is because I treated him very differently a couple years ago compared to now. A couple years ago, I was saying, okay, some of you guys think Paolo is what he can become already, but that doesn't mean he can't become that because you saw all of these great traits that he did have. I just want to see him, and this still applies, even though you're right, maybe he is just a playoff riser, be more consistent in his progress, because I really did feel like he stagnated over the last 2 years. And he was great yesterday. I still can't
to be
sit here
fair,
and say, like,
Carson,
he's been great in this series, though, because
to
he
be fair,
was 4 of 18 and 6 of 17 the 2 games before this.
No, but to be fair, last year he did rise in the regular season. He just had a month, and then he got hurt, and then he came back.
Well, that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough
injuries
because the oblique was a factor for sure, but he was rough after that. But yeah, you're right. It's tough to parse. But I guess the thing is, okay, this year he was fully healthy essentially, and the jump shooting was actually worse than ever before, and the decision making hadn't progressed, and he was still, even though he cut down on the jump shooting volume a bit, still living off of those shots more than I would like. But yeah, I mean, I think since the second playing game, the first playing game was awful. He's mostly been playing the right way. I don't think he's really going to progress as a jump shooter at this point. I think he is who he is in that regard, with some exceptions like last night. But I think, like,
he's shooting 40% from three in his playoff career on 5.5 attempts a game. So, like, I'm not saying it's like much of anything other than, like, he's shown to be able to do it. But I also think, Carson, just to maybe get into your brain a little bit, because again, I've been listening to Carson. I've listened to you for a long time, so I it's kind of unfair. I know how you think, so, like, you know, I'm kind of already inside your head a little bit.
Right.
Ron, if there was anything in there, it's just right now, chill. Everything when somebody blows in your ear, Ron, it's empty. There's nothing in there. So I'm not talking to you, Carson. In this situation, I think for someone that values size, length, and athleticism as much as you do, and someone who has something that is literally unstoppable, which is his ability to get to the rim in a half-court setting in the playoffs, is something that makes him one of one. The fact that he is 6'10", 250 pounds, and literally once he decides, Cade, Asar, Tobias, that I'm going back down to the rim, he's been able to get to the rim at will in this series. And I think what's happened is he's gotten more confident as the series has gone along. And I think yesterday was more of him kind of telling the world that I feel really good about myself. But also, we haven't even brought this up. Franz wasn't there yesterday. Everybody, and a lot of people believe Franz is the best player on the team. So he was without his best player on the team on the road with a bunch of stinkers around him. And Wendell Carter had his worst game of the series, maybe. And then even still with that, he was a +8 in the fourth quarter with 18 points and absolutely went to work versus Cade and outplayed Cade in the fourth, respectfully to Cade. Like, I think the thing is that there are definite criticisms with Paolo. But Carson, if you told me 2 years from now when he's 25, because he's currently 23 years old, that he has put his game together, he's a much more well-rounded player, less reliant on like some of those bad twos that he ends up taking, and he's a 36% three-point shooter. But again, like the handle, the drive, the post-up game he did, and the sheer fact that he's able to bully everybody in front of him unless you're a center. I just think that there's so much about his game you can look at and say, it might not be 45 a night or 35 a night like Shield would like in sometimes, but I think that this could be a really good player. And I think this playoffs has been a great example of, even with the flaws, he's still one of the best players in the playoff setting.
One of the main reasons, matter of fact, go ahead, Carson, keep going, because you rolling.
No, go ahead, Chill. Go ahead, Chill.
Kick the rock to Carson, because he's rolling right now. I don't want to throw him out of his rhythm.
Well, what I was going to say is I do think at this point, it does feel clear that Paolo does get better in the playoffs. And I'm not saying that as much because of the jump shooting rising, because I am still pretty skeptical of that. And it's like part of it is he gets cushion, he gets dared to shoot. But we are talking about a 16-game sample versus, again, his entire career in the regular season, him being a disaster jump shooter. Like that, I just can't.
16 games is a solid amount, though, right?
No.
Well, not compared to 300.
Well, no. Obviously not. I'm just saying, in a playoff sample, we've seen enough for it to be the third year now to be like, all right, there's got to be a little validity to this.
To the jump shooting, I'm
and
honestly
games
not
aren't created
sure.
equally to regular season either. Like
that's true.
In the playoffs, like, you know, these teams are actively trying to take away what you're good at. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, for sure. What I think makes Paolo more valuable in a playoff setting is just the sheer physicality of it, just like the sheer overwhelmingness of that, and the fact that when you do get into some of these bogged down, especially against the super physical athletic defense like Detroit, like Desmond Bane can't create in this setting. Like, he's been awesome as a three-point shooter. He's not scoring inside the arc. He's not making plays for others. And so sometimes you have to look to the 6'10", 250 guy who can just consistently create advantages for you and create paint touches. And Paolo has been able to do that. And so for me, so much of my frustration with him, part of it is skill, right? Part of it is the jump shooting being bad and him overly relying on it. Part of it is some little things with the ball handling, which I do think can be an issue in traffic. And I think there is a certain lack of flexibility with him at times when it comes to actually finishing in traffic. But again, he's very good at drawing fouls. But it's mostly a mentality thing. It's mostly Paolo. If you become this kick-ass volume post-up force, and if you commit yourself, I would still like to see him cutting more, although you could argue this isn't the right offensive infrastructure for that because he doesn't really have great ball handling, playmaking around him. But it's like the potential is there. I've just been so frustrated by not seeing him really reach it. But yeah, then he has a game like last night, and you do see this is a very talented player, but he has a lot of flaws that over the big picture have held him back from being impactful. And I think even defensively, he's been better in this series, although he also does still fall asleep off ball a lot. And that's one of my general frustrations with him, is not reaching the level of impact on that side of the ball you would think he could with his physical gifts.
The reason why the demand is what it is for Paolo is because you see the talent, you see the potential, and because he goes away from the stuff that makes him so effective, that's why he's so criticized as much as he is. A prime example would be yesterday, him utilizing his strength and his size when he gets the switch, where he gets Duncan Robinson in the paint, where he gets the switch, where he gets Tobias Harris on him. And even though Tobias Harris is 6'8", he can't do anything with Paolo in the mid post. He can't do anything with Paolo when he's in the lane. He really can't. And when Paolo is going to that sort of stuff in terms of his game, he ends up getting to the stripe, which he did last night, but he didn't convert at the free throw line. In fact, I think that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, they win the game if he makes his free throws.
Yeah, I think that was the
my thing with Paolo is I think regular season Paolo is what am I versus postseason Paolo feels like this is who I have to be for this team.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think his game, I think his game in a lot of ways in the regular season is still in the exploration phase. Do I want to be a finesse forward? Do I want to be a bully wing? What can I hang my hat on a night to night basis? Which I think Carson is where the inconsistency comes from. But I agree with you that the jump shooting feels like an anomaly. But then to Ron's point, it's like, how big of a sample size do we need to feel good about this? And when I watched him yesterday, these are I feel good threes. These aren't, hey, I'm just going to put it up there. These are I'm feeling good. And it feels like over the course of a playoff series, he starts to understand that he's the biggest player on the floor and he can get to the rim at any time. So I think it's just a very interesting dynamic. But I think he's still having swings in this series from a performance standpoint. So even within this very series, the highs are really high. And the lows have sometimes been questionable as well. But my honestly biggest takeaway was like, Team USA in 2028, you guys are going to be just fine with Paolo and Cade, man, if they can show up like this.
Well, and some other
Jalen Duren too.
Yeah, that's until marketing steps up for Finland. Ron, let me ask you this question real quick. Ron, you're obviously the other hooper here with Carson and Jill. Obviously, and then football player, soccer player.
Hold on,
soccer player.
Yeah, I mean, Ron played in college. Ron's way better than me.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I'm giving.
Jill played professionally. He's way better than me.
They both did. That's what I'm saying. Both of them together, like, are what I mean?
But then you lump me in with them, and I'm like,
but Carson, you played basketball, Carson walking around Chill like he's short, like Carson about 6'3". Like,
yeah,
I mean? Like, I'm not gonna pretend like
I don't make the
rotation.
Carson is a big dude.
If you see him in person,
for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Carson walk around.
So y'all in the chat, y'all be careful. Don't run up on Chill, and definitely don't run up on Carson.
Yeah, don't run up on Carson.
Don't run up on Ox, bro. Ox dwarfs.
Don't glaze Ox. Ox is a soft person up here.
I'm just run
up on
He's
me.
huge.
But Big Teddy Bear.
I agree.
Big Teddy Bear. So Ron,
he a jellyfield donut. I agree. Yeah, what's up?
Ron, how much does it mean to you though that if you have a player that's 6'10", 250 in his playoff career, very limited sample size. He's averaging 38 minutes a game, taking 22 shots a game. And Ron, you have talked about this a lot, something that you like, and you're not necessarily an efficiency man, but you care about efficiency, but you don't necessarily live by it. What does it mean to you that you have a wing that you can trust that's going to play extremely heavy minutes, that can drive at will, and has the ability to put up 22 shots a game in these kind of formats? And again, the highs are the highs, the lows can be lows, but I think the average of what you're getting with Paolo is a very, very, very high level scorer in terms of like being able to do multiple things to attack your defense, and especially good defense. He hasn't faced a bad defense all playoffs. It's not even like he got a chance to get a boost versus some of these like not good defenses.
That was going to be my main point, Swiper, is he's legitimately all 3 years played against championship caliber teams. He's played against two great defenses, the Celtics
I don't know about the Cavs.
and this. All right, so the Cavs, good contender. We can at least say contender. And on top of that, he was doing that against Evan Mobley.
Well, Evan Mobley
That's
actually
fair.
guarded him really well. Like
And-
in
and
that
so
matchup, Paolo didn't shoot well. He was cooking everybody else though.
So that's what I'm saying though. Even then, like the three teams you play against. So you play against the Celtics. They won a championship that year, right?
No, that was last year. They lost
That
the
was
next
last year.
round.
Yeah, definitely.
So
lost
okay, the Celtics was last year, so fresh off the championship. Then they played the Cavs his first year, and then this year, obviously playing against a top 3 defense, top 2 defense in the NBA. Like the caliber of defenses that he's doing against, to me, that's the most impressive thing, and that's why I can give a bit of a pass on the efficiency. On top of that, you could say playoff defense too, and just the playoffs in general. I can give a bit of the pass on the efficiency, but I mean, the biggest thing for me is the defense and the fact that he's only 23. So what can this actually really turn into? What does Paolo look like in 3 to 4 years? What does it look like when we actually get a competent point guard? What does it look like when we get 2 or 3 more actual playoff shooters, like another Desmond Bain or two on a perimeter to space it out? I think that they have a good blueprint moving forward. And on top of that, Franz has not either been available or played good in these 16 game sample sizes. So what happens when Franz actually steps up to the plate and he's a little more seasoned, he's a little more calm, and he could provide a little more on the offensive end too. I think the Magic are in a very good place. Win, lose, or draw this series. I think that they should be happy.
I think Swipa brings up a good point because I view regular season volume and playoff volume differently. I think there's a lot of dudes around the league who can get regular season volume. And if the efficiency is meh and the offensive impact really isn't there, that's not going to move me. However, even getting your volume in the playoffs is a different thing because coverages are going to pick up in terms of just their schematic intention. The defenses you're facing are even better. And that's where it's like, yeah, the fact that Paolo is as massive as he is and he's comfortable enough getting to some of these pull-up jumpers, although I still mostly don't like that. But the ability to just get into the paint as consistently as he can and get to the line, dude, that's his greatest skill as a basketball player. It is so hard to guard him when he gets in bully ball mode without fouling him. He's taken 39 free throws over the last 3 games.
Yesterday. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
that
he does it
yesterday.
every game when he
just
gets
gotta
in that
convert free
mindset.
throws.
And the other thing, in terms of mentality that I've liked from Paolo in this series is he's getting out in transition. That has been one of the most frustrating things about Paolo as a player to me. He clearly has the skill set to be like one of the best transition players in basketball. And in fact, you think obviously that's where he's going to be at his best. And then you look up and it's like, Orlando plays really slow every year. Paolo was like outside the top 30 in transition scoring this regular season. It's insane with his skill set. He slows the game down too much. In this series, though, he's been really opportunistic in transition. He's second in the playoff field in transition points per game. So he's doing that. He's channeling the post-up game more. And not to get too basketball on the people, but like there is a substantial difference both in the numbers, but also I think when you watch him play between a Paolo post-up and a Paolo isolation pick and roll. When you put him in a situation where he's initiating from the three-point line and you have time to essentially try to bait him into that jumper and you can test the handle a little bit more, he tends to struggle more. When he just gets in the post and attacks a mismatch, he's really efficient. He's really good.
And it needs to be said, Carson, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to step into what you just said. He has been punking Cade and Asar. Like, as good as defenders as they are, he has been punking the both of them. And I think if they had Franz yesterday, I think the game would have gone differently down the stretch. What was happening is I actually got mad, Carson. They started going away from Paolo, and Paolo was frying. Now, Paolo probably needed some rest, because he had been doing so much. But Desmond Bain or Anthony Black or whoever was getting the ball, and I mean, they weren't able to execute at the same level. And I think if Paolo just would have been in a situation where he had somebody else to do one thing, can you drive and put pressure on the rim? That way I don't have to do it this play. Then I think that would have changed the course of the game for him and everybody else. I just think he got down the stretch of that game. It was like, I got 14 points. And like, I've been to the line like 6 times. Like, I'm exhausted. And then he took that 3 in the corner. And when he finally missed one, I just think if they had one more person, then I think they could have got the job done. And very similar. Now, on the other side, we haven't talked about Cade. Cade had 8 points in the fourth quarter yesterday. But somebody Mars, I don't know why people don't like it. Tobias Harris can hoop.
He's actually been really
He's good.
He has been really
Every
good.
time he gets into the mid-range, I feel like he's going to make that, Chill. Every single time he gets in the mid-range, I feel like he's going to make that shot.
He's actually been really good in this series.
Yo, but Swiper,
One time
before
he got his rebounds, so it was fine.
Before we even get to Tobias, Tobias does deserve some love. I think Jalen Duren played a little bit better yesterday. Asor Thompson put up a crazy stat line. He literally checked every single box. Mm-hmm. We got to talk about Cade Cunningham and him scoring 45 in the manner that he did. We just glazed Paolo. Cade needs that same type of glaze, love, and respect.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Why not, Chill?
Because you got to take better care of the basketball. That's your job as the lead guard. He has 6 turnovers.
Turnovers too.
Him too. He got to take, and the same thing
So
that we said.
just glazed Paolo. So
okay,
it's different though, Mars. One's a point guard, one's a forward. One has a better one has a better team around them than the other.
One has the ball even more, and the one who has less still turn the ball over just as much.
Mars,
and Cade was more efficient last night
7
too.
Turnovers a game.
Free throws.
7, and I appreciate
Cade with 14 for 14
for his game last night. I just watched Paolo go 4 for 18 2 days ago, and here we are glazing him because he had a great game yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, and here we are glazing him, rightfully so, because he had a great game yesterday. He was 4 for 18 48 hours ago.
Y'all want to glaze? Let's do that. All right. So the best players, sure. Okay, sure. So no problem. The best players show up in situations where it matters the most. And he did that. He 100% did that. That was an elimination game. We needed all 45 of them points in order for them to win. I can definitely respect that. He actually took the game over. We're winning or we're losing. We're winning or losing with me and me only. And I can definitely get with that. No doubt about it.
Chill, you believe in them threes?
Yes, I do. Last night I did.
We're not doing it.
5 of them.
Yes,
that's realer than Paolo hitting 6.
Yes,
absolutely.
Hey, look,
what them diamond earrings we used to get when we was younger? You get them on the corner with the cubic
zirconias.
Yeah, both of them made it the same quality.
I trust Cade shooting when guys are going under the screen more than I trust Paolo cracking the long ball all night. I will definitely live. I will definitely live with Cade. I will definitely live with Paolo in transition, stopping at the long ball line, catching and shooting at the break on the left wing. I will. You know what? If we're gonna lose like that, we're gonna lose like that. But if you're going under the screen on Cade and he's 17 feet away from the basket, he's gonna stick that, and I'm loving that. I'll definitely go with that. On top of that, him getting to the rim last night, I thought was really good. His inability to take care of the basketball, okay, sure. That it is what it is. But I just thought he did a really good job yesterday of taking the bull by the horns and grabbing the game and going, I'm scoring. It's just the match. Don't get me wrong, Swiper. You made a really good point about Tobias Harris getting involved in the fight. The rest of these dudes got to get involved in the fight. They do. They can't just look at Cade and go, okay, he's going to carry us and he's going to bring us to the promised land. Sure, that's what players do. But at some point, you guys as offensive players have to get involved in the fight. The more I watch Dennis Jenkins, the more I'm feeling like I got sold cubic Singonians because initially I was watching this dude. I was like, yo, he's going to be really good for them in the playoffs because their defense is going to allow him to get extra opportunities to score. He can't consistently make open shots, even though I saw him doing that throughout the course of the regular season when guys left them open. That's not happening right now. Jalen Duren, who
he had a good game yesterday relative to his rest of the series.
Now, think about what you just said, Swiper. Relative to
the rest of the series, he was good.
Relative to the rest of
the series. He got a great finish over Wendell, Mars. Did you see that?
He did. That was nice.
If he didn't, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. If my ex had been blowing me up on IG and I ain't not made not one playoff series, chill, not one. Oh, bro, I'm all right, chill. He had to get that. He had to get that off yesterday. He had a better game finally. That's it. That's all.
He went 4 for 6. He actually made a tough jump shot, but I still think that they've taken him out of the series. I still think that Isaiah Stewart has made up for a lot of what he is doing. Right. And I told you guys, Mars had the Louisville bat in the bushes when I said that Isaiah Stewart shooting the long ball is a real thing. I said that in December. I told you that in January, and none of you guys bought that from me. It is a real thing.
Still not buying it.
Yeah, it's a real thing, Mars. Yes, it is. It is a real. Now I know you ain't buying Andre
He shot
Drummond.
one of them yesterday. That shit hit from front rim.
I know you ain't buying Andre Drummond shooting the long ball. Okay, I you don't think that's a real thing? Okay,
shit, Andre Drummond make him more than Stewart.
Right,
Isaiah Stewart does.
But the difference.
Which one do you believe in more, Mars?
Neither one. I don't know.
Nah, I'm Drummond. I mean, if you get Drummond in the corner, I believe Stewart top of the key.
Drummond is more liable to make it, but I don't care either way about either one of them.
I actually like.
If you ask me who's more
Isaiah
likely to
Stewart
make it, it's Andre Drummond.
Either at the top of the key, Isaiah Stewart, either at the top of the key or on the left, or at the left break. He's actually pretty good at the long ball line. But I feel like at some point these other guys, K got us a game. These guys have to get in the fight. And if these guys can get in the fight and get Cade some more production, one of these guys are due for a big game. I don't know which one, but one of these guys are due for a big game. The glass and free throws last night was what killed Orlando. If they can make free throws, this series is over.
If Wendell Carter would have made that corner three, I would have added Mars right there, right then and there. I would have added Mars. You never would have escaped. I thought he was about to make that. I really thought he was about to make that. But again, it was like that was probably now to get on Cade. I think Cade, y'all, like I remember distinctly 2 years ago, Mars. You know, you have a great memory. Somebody said that Cade was the 13th best player in the draft class per Vorp. And to realize where Cade has gotten to this point, where he legitimately is a great defender, great driver. He got a bing midi splash with the game on the line yesterday. And I was like, ooh, Cade. He's dirty, bro. I love Cade Cunningham, bro.
Yes,
he is a great player, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Great player. And he might be I don't know who the smoothest guard in the league would be, but bro, when Cade gets into that flow state with his handles and stuff, bro, crazy, dog.
I guess.
You said Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie, he ain't played in 3 years, so.
Irv just the nicest with the pill, Mars. That don't mean he the smoothest. He just the nicest with the pill.
No, he might be the smoothest. It's either him or Shea.
I think it's Shea.
What come as Kyrie?
Yeah. It is Irv. I mean, Irv nice with the pill. I just think SGA is smoother with his game when I think about just being able to just get to where you want to go without hesitation.
Kyrie don't be grifting. That's
true.
He doesn't have to. He's so goddamn nice with the ball, but
exactly. Smooth. It's not smooth when someone's flailing like that. That's not smooth. I don't want to
get off the
Kyrie don't do that.
Topic here.
Kyrie doesn't flail.
I knew Cade was I knew.
Go ahead,
I knew Cade was going to be special. I knew Cade was going to be special the sort of day he got drafted because I spoke to him straight away after he got drafted, and he just felt like even in that moment, the day wasn't too big for him. He's very level-headed. He has a lot of time for teammates and things of that nature. But like to watch him yesterday and understand that like he had a collapse lung and he's still got the wrapping on there and he's still toughing it out is just it's an incredible thing. But I think his game, in particular, the performance, was helped a little bit by like Detroit found some offense early, and they hadn't got that. So I think that sometimes that can relieve the pressure valve a little bit because I think a lot of his turnovers have been due to, frankly, just really poor spacing. And I think that they put Duncan Robinson in some stuff. They put Karis LeVert in some stuff yesterday, which can open the floor a little bit for Cade, and he ends up feeling good about himself. Then all of a sudden, Swiper, he's in his move, he's in his bag a little bit. So similar to Paolo, I think he was really comfortable out there. And then with the game on the line, he feels money as well. So for him to just be out there after the collapse lung and gutting it out as well, it's insane, man. So big props to him.
And to piggyback on top of that, Dame, to kind of just wrap things up for both of these guys, obviously last night, Cade had it going, not just in general, but from three especially. He was 5 for 8. Paolo had it going, not just in general, but specifically from 3. Paolo was 6 for 11. I do want to point out, if either of these guys get a consistent 3-point shot, it is curtains for the NBA. It is
Ron,
curtains.
Consistent, does it have to be consistent or just respectable?
I think like you guys are probably gonna push back with this on me. I think it's already respectable.
Cade's is for sure.
I don't think Paolo's got a respectable.
Paolo's is not. Everybody is daring Paolo to shoot.
We'll live with you shooting the long ball. No, I don't think he's got a respectable long ball. No, I don't. Especially
I think with Cade though, it's probably still the first time. It's probably still the first thing that you're thinking about living with. Still, I think to your point, Ron.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if with Cade you have to start going over the screens, it's a wrap. If you have to guard Cade, if you have to get around, if you have to go over the top and trail Cade over screens, it's a wrap because him getting it's just going to open up the floor so much more for him. You got to understand it's already
big,
clogged, and then the person's going under the screen too. Like I don't think you guys understand like how hard it is to navigate a defense when a defender goes under the screen and then try to get downhill. Like it's almost impossible.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. Because when he goes under the screen, he's already ahead of you as a defender. So with you now, he's got less space. He's got less space. You got more space to operate, which he's giving you, which is a good thing. But you also got more space to recover because you've given him the jump shot. But with that being said, though, Ron, that's the idea with Paolo. With Paolo shooting the long ball, he got to find a space at the long ball line. There's great long ball shooters who know exactly what spot that I want to be when I shoot the long ball. I can't use Curry because Curry shoots the long ball anyway and it's cash. It doesn't make a difference. But then there's guys like Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is a great corner long ball shooter. That's his spot, right? If Paolo can find a spot on the floor where this is my spot and I'm respectable, I think that makes him even more dangerous than what he already is.
Make free throws.
Make free throws too. 100%.
Oh my God! I almost broke my TV last night, Mars.
Yeah, make free throws. That's a big deal. That was the difference in the game, Mars. That was the difference in the game right there. Him missing free throws. That was the difference in the game.
Also, he missed like 7.
Yes.
Yeah, Paolo was 5 of 12. Cade was 14 of 14. And
how do you shoot better from the 3-point line than the free throw line?
Awesome, Bruce Bowen.
Real. Cade, I thought was so impressive last night. I mean, the 3-ball obviously getting going is huge to beat unders and whatnot, but like the mid-range game is just phenomenal. And his comfort rising up and shooting over top, if it was out of pick and roll, isolation, these little post-up situations, like he's just so big and he is so skilled from that range. And I know he's not always going to shoot like he doesn't shoot Shea mid-range percentages, right? He's not that level as a mid-range shot maker, but the ability to get to like a 45% shot that you can create for yourself in this series is a good outcome. And yesterday, Cade was hitting them at a higher clip than that. He was 5 of 8 from mid-range. And I did think the absence of Franz, who guarded him really well. Cade was 7 of 22 when guarded by Franz. Like not having that same size to contend with him, he was getting that Bane matchup and he was comfortable in that Bane matchup. And it was a really big time performance from him. Orlando's really dared him to be a scorer because they've done such a good job of packing the paint and taking away a lot of the interior passes to Asar and obviously taking away Duren off the roll. And Cade's ability to score, I mean, in games 1, 2, and 5 in these gross congested environments has been really impressive. And I think the mid-range shot making is such a huge part of that because he doesn't have to get fully into all of the nasty spacing. He has an over-the-top shot-making element. The 3-ball going consistently is the other layer to that would be incredible. But when it does come down to it, like whose scoring do I trust most in this series? Cade's ability to navigate the intermediate area, I do value a lot. And he was really, really good last night. I just want to see
him take, and I'm not a fan of the perfect basketball player and doing everything right. I'm not a fan of that, and I'll never be a fan of that. I just want to see him take better care of the basketball. All the 100%. other stuff I can live with. The shot making, and I can definitely get all with that. I just need to see him. I would actually sacrifice. I'm not going to sacrifice buckets, but I would actually sacrifice some of the other stuff to see him take better care of the basketball.
Chill, the team that's won the possession game is 5-0 in this series. And Cade giving you 8-9 turnovers, you can't win the possession game like that.
And I do understand that. I understand how important it is as one of the, if not the best player, which I think he is the best player actually in this series. And I'm going to say it. I think he's the best player in this series. When the best player decides that I'm going to throw this unit on my back as a bucket getter to ensure that we win. I mean, I think that says a lot about him as a player. With that being said, I don't expect you to do everything right. But as a lead guard, that's one of the things that I do expect from you. Even if you are going to give me buckets, I think the bucket part is extra for me. I mean, I think that there is a gap between the two in terms of scoring, but I think that as a lead guard, one of your primary jobs is to take care of the basketball. And I'd like to see him do a better job at that.
Yeah.
I will say, people say he needs a secondary person, like an offensive player. I will say Tobias does a good job at that. I don't think that is necessarily like the last mechanism they're looking for. I just think having a center in particular, someone in the middle of the floor who can't do anything is really the biggest issue. And I think Jalen Duren not having any offensive bag whatsoever outside of bully, put my shoulder into you, I think that has been the thing that's probably been the biggest reason why they've struggled as much. I actually don't mind Tobias. Duncan Robinson had some nice pin downs that they ran yesterday that he got a 3 on.
Man, damn.
He's a good player. Kayvon was not there last night. Kayvon Herter, obviously, that they traded for. But I do think they're like Tobias is good. And like he's literally, if you go look at what he does in the fourth quarter, he's been good. I think the problem is just if you give the ball to Jalen, like what are you doing with it? Like, how do you help me? Like, what are you doing to help me other than setting a screen? Like you can't pop. He's okay in a roll, but again, Wendell Carter's right there. So and Goga, so even if you roll, you're rolling into a contest. And I think that's actually been a bigger issue for them offensively in this series than anything else.
Swiper, can I counter that with he can pop? He can only pop when he's open, though. That's the problem. When he's crowded and he's got to put the ball on the floor.
Take that shot.
I think he's the most, like I just talked to you about Paolo being at the long ball line, finding that space. I think Jalen Duren at the left elbow, I think that's where he's the most effective in terms of shooting the mid-range. I think he's really good there. However, when he gets crowded, now he's got to put the ball on the floor. His skill level isn't one where I trust him to get by Paolo. I trust him to get by Wendell Carter. I trust him to get by a guy where he's being more effective getting to the basket. I don't trust him with that. But he actually is good at picking and popping when he's open. And I think that because the physicality of Wendell Carter has affected him, it's affected his shot because he ain't looking at the rim nearly as much as he would if he was playing against somebody who wasn't as physical with him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas. Well, this is a good time for everybody to pull out your phones. And if you're already watching the show on your phone, just stay right there. Scan this QR code or go to your app store and download Splash Sports because the playoffs are here. Things are heating up. Things are more intense than they've ever been. And this is your opportunity to cash in on all the good basketball that we are watching by playing quick picks on Splash Sports. Now, I want to make sure that nobody out there is leaving money on the table because Splash Sports has the highest multipliers in all of DFS. We are talking up to 50 times. We are talking up to 50 times is what you can win on a 6-leg entry. And the kicker is you don't have to have the perfect lineup to cash out. You just have to beat your opponents. One bad pick won't kill you. You don't have to get all your picks right. You don't have to go 6 for 6. You don't have to shoot Steph Curry numbers with your picks. All you have to do is outsmart the people that you are playing against in your pool, and you will win the Splash Cash. So right now, make sure you download Splash Sports. Make sure you use code CHOICE and make sure that you cash in on the $100 deposit or 100% deposit match that you will get from Splash Sports. Up to $50, you will get a 100% deposit match. And make sure you cash in on 100% quick picks boost that you will get with Splash Sports. And we're going to show you exactly how it's done right here, right now, fellas. As you can see, we're on the Splash Sports dashboard. What we're going to do is go to quick picks. We can go to quick picks up here, or since it's right here on the banner, we'll just click on that. We got some good NBA games today. Where do we want to go with, guys? Do we want to go New York, Atlanta? Boston, Philly, Denver, Minnesota.
Boston, Philly. I'm gonna trust my friend Mars. Believe in
which
Joel
game, Mars?
Today.
I believe in everyone. I
No,
also believe
we're
in
Embiid. I think Embiid can do it today.
All right, let's do it. We're going with Boston, Philly.
And then we got points and rebounds, 36.5 for Embiid. That feel kind of high? Or are you like 26 and 8 too much?
I mean, he gonna have 50, but you're setting him up for failures.
How? This is a genuine ass.
I'm with it, Swiper. I'm not taking anything less on Joel.
36.5 for points and rebounds. That's fair. I feel like that's fair.
I told you how I feel about Joel.
Everything at him, it's gonna be bad, man.
All right, well, we going with the more on Joel points and rebounds.
Derek White, more.
Less.
More.
What does that Jason Tatum line look like?
He needs to have a good game, man.
I don't care which one. One of them is more. They're all going to be more. So one of them is more.
Brother,
Except
he's
assist and rebounds.
bricking the world right now.
All right,
Yeah,
let's go.
Lil
No scoring. Let's just go assist and rebounds. Derek White can get 7.5 assists and
That's the
rebounds.
only one I ain't believing. Yeah, that's the only one I ain't believing. That's
All right.
Yeah.
Chill. You were saying something about Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum, what is that? Let's see here. Points and rebounds. What's that? 38.5 points and assists, 31.5. I actually like that points and assists, but the points and rebounds.
36.5. That's 26 and 10.
He had
Hold on,
16,
27
let me
and
check.
He had 16 rebounds. He had 16 rebounds the last time they played.
He's
them,
rebounding
so-
the shit out of the ball. Yeah.
Yes,
Tatum in this first round is averaging 24 and a half and 10.6. So that's roughly at 36 anyway. So that's it. The half is the rub. So
Yeah, he's went more on it twice in this series.
I'll take the more, Ron. Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. We got more on JT.
Our game 6 to send Philly home. Yeah, he about to have 51.
All right, y'all. We can't get up out of here without doing one less on somebody. Let me see who we gonna pick on today. Sam Hauser, assist and rebounds. I mean, hey, we know you're a shooter, but I don't know about assist and rebounds. Let me see if we got threes on here for him. No, hey Sam, do us a good job. Stay in that corner. Don't swing the ball. Shoot it when you get it. All right, that's how we rocking today. $5 turns into 60. Welcome to Splash Sports. Go get your money while you have the opportunity to get it, and we will see you guys in the winner's circle. Make sure to use code CHOICE. Make sure to cash in on a 100% deposit match up to $50. Make sure to get your 100% quick picks boost. And above all, make sure to play with Splash Sports simply because you will get the highest payout in the industry. Don't go anywhere else because you'll essentially be leaving money on the table. Who will want to do that? All right, y'all, let's get back into it. Fellas, before we get to super chats, before we get to the other games, before we talk about Brad Stevens winning Executive of the Year and all of this other stuff, I came across a graphic earlier this week. I knew my good friends from Nurse Hesh was going to be up here. What I didn't know is that Paolo was going to show out and that Cade was going to show out. So the graphic that I seen is the last 5 Rookie of the Years. The graphic was keep 3, lose 2. I think that's pretty easy, so I don't want to go with that. I want to ask you guys, who do you start a franchise with the last 5 Rookie of the Years? That's Wemby, that's Paolo, that's Stephon Castle, that's Scotty Barnes, and that's obviously Cooper Flagg. And rank them in order of who you would start a franchise with. So Wemby's the last 5 Rookie of the Years, I think we could all probably agree that Wemby's probably number
Cooper
1.
Flagg, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
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 So when Wemby's 1,
Flag is 2.
Castle is last.
I'm good
For
with
me.
For me too.
Sure. Yeah.
Paolo is second last.
But he's third then.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking.
Wait, whoa. What was your number
You
1 and
said
2?
that means
Well, Wemby's 1, and I have Castle last and Paolo second last. And I don't know who I prefer between Scotty and Cooper Flagg. So I'm thinking.
Flag.
I'm listening, Mars. Let the think box work.
Probably Cooper Flagg's 19. So by the time he's 24, which is how old
5 years.
Scotty
from
Barnes
now.
is. Yeah, so I'll have Wemby 1, Coop 2, Scotty 3, Paolo 4, Castle 5.
Yeah, I think the scoring ceiling with Flag is just different from Scotty. I think they both do so many different positive winning things out there, but like I can see Flag becoming like a 27 point per game scorer, and I can't see that with Scotty, although he's been really impressive in this series and this year. Scotty's great. I just think Flag has a different kind of ceiling, but I would agree with that, except I'm thinking about flipping Castle and Paolo just because I think Castle does a lot of winning things out there. I think his defense is so translatable. He's a great offensive rebounder for the position, really good playmaker, but there's definitely some big concerns with the turnovers and the jumper. And it's almost more like Paolo obviously has a higher offensive ceiling and a different ability to create offense. And then it's just like, is he good enough at that? Or would I rather bank on Castle being good in his role and impactful defensively and doing some good stuff offensively? But I think as a building block,
Those
Paolo
more
over
winning.
Castle
Those more
probably.
winning.
Are we doing just rookie seasons or are we doing just
No,
as
we
players?
I think we're doing
starting a
it
unit.
building blocks.
We're starting a unit with this
Okay.
guy. Which guy are you starting the unit with?
Yeah, the Wemby, Flag, and then obviously Scotty, and then Castle, and then Paolo probably is the best way that I would probably go there.
Paolo is last. Carson, do you Carson, do you like Castle's ability to be a defender and affect games more than you like Paolo's upside as an offensive player?
That's what I was thinking about. Like, it's tough. I do think that Castle is an awesome perimeter defender. I don't know. Right now, I think let's be optimistic about Paolo because he's coming off 45. I've been pessimistic enough about him, and I'll give Paolo the nod for the upside. But you're asking the right question, Chill. Like, in terms of it translating, if neither of these guys are going to be good enough to be the leading guy on a really good team, then who do I think gives me more positive value in a slightly smaller offensive role? Then I think it's Castle because of all the stuff that he does defensively and as a rebounder and playmaker, whatnot. But he is flawed enough offensively where, like, I don't see the super high Castle ceiling that some people do. I think Dylan Harper is going to be the better player between the two, but I do really like Castle. He's very good.
I think he could be an all-star, and I definitely
think he can be an all-star.
An all-league
He
defender.
got some all-star votes this year, so
Yeah,
you know.
I definitely think he could
on
be
his
an
way.
all-league defender too.
Yeah, I agree with
agree
both
with
of
that
those.
too.
Now
I
they're
don't
saying
think he's
have
going to be an
Paolo here?
all NBA level player, though. But I also don't
Yeah,
think
you have
Paolo's
Paolo
gonna be an
Laws.
all-NBA
That's
level
definitely
player.
Paolo hit.
Well, it's about where we go. Like I also was extremely high on Castle coming out of the draft as well. Like that's like a perfect.
I didn't have
slot
Paolo
player.
last, but according to your tweet, I'm the
I
Paolo.
got Paolo
hater.
third.
You are the
actually.
Paolo hitter.
Apparently, I
You
guess.
said MPJ had a better season, even though the last 40 games of the year MPJ.
Swipe, but these
I
two
don't,
guys
understand
are
how,
on the
I don't
board.
understand how MPJ didn't have a better season, but we don't need to bring that back up. So
we
it's
could
fine.
also talk basketball. But no, MPJ was trash last half of the year. What'd you say, Chill?
Swiper, we got these two guys on the board, and you building your unit. You got the number 3 pick in the draft, and it's Paolo. Paolo has slipped. You got the number 1 pick, and Paolo and Castle are on the board, and you're building your unit. Which of these two guys are you taking?
Bro, does people not know my biases for players like Stephon Castle?
No,
It's
I don't.
hard. It's
Put
hard
me
for
on
me
your
to
bias.
choose players opposite that. Like he doesn't have like there's a path in the future. He doesn't have a weakness. Now he doesn't have like an elite skill set that's other than defense, but I think that's the whole point. Like if you're telling me you can dribble, you can pass, you can shoot, which you can, Mars, and then on top of that, you can play defense, you can switch, you can guard POA, you can play off ball, and you can rim protect. Like that's like a big deal. Now he doesn't have the scoring that Paolo does. Does Paolo have a 40-point triple double? I don't know if he does. I know Paolo's a
No,
really
he
good
doesn't.
scorer, obviously. That's tough for me, Joe. That's really tough for me because I think Castle can be an addition to a superstar in a different way. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I
Okay,
think
so
that's
if
a
he's
really
in
good case, Swipe. I might be flipping to Castle. It's like if he becomes
Carson comes on and he speaks sense. Mars stays on, never listen to me. That's just so crazy.
because it's like if Castle gets to be a decent jump shooter, and he's been shooting the 3 well down the stretch of this season. He's like 40+% post All-Star break and in this series. But obviously that's like with those shots being conceded and him being dared to take those shots. But yeah, man, with him being the athlete that he is and the size that he has and the defender that he is and the playmaker, it's like if he can cut down on the turnovers a bit and get a bit better as a jump shooter to where he's solid there, then I think Castle is a real winning player and a really good complement to, like, obviously Wemby. He already is, but he levels up. And then I'm more confident in that translating to winning probably than I am with Paolo. So
Portland
I think
was
Swipe has
actively
convinced me. I
leaving.
think I'm going to flip.
Portland was
I got-
actively leaving.
I got
100%.
Wemby.
But he's also in his second year.
I got Wemby flag. I actually have Paolo 3, Scotty, and then Castle. I just still believe that Paolo can be like, I'm looking at that game yesterday, and Ron, I think you and I messaged about it. I don't know if Scotty can get to that type of game, like that ceiling that Paolo showed yesterday. I don't know if he's there yet. And I understand the all-round stuff, but I still think that Paolo has a lot of growing to do defensively. I've seen him take defensive assignments this year, especially. I think the playmaking, Carson, as well, is a little underrated. Like, people don't think that he's improved offensively necessarily. I think the playmaking actually has. I think
What
he's
is
got a
Scotty
really good- I think
Barnes at
he
his
can
best?
be.
In your
in these playoffs
I
not
still-
been better than Paolo?
Wait,
Yeah.
Yes, he has
100%.
been. Yes,
Yeah,
he has been. Miles.
I think he
So
has,
because
but
Paolo
I
has a
think
good
that-
game,
Also, it's like Scotty's
No, not-
game 3. Was
I
that
think-
not as good as what Paolo did?
Yeah,
when you
30-point
consider
triple-double,
the
basically.
defense?
I guess. I don't know.
No, not yesterday. No.
What
I
is
mean,
Scotty
playing
Barnes
against
got?
the Cavs versus playing against the Pistons.
Hold on,
Playing
wait,
versus
okay.
who
Paolo
has no
plays a
physical
what I
version of the
still
guy
struggle
they're a championship contender on, but
What I
when
still
Scotty
struggle with-
plays them, it's
This man Scotty Barnes is taking on a scoring burden, being the best passer and playmaker on his team, and guarding the opposing team's best players. But Paolo
Both of
makes
them.
6 threes, and he's playing better than Scotty Barnes.
I don't
I'm
think
just
that's
talking
what this is
about-
about, though,
Well,
Marcus.
that's not what he said.
as
to
a
be fair.
build, I
He
think
said
as a
Paolo
build-
last
my-
night was better
my-
than what Scotty Barnes has
my-
done in this series.
Do you
And I
think
disagree with that statement
My
based on the
logic
game that I
is-
watched Scotty Barnes have 2 days ago.
My
Maybe.
logic
3 days
is with
ago,
it
maybe.
is
Whatever
that
it was.
I think that if they both turn out to be who I think they can both turn out to be, I think it's harder to find essentially the ceiling or the superstardom of what Paolo can be, rather than find someone who can give me a little bit of what Scotty can do. I think that Scotty, I'm still trying to work out whether Scotty has the upside to genuinely be a number one. I think he can, but I also look at this series and be like, how much of a backseat would he take if Brandon Ingram showed up and he didn't have to like overdo sort of what he's doing out there? So I think it's a matter of like overall game versus like genuine like scoring and overwhelming physical upside with Paolo. But
Well, I think Brandon Ingram,
I can go
unfortunately, is one of
between
the
them.
most
Brandon
I can go
Ingram
between
showed up
them.
as a
Scotty
Scotty
Barnes
most
has dominated
overrated
this
players in the
series
league,
overall.
honestly,
Yeah.
given like what he's
I
asked
can
to
go
do.
between
Cooked,
them. I can go
cooked
between
right
them.
now.
I'm not sure. I don't mind who I have there, but I mean, Wemby and Cooper.
Yeah, I think the
Right.
reason Scotty sold it for me though is like he just doesn't have like defensively. He doesn't
defensively.
really
does
have like
everything.
a weakness.
He does
Like he's
everything.
Yeah.
Paolo is
And he's one of the best passers
arguably a
in the
better
league.
scorer. Yeah. Paolo has more scoring upside, I would say. This year, I wouldn't necessarily say he was the better scorer overall. And Scotty is substantially better at everything else. Like Scotty is an all-world defender, whereas Paolo is mediocre there. Scotty is a substantially better offensive rebounder. Scotty, in terms of the off-ball scoring, is a lot better than Paolo because he's a good cutter. He's willing off the roll. And so I've never been super high on Scotty's like on ball upside. He's actually impressed me and exceeded my expectations in this series in that way. There's a clunkiness to his game, but he's also big as hell and he's skilled enough and he's just been getting in the paint over and over again. But it's like, I think the number one thought is a little overrated here because, okay, Scotty may be my offensive number 2 or whatever, but he can be the best player on an awesome team because he does so many positive things to impact the game and he fits in so many different constructions of a roster. And like Toronto is not helping him out there, man. BI is giving you 12 a game on 45% true shooting,
Absolutely.
and they don't have reliable shooting. And IQ is out, so they're down a ball
Yeah,
handler. It's
IQ's
like,
out,
Scotty,
yeah.
can you be
Yeah.
our best player in every single way? And he's been like, yeah, I can do that, and I can get you 2 games against the
And then if
Cavs.
Scotty didn't get hurt yesterday, then they might have won
Right.
that game
In
yesterday.
the first quarter, he was amazing, and then
Mhm.
I really thought the leg affected
Up
him.
into
He did
that,
not look the same.
even in the middle of the fourth quarter, I still felt like Toronto had control of that game.
Well, chill. They got it. I know we're not transitioning
Yeah,
there
things
yet.
kind of unraveled towards the end. They just couldn't.
I
make
still
it.
felt like they,
They,
had
got-
control
well,
of that
you
game.
know what happened, Mars. They got it to 113, 111, and then the German assassin, the man from FIFA himself, went on a 7-0 run, and they went drop coverage versus Dennis, which you're supposed to do, by the way. I think Jacoby Walters did his job, and Dennis just like swacked a mid-range shot, and then he came back on a 3, hit
It was
another
the
one.
difference in the game.
Yeah, it just and then by the way, Donovan
Evan
Mitchell-
Mobley went and made three of them.
Please
that
don't
was
leave him
insane.
out, Mars.
The
Please do not leave
Evan
him out.
Mobley
retreating
was
three
yesterday.
from the
Evan
wing. I was
Mobley
He's
like,
played
wow.
well,
made it,
they've won, man.
like,
And by the way, they were
Yeah.
the movement 3. It was a movement 3 over a contested hand that he made. And then you know what? They had to do that yesterday because Harden too, by the way, had to put D Mitch in a backpack.
Harden's
carrying
been
the
the
second
Cavs'
half of
best
that
player
game.
in this series. By the way,
You said Harden?
Dame, who do you?
Harden has been the Cavs' best player in this series.
Please do not fight that. Please don't fight that.
Well, I was trying
They
to
If
think.
this-
both
if
of-
this-
sucked
this
in
thing-
games 3 and 4.
If this thing he was bad and he was bad and I want to say
Scotty
James-
has been the best player in the series, and that's what matters. I'm disappointed with
I think
honestly
James
all the
Harden
Cavs.
has been
Games
their
1 and
best
2 were
player.
great.
And
but
I
since
think
then.
James Harden has been their best player in this series. But Dame,
I would say
wanted to
Jamal
ask you,
Shed might be the best role player in this series
because
so
you
far.
brought up Scotty Barnes. I wanted to ask you
Respect
At
on
his-
him, bro.
at his best.
Yeah.
We're
He
in
didn't play-
here
he didn't close yesterday.
because we're in year 5 right now, and I have this
Yeah.
thing when it comes to year 5. By year 5, this is probably who this guy is. Now he's going to get better in terms of having better seasons, but this is what you can expect from him moving forward. What does Scotty Barnes look like to you in year? Like, what's the best version of Scotty Barnes? What am I looking at? Like in year 7, year 8, what does Scotty Barnes look like?
So next year,
I think
so 21. You got drafted.
I think he's fringe All NBA this year, right? Like I think he's probably he has a shout to be the third team. I think a lot of people would have him on the third team. I had him on the third team.
I did too.
I don't think he can be. I don't think that he'll ever be like perennial first team chill, but I think he can be. I don't know if he can be the best player on a championship team, but I think he can be a very good number 2. I think he can be. Chill. Let me put it to you this way: I think he can probably if he reaches his ceiling by like year 8, he could probably be the best all round player in the league. I think that's where he can be.
Am I ridiculous?
He's still got a year and a half on Paolo, I think, but I think that's not inconceivable because he just does everything out there.
Because I'm thinking when I watch Scotty Barnes in terms of a little bit of the clunkiness, so take out the antics, take out all of that other stuff. I think he could be a better version of take out the antics and take all that out that other stuff. I think he could be a better version of Meta World Peace.
Well, he's a much better offensive player than Ron or Meta.
That's what I think he could be.
He's a better
passing.
Ron Artest
just a better playmaker. He's just a better playmaker. I think honestly, I think that
he's like who Draymond Green thought he
quickly
could be.
getting. Yeah, exactly. I think Emmanuel quickly getting hurt actually helped him a little bit when they just put the ball in his hands, man. And they're like, you can see the floor really well. You can do it in transition. You can do it when you get 2 feet in the paint. Like, I think he can be that. I do think, although he's been the best player in this series, I do think he does have some growing to do offensively in terms of the self-creation, in terms of the jump shooting, in terms of the three-point shot. So we'll see where he goes, Chill. But I think if he pans out, he can be the best all-around player in the league, I think.
Do you think he's taking this personal chill, like very similar to the Kawhi, Draymond, DPOY thing? You think he's looking at Evan Mobley in the series and like we're similar in age, similar in our development, but I'm just like, I'm way better than you?
I don't know if it's personal more than it's the playoffs. And I have to raise my level of play because it's the playoffs. I don't want to get outplayed by not just the guys in my draft class, but I don't want to get outplayed because it's the playoffs. And I have to perform. Like there are people who didn't even think that we'd make the playoffs. Well, the fact that we actually made the playoffs, I still got to show people that I'm good enough to not only get us to the playoffs, but to march through the playoffs. So absolutely, I think that he just wants to be a better player come playoff time.
And bro, like, I'm sorry, but like Mitchell usually is an elite in the first round. So like, I want to definitely give him some credit. He usually is. Like, he's a first round. He's Josh Allen. He's exactly what Carson thinks Josh Allen is. Great in the first round, falls apart after that. I dare you to pull up his game versus those bad defenses that he's faced. Every time he faces a good defense in the second round,
he faced the number 2 defense in the NFL, and he had a historic 7 touchdown performance against the Patriots.
What year?
That was
10 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Like,
10
I forgot.
Update your resume. He had the greatest
update
2
your
games
resume,
bro. Because that's
what I was gonna say.
Jags were a really good defense. Jags were top 5 defense. He lit them up. They were a top 5 defense by every metric.
I can't wait for football season.
No help in the run game.
That quarterback list you put out was.
Oh, I didn't have Bo Nix high enough for you. Sorry. Sorry.
But I will say,
Bo Nix will never make those lists.
Sam Darnold will never make any list. Now what? Exactly. So now except the other list, you don't want to be on. That's cool.
That finger.
You played the Patriots.
Right.
Shut up.
You know what? Hey, the Sonics aren't even here yet. You know what? Hey, keep me out of these conversations, all right? Hey, champions don't associate themselves with peasants, all right?
Ron, if I asked you to name your entire starting offensive line, you wouldn't do it. So please get out of my face. So
they're all Super Bowl champions. Shout out to Anthony Bradford too. Even though we just drafted your replacement, shout out to Anthony Bradford.
So I do think this D-Mitch thing has been interesting. Do you feel like it's the pressure, y'all, that D-Mitch is seeing because he had shed? Jacoby Walters did a great job yesterday. And then obviously you got Scotty, Pirtle, I guess, or whatever. Do you feel like is it the coverages that he's seeing that's forcing him to be off kilter for the last couple of games? What is he now? What is he? He was 5 of 24. So what is he, like 12 of 40 something in the last 2 games?
I think he might be 12 of 40 exactly or something close to it. He's 13 of 41 over the last 2 games. Yeah, it's been rough, dude. I think they've honestly done a really good job of containing his drives, like an abnormally good job considering he's Donovan Mitchell and he's one of the toughest players to contain in the league when he gets going downhill. But yeah, I mean, this is the Raptors' greatest strength as a team. It's their perimeter defense. It's all the different dudes you can switch into tough matchups like this and apply pressure. And they've been really good. Shed has been great. Scotty's been great. RJ has been good defensively. Jacoby Walter's been good. And so they're funneling Mitchell into some of these intermediate shots, like lots of floaters. And he's good from floater range, but he's been struggling to make them these last couple games. And when you're keeping him away from the rim and you're not letting him light you up as a pull-up three-point shooter, like you'll take that as a defense. And then he's also just been off on top of that, I think.
Yeah,
they were a top 10 defense, weren't they, Carson, from memory?
They were. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're probably a little underrated.
Toronto this season, anyway. It's not just the players who struggled against them when they saw them.
And then remember the first 2 games, Mark, we thought like, okay, regular season, that might have just been gas. And then basically since that point, the Raptors have been the better team.
Yeah, he shot below 40%
in
both the games he played against them, and they lost both of them.
Toronto's winning a lot of people over this year. In this series especially. But like, I don't think it's possible to have like a disappointing playoff win. But like the Cavs pushed the boundaries yesterday. Because they were just playing with like a lack of urgency. We talked about Brandon Ingram. That's been disappointing. But this is, I mean, Swiper, to your point, this is why you acquire like someone like Dennis Schroeder, man. Just a gamer. It got to the point yesterday where like Donovan Mitchell told Kenny Atkinson, like, I'm not coming back in the game. You got to keep rolling with him. Like that's it's why you pick up guys like Schroeder and Smart and that, because in the right conditions, they can get you a game or they can get you a half, you know? So just a gamer, no moments too big. That was awesome for him. But yeah, the Raptors have done an excellent job on Donovan Mitchell. I think they're probably a little longer, a little bit more gritty and tougher than people gave them credit for defensively. So, I mean, I think they feel okay going back to Toronto, to be honest with you, after that performance.
I think they might be over though. If this Scotty ankle is for real, and then Brandon is
and
hurt.
Brandon Ingram left the team as well.
So
Although,
I mean,
is that
maybe that's not actually a bad thing. But I mean,
who are they replacing him with then, Mark?
You don't have.
It's more wing minutes who actually shoot threes at volume.
Just so Battle and Barrett.
Battle's
been really good.
Battle, more of those guys.
I don't mind it. I mean, but BI also does have the ability to win you a game with his shot making. We haven't seen it. It's purely theoretical, but theoretically it could happen. So yeah, it doesn't help them, but I don't think that's like devastating. If Scotty's not 100%, I think they're cooked.
He has more highlights in the post game than he does in the game so far at the playoffs.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good showing for Brandon Ingram. But
no,
it is what it is. We move in prospect.
But he did. But versus the Pelicans, when he played the Pelicans versus the Thunder, did he have a couple games in that series?
Oh, that he was just as bad.
Really?
He was literally
that one he had the cop out of. He came back from an injury,
and it was OKC
when he played the Suns in 22. That was when he had a really good series.
So it was the play-in game. He got that's right. He got benched in the fourth quarter. Zion was going crazy, and then Zion got hurt, and then the Lakers won, and then that's when CP3. Was that the CP3 game in the first round? No, that wasn't that series, right?
CP3
14 for 14 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that series.
That was against the Warriors.
Yeah. No, he
so
was.
But like, if they advance, are you like anticipating this to be the same against like a Knicks team as well?
Brother,
like, do you think
Knicks are? If I get a chance to put Brunson, the Pistons or Magic, it'd be Pistons or Magic.
Yeah.
I mean, then if it's the Magic, then
Pistons or Magic. Sorry,
it's all up in the air. I think it's all up in the air at that point if Scotty's healthy.
That's not an ideal matchup for anyone. You don't want
that's what I was going to say.
That's what concerns me for the Cavs. It's like all year the Cavs have struggled with super physical, athletic teams that can kick their ass on the offensive glass and in terms of perimeter defense, force Harden into some turnovers and everything that Toronto's doing, win the transition battle. It's like if you get Detroit, if Detroit gets through, which by the way, I do think they're going to, I would pick them to win in 7. They take all of those up to a different level. Like that defense is insane. They are a wagon on the offensive glass. And it's like at some point, Cleveland has to actually come and meet the moment. Like you said, Damian, I thought yesterday was totally a disappointing win. I'm like, good for you. Hey, you were down in the second half. You got it done. But it wasn't like, oh man, this is the Cavs at their best. It was kind of like they made shots and the Raptors didn't. Sometimes it's that simple. It's not like, oh, I really like the shots they're getting to more. It's like Evan Mobley makes 3 threes, including a contested movement 3. Dennis Schroeder makes 3 threes, and the Raptors went ice cold from 3 in the fourth quarter. That wasn't convincing to me. And all of the key boxes for the Cavs that I wanted to see them check to be like, yes, this team is a contender. Because I've been an optimist about the Cavs because I think they're so talented, but the talent and the results do not match up as often as they do. And too often they get punked and they're not the more urgent team and they're not good with all the physicality. And those are the concerns. They're so skilled. Their offense is a machine when it's flowing, but everybody needs to be more consistent.
Who's their tone setter on that team?
Damn near Dennis Schroeder, dude, when he gets in there. Like, they don't have
that's the problem.
That
they
guy.
don't handle adversity well, man.
I think it might be
No.
Harden is what and I think that's probably the issue. Like, and it's not a Harden thing. It's just like Harden is not he might be the one that kind of stirs the drink for the roster. I think they don't have somebody on their team that I feel like once the moment gets tough from a physicality standpoint and a demand standpoint can carry that load. And that might end up being James. And it's just like Evan's not that. Jared's not that. Dean Wade's sitting on the bench. Sam Merrill's not that. Max Strus, that's not his role. You know, D. Mitch is not that kind of guy. He physically can't do that. So it's tough for me, man. I don't feel good about the team. I didn't feel good about them in the regular season in these settings. But if I think the Magic should get out of this series now, if Franz is not going to play, then that changes everything. Because obviously, if Franz is not healthy, then they're probably going to lose. Unless we get a crazy game from Paolo in Game 6, and I got to come up here and look at Mars again and say it's fake. But I think some of this is like I don't trust.
Say this one was fake.
I know, I'm just kidding. I don't trust the Magic's ability to be able to do that without Franz. And I might take the Magic if they're healthy. I might take the Magic even versus Cleveland if Cleveland makes it out.
That was my next question. Yeah.
I don't believe in Cleveland, so
really, still even in that situation,
I didn't have them beating Toronto. Now they're up 3-2, so
yeah.
So maybe they're probably gonna win. But yeah, I don't. This team that they don't have enough players who do enough things. They have too many one-dimensional players. Like their bigs are both interior scorers, and I don't like their offensive process. Their wings can either shoot or play defense. The only one who can do both is Max Strus. And then their guard,
Tyson. I know he has not played very well this series, but he was a 45%.
I like Jalen Tyson in the regular season. I'm fine with Jalen Tyson.
He's been in and out of the lineup.
Keon Ellis, rightfully so, is now no longer playing because he isn't good enough. And then I'm also just like, I still don't view Donovan Mitchell the way other people do. Like their overall offensive process against Toronto in particular, I was like, they're going to crowd the middle of the floor. They're going to force you into traps and force turnovers, and they're going to take away where you're trying to get to. And then, lo and behold, they've done that the last 3 games. Donovan Mitchell can't score, and James Harden's turning the ball over 28 times a game. Like, this isn't a team that I trust to beat the actual high-level teams. So I had them losing to Toronto. That's probably going to be wrong. But they might beat a Detroit or Orlando. I'm not saying they won't.
Well, I think you would be right if they were healthy. I think the issue is the Scotty injury. So I don't think you're wrong. I think it's just the injuries might be affecting this.
Yeah, it's disappointing because Scotty Barnes was playing amazing. Even last night in the first half, like you see some of the passes he was making.
Yeah, bro.
Like, it was ridiculous. Like the way he sees the floor, like the look away passes to find guys for layups is like ridiculous. But it's unfortunate. It's the playoffs there, so stuff happens.
Everybody's getting hurt, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think this is what. Well, last year was defined by injuries too, but the Wolves, Denver, the Toronto Raptors.
This year's been crazy.
The Magic,
Lakers,
the Rockets, the Lakers. Yeah, this has been Mark and literally, bro.
He swept, but J-Dub went down. Like,
right.
And remember, Mars, I said going into this year, I was hoping that like this would be a reverse of last year. But it was like, no, actually, it's going to be worse. Like, we're going to...
The only teams that are healthy right now would be what? Boston, New York, Detroit. Atlanta, Detroit. So the East is actually doing quite well for themselves. The West is just decimated.
Yeah.
Because OKC lost J-Dub.
Yep.
Wemby missed the game, but he's fine. Denver's dealing with Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson.
Yep.
The Lakers, it goes without saying. The Rockets, it goes without saying. No Kevin Durant. The Wolves, it goes without saying.
Yep.
The Suns, hey, we lost Jordan Goodwin and Mark Williams. Don't sleep on us.
Yep.
We also hurt.
True.
Sure.
And Grayson Allen couldn't play until the last two
Yeah,
games.
Exactly, and Grayson Allen wasn't even. He
And
probably
that
shouldn't
was
even
all
have
the
done
difference.
that. Yeah. Hey, those games were kind of compared. So yeah, stop
Dude,
hating.
hey, hey, they got within 9. I said if they lose by single digits, they won the series, and they
and Shea was in
clutched
all those
last
four
minute.
quarters. So in my opinion, the Suns
True.
won the series.
True.
Yeah, the Suns won the series in my heart. So
Cook.
you know, it is what it is.
It's crazy. I mean, since 2021, that's the one that like everybody thinks of, right? Where it's like the entire field was decimated. It's kind of happened more often than not. Like Boston's title run, the East was decimated by injuries. Hallie and the Cavs getting ravaged. Like last year and this year, I think is probably
Who
the
else's
worst
title
it's
run?
ever been.
23
Warriors as
wasn't
well,
even
if I
like
remember.
that though. Respectfully.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that year, yeah.
because even 23,
Well,
like
Chris Paul went down in 23.
yeah, he went down in game 2 in third quarter, and then we had
Mhm.
what other team had dealt with some stuff? I mean, LeBron with his foot. I heard after the series was over, conveniently. Who else was there? Boston with Jason Tatum in the game 7, even though they were down 3-0. Was Embiid? So Embiid was a funny thing, Mark. I heard y'all talking about this the other day. Embiid was hurt, but remember he also had
Which
3
year are we
straight.
talking about?
The 23 season. Remember he had 3
May-
straight.
got
maybe
hurt
the team
against
that made it to the
Nets.
championship.
He got hurt against the Nets. Embiid sprained his knee in game 3 against
Yeah.
Brooklyn, I think. But he wasn't playing great before that because they were swarming and
Well,
double.
that was
teaming
his
him
worst.
and
That was his worst series to
Yeah.
date. I think.
He had, like,
Nets
9
series.
Yeah, because he actually
Game
came
one,
into that. He came into that series about as healthy as Embiid can.
Right.
He got hurt during it, but even while he's
Yeah.
playing the first 2-3 games, he wasn't playing great because like Jacques Vaughn was coaching the Nets at the time. I think. Yeah, it was his decision. He swarms Joel Embiid on every touch, and
Then Joel
we
Embiid
saw him
missed
struggle to
game.
navigate those doubles and whatnot.
He missed game 1, and then
He missed
Harden
the
had
first
40.
2 games against Boston, or
And then he
maybe
came
first
back
2
for
games
3,
against
4, and
Boston.
5, and had 3 straight 30 and 10 games.
It was 3, 4,
It
and
just
5. Or
makes
came
it
back for 4, 5,
impossible
and
to
6.
to project out.
Was it 4, 5,
Just makes
6?
it impossible.
Because James Harden won them game 1 and game 3. No,
Those were the 2 40 balls.
I can't remember. We'll just box score.
I think so.
You
Game
know when
one,
James
okay,
Harden had
game
4
one for
points.
sure.
Game
Game
one
one for
definitely was,
sure.
yeah.
it was.
Game 1 for sure. Yeah, I know that was
Yeah.
game 1 for sure.
Harden made the 3 at the top of the key to put the game away. I remember that.
It was game
Yeah.
1 and game 1 and game 4, but Embiid was there in game 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember now. Embiid was there in game 4. So yeah, Embiid came back in game.
Well, they were up, and mind you, Carson, they were up 3-2.
Embiid came back in game 3. Embiid came
But
back in game
the thing that shifted Damian in that series was they were up 3-2. Was Embiid? Was it? Oh, 4 quarter Mars. You remember he said I couldn't get the ball versus the Celtics. Remember that he had 2 points I think in the fourth. He said he couldn't get the ball. But remember what happened is that on the other end, Jason Tatum went on like he was stinky, and then he turned out great, and then game 7 happened, and then he just like eviscerated the 76ers.
Yeah, game 6, 4th quarter, Jason Tatum, and then game 7, Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
That's how
that
you-
was
how you
great
kill it.
because what was he shooting going into that fourth quarter?
It was
of
like
game
3.
six?
It was 3 of like it was terrible.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
I don't even know that he had made 3. Like
He was over. He was
awful.
over 10. He was over 10
Yeah.
in the first half,
Yeah.
and 1 for 3 in the third quarter. So he was 1 for 13,
Yeah.
and then closed the game with 16 in the
And then
fourth.
next 5 quarters, he was.
I
like,
missed
the
the
best.
five.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
game 7 just obliterated. Shout out to Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Marsh was pushing Embiid agendas, but I think that's the best. Those are the 2 best games I've ever seen from Tatum in my life. Were the 44, 20, and 6 game, and then that game, or 44, 40, whatever you had in that game 6.
44. Yeah, it was 46 against.
And then Embiid, and then Giannis had 44, 20, and 6. I think.
44, 20, and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
And then
game.
That's Swiper. That's why it's
That
so
series was
hard to
wild.
like project out now. Like it's so hard to project the champions out now because inevitably it has to be baked into the projection. It just so happens this year that the 2 favorites are probably the most healthy. Obviously J-Dub, but they've played without J-Dub, and AJ Mitchell's just been sensational. So I think it's going to be a part of every postseason, man, unfortunately.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. That Western Conference Finals is probably gonna be Spurs. OKC. That's the NBA Finals this year, bro. Because whatever comes out of the Eastern Conference, man, you're gonna have like some nonsense coming out.
I think Boston could make it interesting.
I think
I'm
Boston. could
optimistic
agree.
about
Yeah.
Boston.
Brother,
I've got Philly over both of those teams.
yeah.
What are you talking
Are they gonna get out of this series, Carson?
I mean, they got
They
to
are.
play Philly first. You're right, Mark.
Exactly.
They're gonna take care of business tonight. They're gonna take care of
How do
business
you
tonight.
know that?
Well, I don't. I'm guessing.
Because
That's
when
what-
have
Boston
an
loses a
answer for that,
game
man.
and then their next game is on the road, they end up winning by 25.
Bro, I don't think people realize this as we're moving. Ron, they were so worried about Embiid. They were over like every single screen that he was getting from Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and from Embiid. They were over helping. Maxey was mopping them down the stretch of that game. They don't have a player that can guard Maxey. Not one. None of them can. Derek White included. They cannot guard him.
Jordan Walsh can guard him.
No, I don't hear that.
I think Paul George has been so handy in the series, man.
Yeah, he's been so good.
The ability to come down, the ability to come down and have PG guard one of those guys every time is it's a luxury, to be honest with you.
Dude, and his playmaking has been really good, and he's been shooting it well. Like, PG has just been positively impacting every game.
Yeah.
The reason I think that they're going to win, Swipa, is I actually think Game 5 was really impressive from Philly. Game 2, I'm going to be real, I'm more so chalked up to maybe a little bit of outlier pull-up shooting. Right? I mean, all the guards were just barbecuing drop, and you can buy it from PG and Maxi from Philly.
VJ made like 6
VJ, that's like, okay, that's not
Carson,
VJ.
I always forget. Where did he go to school, Carson? He went to Baylor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
As you were saying, Carson.
Thank you.
As I was saying, so that game I was like, all right, they beat Boston in the jump shooting battle when they were taking a lot of pull-ups, and Boston missed an insane amount of great looks from 3 in Game 2. Hauser was bricking open catch-and-shoot threes. Derek White was bricking open catch-and-shoot threes. So when people are like, ooh, this is the Boston bad offensive process, they missed a lot of threes. I was like, sometimes you miss a lot of threes because you take a lot of threes, but they're good shots. This past game, I thought was different. I thought Philly was doing a really good job of containing the ball. I thought that there was some Embiid deterrence factoring into things. They defended Jaylen Brown so well on ISO. So it's like, that's when Boston was actually settling. They took like almost twice as many pull-ups in that game as they did in Game 2. So the shot quality wasn't as high. So I thought Philly really defended at a high level. And then I thought Embiid is obviously a game changer offensively. Boston cannot guard him. They cannot. He is looking at his matchup every time, and it is food. Huh?
They went 7 minutes without scoring. They missed 16 shots in a row, but they weren't good shots, to your point.
No, yeah, for sure, which is the downside of the Boston offense, you can say. But I do think they're due to get back to making shots. I think ultimately Brown and Tatum both will play better. And what I hope to see from Boston is more of a varied offensive process, because that's what I liked so much about them this year. It's like, all right, well, now we're this amazing offensive rebounding team, so we have more margin there, but also we're more willing to play a more fluid style, and we're willing to lean on Pritchard and White more as like these pick and roll ball handling guards. We don't have to go to Tatum, Brown, ISO mode, everybody spot up around them. But in Game 5, they really were doing that, and Tatum and Brown were not being effective as isolation players, and they were not good as pull-up shooters, and they weren't getting downhill really. And then also they weren't creating good three-point shots for their teammates, and they also weren't making those shots. So that was definitely, I think, the extreme outcome in this series, what happened in Game 5 in Philly's favor. But like, Boston has won 2 games by 30 plus in this series. And when they win the 3-point battle, they're tough to beat. I mean, like, the ceiling of that offense is insane.
You can win 3 games by 30. If we win 4 games by 1, we win the series.
That is true. And that is honestly the one concern I have about Boston. It's like, we're not playing for net rating here. We're playing to win 4 out of 7 games. And the 3-point variance, I think sometimes it's overly criticized, but like, it can get you in a single game format. It can get you in any one of these games. And like you said, Mars, it really doesn't matter if you win by 30. It's a win. A win is a win. A loss is a loss.
Who's been the 3rd best player for Boston in the series, Carson? And Mars? And Dan
Pritchard.
Pritchard?
Pritchard, I think. White has been so good defensively and so bad as a shooter.
Yeah, he just can't. His shots just escaped him.
Yeah, I haven't liked anything any of the bigs have given them in this series.
No, that's my biggest concern with Boston. It's just the bigs being so rigid.
They might put Tatum at the 5 against one of these.
I totally agree. I think they have to push that button, and I think it's kind of weird that they didn't before Embiid came back in this series. It's like, why are you letting Kata and Vooch just get fried and drop? Put Tatum at the 5 and switch.
No, it's the first round. They can experiment.
Yeah.
Fellas, before we do move on, I do want to ask you guys while we're here, who wins tonight? Who you guys got?
Philly.
Boston.
I want to see Philly win.
Yeah, I want to see Philly win as well, man.
I want to see if Mars actually be able to get a Game 7 off with Embiid, because he was doing that propaganda stuff yesterday. I'd love to see Embiid go for like a smooth 35 in a Game 7.
I'm like 64% sure Joe Mazzulla's just going to start doubling Embiid on every set.
Why would they not?
I want Philly to win. I think Boston will.
That's all I'm waiting. They're going to double off Kelly Oubre every time. Like, I'm just waiting for it to happen. So,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll be back here tomorrow. Embiid will have 8 turnovers. 8 turnovers, my guess.
8.
He was good as a passer. in Game 5, but I would.
He's
just
improved
test
as a
him more there,
passer
and I would
since
test
his
him for
MVP.
sure.
Yeah, he's improved a lot.
sure.
But they start doubling from his blind sides. You're gonna have to navigate
That
that.
means Maxi's getting
Yeah.
50 or
Bro, if Maxey
No.
can replicate I'm talking about anything he did in the first round versus New York, anything he did in that series, like in the next 2 games, they can win.
That would be needed. I would love that.
Yeah, he was electric
Yeah.
in that series.
That was unbelievable. I was pissed.
Give
Where
me
is
some
this man?
2021 Paul George minutes as well. Give me some 2021 Paul George
Yeah.
minutes. You can get me 30.
I mean,
take that as well.
I've told y'all how I feel about Philly's just roster in general. I think like you double Joel at your own risk. Because if he's able to get the ball out of that double team, and you got Tyrese Maxey now that you have to rotate to, or Paul George that you have to rotate to, even Kelly Oubre, maybe not so much as a shooter, but even as just a straight line drive, Quentin Grimes, like
It's really
Philadelphia
BJ,
has a great team around him.
It's really BJ because BJ what they do, they're going to over rotate, but what they're going to do is if they put Tyrese Maxey topside or weak, then they're going to scramble to him. BJ is the one at the top of the key that's going to have to make that decision or make that shot.
I mean, I like VJ too. Like VJ's a good enough shooter. He'll punish you. On top of that, once again, if you're closing out the VJ and you fly by him, a straight line drive with VJ, or if you're slow to rotate and he could just get into the paint and go finish at the rim, like Philly is dangerous.
He's just so young though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that,
he's not playing like a swiper.
Well,
he's not
did.
looking like it.
He did.
Quentin
Grimes was excellent.
Yeah,
last game.
it's up and down, but
Yeah.
he won them a game, so
He did.
well,
He did.
assisted in winning them a game, so he did his part.
Yeah, yesterday yesterday he got it? My bad, Carson. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're all good. I mean, I think what is VJ? He's 0 of 11 from 3 over the last 2 games or
Yeah.
something. So
No, he
he's-
made one last game.
he's true,
I'm fairly
yes.
sure. I'm pretty sure I watched. the
Okay,
game.
no, you're right. I think he went 0 for 7 in game 3.
Let me see.
Yeah,
think
he
that
went
was
6
his
for 10,
real-
and then the next 2 games
Yeah.
he couldn't buy.
I think that was the
Yeah,
same game where
the
Maxey
last
didn't
game he
shoot
made.
at all in the second half as well. That
Yeah.
could have been the same game
Yeah,
where
he-
Maxey just didn't shoot in the second half.
He's shooting 28% from 3 on 6 attempts. It's not terrible. Like it's not bad.
Last
but
game,
again,
VJ was 3 for 6.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's had 2 good
Yeah.
games. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the game because this is why I don't like averages in these small samples because it's flawed. This is VJ's game log in the playoffs.
Yikes.
0 for 5, 6 for 10, 0 for 7, 0 for 4, 3 for 6.
Yeah.
So he's got to 28%. He's made 3s in 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he has a 40% chance of making 3s in a game. Like that's where we're at. Like not just shooting 40%. It's 40%. Is he gonna make one today? That's what
But
he's
if
been.
he, but if he does make one,
if he
he's
does
gonna
make
get
one,
a
hey,
few.
we're looking at
Yeah,
multiple.
he's true,
percentage.
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like we'll see what he does.
Yeah, they're 9. He's 9 of 16 from 3 in the games they won. So I think that's
Yeah,
the
and-
formula.
There's
I
a
just think
direct
the
correlation
shooting
between VJ hitting
battle-
shots and them winning.
Yeah.
a jump shooting battle favors Boston so much.
Oh,
when
yeah,
Boston's
100%.
getting to the right kind of jump shots, and I think they have the ability to do that.
Philly, I trust Maxey as a shooter. I trust Paul George as a shooter. I trust
And-
Quentin Grimes as a shooter.
And
That's kind of where the
Well,
love goes.
Grimes was good, but
You don't trust
Grimes
Joel
even
as a
wasn't
shooter?
consistent this year.
From 3? No.
just
He
in
needs to stop
general,
shooting
just in
threes.
general.
Oh, from mid range, yeah. But I'm
Hey.
talking about 3s. I'm just talking about 3s.
Yeah,
Like Joel needs to stop shooting 3s. Like that would be like he stopped doing that in the second half in game 5, and look what happened. The first half he was just hovering on the 3-point line, particularly the first quarter, and like it just makes him less effective. It makes Philly less effective. Like just get inside, do what you do, and then draw a double, and then kick out, and then play out of that. But he doesn't need to be shooting 5, 6 threes. He doesn't need to do. I understand like part of it is he's tired. Like he's definitely not in game shape right now. So like he's just out there like floating on occasion. Respectfully, there's no time to be floating.
And I
You're down
also do
32,
think it's
like,
important to
go get
note
back.
because they brought, I think it was Jay Billis, that was covering the game. Was it Jay yesterday?
I had the game. I had the game on mute.
Which
so I
game?
can't talk.
Jay Bill was called a
Jay
game
was
yesterday.
Jay covered the Rockets Lakers game.
Okay.
yesterday.
Right. I was trying to know whoever it was. I want to give them credit. They did note that Embiid's defense wasn't great to start the game off, but it got better down the stretch. And I think that some of that is too, like, he is exhausted, like legitimately exhausted. Like having to come back from an appendectomy like 2 weeks ago. It's insane that he's even able to play at this level, given that he literally has an open wound on his body that he is still like allowing to heal and all that. So even just the contact and Mars, not even just the exhaustion threes, setting screens hurt. Like,
And he's setting big body screens, by the way.
right.
Like he's setting hard screens, which Boston need to start icing the screens. I don't know why they're letting Maxey come off. Just ice the screen, sends Maxey towards the baseline. Just keep him away from the screen. He'll be all right. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure they'll do that tonight. So
yeah, but ultimately, I got Philly tonight. I got another 30-10 type of game from Joel. I got Joel being unstoppable yet again. And I don't know who it's going to be who's going to play second fiddle. I mean, it's obviously Maxey's the easy one to go to, but it might be Paul George's breakout game where he gives you 25 points. It might be another big VJ game. But that, once again, like I keep saying, Philly has so much firepower. Somebody else is going to get off next to Joel Embiid, and Joel's just... They have nothing. Nobody has anything for Joel. This isn't just a Celtics problem. Nobody has nothing for Joel. So it's like I got Philly tonight. Game 7. We'll have to see. But who you got, Ox? And welcome to the show.
What's up, y'all? I mean, when you talk about firepower, I think Boston has a lot of firepower as well. Derek White hasn't been playing all that great this series. Peyton Pritchard is good for a 20-piece any night. So I think when you talk about it like that, it goes both ways as far as firepower, and I would actually say Boston has a little more as far as offensive firepower goes. Although I agree with you that there isn't really a matchup for Joel. You know what I mean? I think they just kind of put Cato on him and just let him be physical as physical as he can. You know, when Vooch gets his little minutes, just hit him early. You know, try to play on the fact that we all know that he's not in great shape. You know what I mean? And just make him work. Just make him work put him in a lot of action on defense. Make him work a lot on defense. Try to wear him down as much as you can, and kind of just shoot the ball. Just go after him and shoot the basketball. But I mean, you know, I got Boston.
Okay. Well, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into these crunch time chats. I appreciate everybody that sent through super chats. We will talk about the other game from last night, and we will talk about why the Lakers sold the bag or why the Houston Rockets have now improved over the last 2 games. Also, Brad Stevens won Executive of the Year. I want to ask you guys, is he the best executive that's in the NBA? But we'll get into that in a second. Before we do anything, I got to let you guys know that we have a members-only show starting this Sunday, and it will be every following Sunday, and it also will be on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Set your calendars. Sundays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Every week, members-only meeting, okay? This is a meeting only for members. If you're not a member, don't think about it, pal. You're not showing up. You guys know the secret lock to the door. If you are a member, you know what code to use, and we will see you guys there. If you are an all-star, congratulations. That means that you get an opportunity to actually not just pull up to the chat, not just pull up and watch the stream, but you actually can join the stream, come on stage, and talk your shit. That means if you want to debate Damian, you could do that. That means if you want to cook Marsh, you could do that. That means if you have a question for Swiper, you can do that. Whatever you want to do, chat, this is your opportunity to get it off. Whatever's on your chest, this is your opportunity to get it off. We will see you guys this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a hell of a time. But as of right now, fellas, hey, Swiper, we got super chat, so let's go ahead and talk about what the people want to talk about. It's almost like an early entry into the members-only stream. Masinko sent through $9.99 and said, I don't care who you was rooting for. It's no way you didn't enjoy that matchup of K versus Paolo. Orlando missed way too many free throws. That was very winnable.
That was a shootout.
First game,
I love a good shootout like that.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Damien. It's the first time since those two that guys have scored 45 each going head to head.
Damien, I don't think it was quite that entertaining. Like that,
it wasn't.
How they did it was a little more exciting, I guess. But I still enjoyed last night's game. That's an old-fashioned shootout. I know this guy isn't who you're talking about, but I said it in the chat yesterday, and this is probably the best. This is probably the best series I've seen Tobias Harris play. Like,
it's by far the best series I've seen him play.
Tobias is cooking, and Tobias is absolutely balling right now. Yes. And this is the best.
He's 22 a game over the last 3 years.
It's crazy, damn. And if you know, I think Tobias is sorry, and he is balling right now.
And he's doing
I
this
think
without
Tobias,
making
like-
threes too. Yeah, he's doing this.
Yeah,
without
if he
He has
finds
the
the
highest.
three.
Doesn't he have the highest career earnings for never being an All-Star? Is that him? Does he have that
I
title?
believe
I think
so.
he has that title.
That
I know he
definitely
did. I'm
sounds
not sure
right.
if he still
Him or
does, but he
CJ,
did.
maybe my guess.
It was
Because it
definitely
was Conley,
Tobias,
but then
definitely.
Conley got
I think.
the lifetime
got-
achievement.
Only got that
Yeah,
All-Star
yeah.
selection.
2021. Yeah, I remember that was the biggest bogus nonsense of all time.
Conley,
That was
he got the biggest
No, it was-
contract in NBA history
He did.
before he had been an all.
Yeah,
Seven
was it
for
120?
Memphis,
Was it 120?
It was 124.
That was
or something like that.
insane.
It's crazy
Yeah,
that
this
120
is-
used to be the biggest contract ever. It's crazy.
But
Yeah,
you know
and
how it
then-
goes.
Yeah.
It just comes around to it's just a luck of the draw thing. Like who,
Money
whose
now it's
turn is
Christian
that-
Brown
that's-
money.
timing,
So,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But he ain't have no business at any
Mike-
point
yeah, he
ever
did.
be.
Why
He
not?
did,
Mike
yeah.
He
Conley
had
was the
no
best. Mike-
business.
He was a
Mike
great
Conley
player.
was
Yeah.
His
was Mike
value
Conley
should
ever a
not
top
be-
10 point guard?
He was a great
Yes.
Like
player.
legit.
Yes.
He was a
Bro,
great
are you
player.
serious right now?
And then he was an all
If he was
defensive
10, if
player
he was
too.
10, it was
You
8,
don't
9, or
think-
10.
You don't think
Yeah,
Mike
yeah, he
Conley
was
in
probably
the
like 7, 8.
mid-2010s was a top 10 point guard?
Clip it,
Bro, be
clip
for
it
real,
right now.
bro.
clip
Here's
it.
the
for
thing.
real,
Here's
bro.
the thing. Oh, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Whether he was a top 10 point guard, he was nowhere close to a top 10 player, let alone 20 player. I don't even know if Mike Conley was a top 30 player in the NBA.
What? Wait, no, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
mean,
whoa. No,
fine,
you're
fine. Be the
misremembering.
man.
You're misremembering.
I mean,
You're
but look,
misremembering.
when y'all say
I'm
top 30, y'all
misremembering the
got-
guy
y'all
that
got-
never
y'all
won
got-
all- that never made it to an All-Star game.
Yeah, but
Mike
miss
Conley.
remember,
A
you
guy
gotta-
that never made it to the All-Star game
No, but
was
you
the
gotta-
top
you
ranked
gotta-
player
He was
in the
most-
NBA.
Run. They used to vote by position group and
Yeah.
conference, of course. He was going up against maybe the most stacked position group. He was going up against Western Conference guards in the mid-2010s. That's prime James Harden, prime Russell Westbrook,
Golden
prime
Age,
Steph
yeah.
Curry, Damian Lillard. Like, it was ridiculous. That's why he didn't make an All-Star team. He was definitely
Did
a
you
top
say Chris Paul
25
too?
player.
Carson,
Chris
you said
Paul.
Right.
It was
Deron
insane.
Williams in the early.
in the like early mid 2010s, so like 2013 to like 2015, 16-ish. Mike Conley was probably closer to like 5 than 10 in terms of point guards.
Mike Conley was
And
cold.
Mike Conley was a lockdown defender too.
I don't know.
Lockdown
He's probably about
defender.
7.
Talk about
Yeah, he
it.
was.
I need you guys to understand where I'm coming from,
They
though.
were tough.
Regardless if he was closer to 5 than he was closer to 10, the main point that I'm making, I'm not arguing where he was at. I know he wasn't top 5, but the main point I'm making is he had no business being the highest paid player in the National
That's
Basketball
not- that's not-
Association.
that's not how it
Brown
works,
had
though,
no
Ron.
about
That's-
Jaylen
that's-
Brown.
That's what I was about to
Facts,
say. That's
facts.
how it works. That's how it works, Ron. You know how
Mike
it goes.
Conley
It's
was
like-
never close to
No,
what
but
Jaylen Brown
Fox-
is.
But look,
Fox,
that's not
ridiculous
the
to be the highest
point.
paid
That's
player.
not even the
Remind
point.
him,
The
Mike-
point is that when it's a timing thing. His contract was coming up as money start being more. When new CBAs are
The
agreed to,
2016 season.
and it's your turn to get paid.
And he became a free agent.
And it's your turn to get paid, and you're an amazing basketball player
Yeah.
like Mike Conley was. It's just your turn. Like Carson and Damian just said, Jaylen Brown. A lot of y'all didn't think don't have Jaylen Brown top 30. But I want to talk about that real quick. We always do this top 30. If you say somebody's not a top 30, well, a lot of people don't think
Last year,
Jaylen Brown's
remember
top
that
30.
competition.
Maybe
You know
when
what
he
I'm saying?
signed the
So,
contract.
but that for me, that's absolutely ridiculous. But either way, when we do this top 30 thing, we say that like there's not 30 teams in the NBA. So in order for me, like let's say there's only one player for each team. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's not a bad thing to not be a top 30 player in the NBA. Now if we get the top 60 and you're not in there, okay, that's a little shaky. But top 30. That's a competitive group right there. There's 30 teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
Conley
Ron,
was the
I
best
just think
player on some really
you're
good
missing
teams.
you're missing the context of 2016. The CBA jumped, which is
I remember that. It was
Why-
great. That's where Drummond
That's
got paid and all of
Yes.
those guys. I remember that.
Alan Crabbe.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
Allen Crabbe,
Mahimi,
but then also
Mozgov,
the
Luol
highest
And you had
paid
true
player in
free
the league
agency as well.
was Mike Conley for a little bit, but it was Mars, your guy that used Otto Porter Jr. got that bag from the Wizards, and he became the highest paid player in the league for a little bit. You just got to remember that time period. Everybody,
Was he the highest
got-
paid?
I think
don't
he might
Otto
have got
was.
the.
He got.
I don't think he was.
I think
He
it
got a
was
big. He got a
125.
big contract.
I
I
don't
don't
know if
think
he was
he was
the
ever the
highest
highest paid.
It was
Come on, man,
125.
Otto,
wasn't it?
man, get that money, Otto.
I think it was
It was
125
crazy
million
money.
dollars. If I remember correctly, what the number was, and that's more than what Kobe got. Kobe got a 7-year extension in the 2000. That what it was?
I don't know.
It was like 115. So I think he was not quite the highest, but he was very
Oh,
overpaid.
so close. Okay, yeah.
Jaylen
So
Brown was the first 300, right?
Yeah. Everybody was like, yeah, that's bad money. Everybody said it's bad money at the time. Yeah.
Everybody was
look
drunk.
now.
Everybody was drunk.
Look
too.
now.
Those,
It's still bad
those
money.
contracts were like 6 years apart, by the way. Like
Crazy.
Otto getting paid 24 and then Jalen getting, the $300 million total contract.
And then y'all got to remember,
that's CBA
this,
went crazy.
this
though.
CBA
Yeah,
is
that's just
up in
economics too,
2030, and then you have the TV rights deal coming back next year. So then 2030, I'm going to put a stamp on this right now. We're going to be seeing 82, 83 by the time we get to that. I think Shea's getting 70, Jokic is getting 70 this summer. We're getting into the 80s by the time we get into 2030s.
Absolutely, we will.
And by the time we get to 2035, it's going to be 100.
So Swiper, who would you say, relative to what Mike Conley was in that era, who would you say would be a Mike Conley levelish point guard today?
So Shea, Luka, and then like
De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron Fox, probably. But
So
I
De'Aaron Fox?
I probably would. Well,
Isn't
I'll
De'Aaron about to make his
probably
sixth
go
year?
the step below. Whoever's right behind De'Aaron.
step below De'Aaron
Like
this
Trae
year.
Young.
Ooh.
Trae
I
Young.
would
Well,
take
no, I'm
Conley.
not talking.
was
I'm
better
not
than
talking about
Trae.
who's.
Carson,
I'm
I'm
not
right with you.
talking
Say what you want to say.
You can't.
Yeah.
Let's leave that alone.
I'm not talking about necessarily who's better right now. I'm kind of just talking about just in ranking, because I got Foxy right there like 6. Yeah, probably okay. Mike Conley right, because I think Mike Conley was right there in between like 6 and 9. Like Mike Conley was cold, bro.
It was, yeah.
If Mike
So
Conley in his prime
Depending
right
on what
now-
year, you might be able to sneak him in the top 5, depending on the year.
So let's say it is De'Aaron
You gotta be
Fox.
careful because Rajon went crazy right around that time too, and then
Yeah, but Rajon Rondo tore his ACL in what, 2012? Was it 2012?
I think no.
No, it
Wasn't
was
like 2014?
2013.
I think it was 13
2013?
or 14. Yeah.
So if we say, let me just check. Why? I have good.
Who do we have
Regardless,
at
he
that
was
time?
not
2013.
better than Mike Conley in the mid 2010s.
Derrick Rose.
Kings and Pelicans.
Rajon Rondo
Rondo.
tore his ACL in 2013. So let's just say let's just use 2013 as the year, because Rondo is now unavailable due to him tearing his ACL.
Okay.
Mike Conley not a top 5 point guard in 2013. Obviously, you got Chris Paul. He's the best point guard in the league.
If I go back in
You got
time, he probably
Westbrook.
was, man.
The thing is, Conley got better
Tony
after
Parker, Steph?
2013, though.
Yeah, he did.
Conley was best by like
2014.
2016, 17.
Yeah,
Yeah, even
15 to
I don't agree
17.
with that. I think Conley was probably at his best 2013.
But his defense started sliding after 2015, though. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, I think Mike Conley, like 2013, is probably when you're getting the high level defense, still like the shooting, the playmaking. Once you get to like the mid
but
2010s,
the shooting
like
got better.
2017,
The shooting and scoring got better.
John Wall,
after
somebody
that.
said John
And the
Wall,
defense
yeah.
was
You
still
got
good.
you got to go 11, 12, 13, 14 with Mike Conley.
So like for box score
14.
watching, he didn't average 20 until 2017. So you got that.
Yeah.
But 2013, Mike Conley's making an all defensive team.
Mhm.
He wasn't that caliber of defender anymore in 2017.
Yeah. I would go
I didn't know he made. I didn't know he made all defense.
Kyrie,
Like, shout out to him.
Kyle Lowry.
Can you go to
Yeah,
Data
I would say
Baller
for
Mars?
me, Mike Conley's best is like 2013 to like
Damian Lillard.
2017. That's probably the
Let's
years.
go.
So,
Let's see what Data Baller has to say about Mike Conley.
13 to 17 is what I would say is
Kemba.
Mike Conley's peak. Looking at,
Get Kemba.
he's
and
better.
Yeah,
He's better
13
than Kemba in those years.
13 was when they made the conference finals. That was a really good year.
See,
For those
12 to
Grizzlies
14.
teams, they were like an automatic 50 wins.
He averaged
competitive
17 and
first round
7 in the
series at
playoffs.
least.
Now he shot 38% from the field, but it was 17.
That
and
Grizzlies
7
team
in
was
the-
nasty. Like they were.
Mars,
the
just for
grind.
context, Mars, in 2012
OJ
to
Mayo was getting in the
14,
way.
Mike Conley played 7,377 minutes. Remember, he was extremely durable, by the way, y'all.
What years are you talking about? What?
This is 12 to 14, full regular seasons. And then he sat for 3,700 minutes over that time frame. So again, this is a context of like offense is starting, it's not boom jet, it's getting to the era. They had
And
a
this is
one-way
Memphis, by the way.
Memphis with, again, just for Mark Gasol, Tony Allen, James Johnson, Zach Randolph, Courtney Lee, Kufus, Jared Bayless, bald Jared Bayless played on the team. Early Seth Curry, Quincy Pondexter, shout out to my dog, old as dirt Tayshaun Prince, old as dirt Mike Miller, and then they had Bino on this team, Ed Davis, who was a GOAT at Portland, shout out to my dog, and Darius Morris was on this roster. Mike Conley had a 108 offensive rating, and they had a 101.5 defensive rating. The offense and defense was better than Mike Conley at that point. And remember, he was getting all NBA votes on the defensive end as well at this point. He was the best offensive player on his team as well. Like, I hated Mike Conley. I hated Memphis Grizzlies. I hated watching them. I hated playing against them. Because you got to remember, they were playing Memphis all the time. I used to hate playing them. You couldn't score.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two
you go back
bigs in
and
the
watch
paint, yeah.
those Memphis games. Oh my,
They were nasty
man.
games,
You got
man.
Tony Allen just hounding you, Marc Gasol down there,
grind.
and then they're gonna walk the
They
ball
played
up on
everyone
the other
tough.
end, and then throw it into Zebo. It's like, oh my.
I had to watch Ty Lawson 4 times a year try to score against that defense with Willis McGahee playing center, catching alley oops. That's it. Like, come on, bro. Like, that was a terrible time, bro. But dude,
I like those-
that's what I'm saying.
I like
I think
those
Michael's
Grizzlies
top
teams.
5. I do think he was
Walker.
top 5 for a point.
Good time.
And
looking
I'm
back.
going
Everything.
all
Yeah.
just all 2010s. I like that 2010s.
Yeah.
Grizzlies. Like,
2011 to
2010 and
2017.
2019, all of them.
Just to swipe his impact point, the Grizzlies were 8 points better with him on the court. And they were a +5 net team. That's like really strong impact, leading some really good teams.
And wasn't it
as
17?
arguably
Was
the
it
best
17
guy
that they
on the
played the
team.
Spurs tough? Was that 17? That they played
It
the
was
Spurs
one of
tough?
those
I can't
they
remember.
did. Yeah,
one of
yeah,
them,
they
'cause
did.
They played them back-to-back years. It was 17 and 16. 16 they got mocked. I think
Yeah.
that's what Marc Gasol. If I remember correctly, Marc Gasol was hurt the first time. They got destroyed. Marc Gasol was back the next year, and it was competitive. If I remember correctly.
Somebody in the chat
that's
brought up
right.
a good point. Carson, who's better, Jrue Holiday at their peak or Mike?
Ooh,
Jrue
that
Holiday.
is a good
True.
question.
I'll say true.
I don't know. I think Mike is the better offensive player. I think Drew's offense could get rough. Jrue is the better defender. I don't know, man. That's a really good one. I might lean on Conley. I think Conley's the better playmaker, and I trust Conley shooting a lot
New
more. I think he
Orleans, truly?
controls a game better offensively, and he's still a really good
He
defender.
wouldn't shoot 38% from the field in the series like Jrue did.
Well,
I'll
he
take
actually
New
did in
Orleans.
2013.
No,
but that's neither here nor there.
not
For
as
the sake of the
often.
agenda,
Time.
yeah, for
That
the
was
sake of
10
the
years
agenda, we'll let it
later.
slide.
10
For the
years
sake of the
later?
agenda, we'll let it slide. For the sake of the agenda, we'll let. So start bench cut because I think Kyle Lowry's also in this mode. So start
Shout
bench
out
cut.
Kyle
Kyle Lowry, Mike Conley, Jrue Holiday.
Damn, Mike.
That's a
See
great.
ya.
That's a great.
For me,
I think I'm
Kyle
starting
Lowry.
Lowry. Yeah.
I'm starting Kyle Lowry.
Which Jrue? Do I get Pelicans 25 and 5 Jrue?
Whichever Jrue,
Yeah.
whichever Jrue is your
Yeah.
choice.
Peak
I'm
Jrue.
starting Kyle Lowry. I know
Drew's
that.
tough.
Bro,
And I'm
I see
probably- I'm
Jrue
probably
drop people
benching-
I'm
off.
cutting
Ox.
Conley. I'm cutting Conley.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm-
no,
I'll
like
start Lowry,
Drew
I'll
Holiday
start
definitely
Lowry.
starts for me,
Yeah.
Swiper. Like, Drew Holiday starts.
I didn't think anything else from us. And that's
It
not
might,
bad.
it might gotta go. So
Wait,
I
who's
start
better at their
Lowry,
peak?
I cut
Who was
Conley.
better
I
at their
start
peak,
Lowry, I
Ron?
cut Conley.
Was it Jrue or was
Hold
it?
on, hold on.
Kyle?
Wait. Let Mars finish. Who you got, Mars?
I start Lowry and I cut Conley, so I'll bench Drew. That's probably what I'll do.
2018
I'm
Drew.
Bro, talk to me.
That's
It was nasty in
probably
New Orleans,
the
man.
best. Yeah, I mean, I think Lowry's the start. I don't know. I do trust Conley's offense more though, but I think you go either way. With
Drew
it.
Holiday is one of the best point guard defenders I've ever
He
seen.
is. He is.
I don't think I'm
100%.
taking
Kyle
one
was
of
a
the best
monster
ever.
too, bro. I just hate it. And this is some bias, by the way, y'all. I just didn't like the way Kyle looked on the basketball court at all. Like I just couldn't stand it. Like I just didn't. I didn't. I mean, that's respectfully. I never liked the way he looked on the court. Remember, I saw him in
Yeah, it's
Houston.
distracting.
It's distracting. It's crazy. What is distracting, Carson?
I think we all know. He was given a certain gift.
It definitely captivates me. I'll say that.
Yeah,
It helped him as well.
I love
It helped him a lot
Kyle
as well.
Lowry.
I probably watched more Raptors games solely for that reason. So.
of course.
Mm.
I mean, never mind. Anyway, I was gonna say something crazy.
Okay.
Drew, bro, I don't know. Drew was an all-star in 2013.
Yeah.
This is your problem.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Sorry for watching.
Drew
Hoops,
averaged
my
like
bad.
20.
Yeah.
Drew averaged like 21, 22, some 1 year. Can't remember which year.
Drew peaked as
He was
20.
good, man.
Drew
He
peaked
was
as
a 20
21
and
point
8
game
guy.
scorer in
And by the way, he had an elite
Damien,
handle.
when Drew and Ray John got together,
And he was playing elite
like,
D as well, yeah.
Yeah.
It got ugly.
If Boogie
Alex,
Cousins,
how are you bringing Rondo into this?
well, no, I'm just saying.
If Rondo's there, Rondo's gonna get brought up.
Yeah, he's
If
definitely
Rondo's near, if Rondo's nearby, he gonna get brought
Well,
up.
no, because I'm just saying that Pelicans team, I love that team.
Yeah.
I was really upset when DeMarcus
Yeah.
got hurt. I really did
Yeah.
like that.
That was a
basketball
bummer.
I think
That team
Dame
was
hated
cool.
that team. Not you, Damien, but the
team.
other
And
Dame, I
CJ,
think.
they all hated
Damn.
that. All of
Yeah,
Portland
that was
hated
an
team.
awesome. That was a great series.
That was a
fun.
defense.
Yeah, they shut off his water.
Well, it
Killing
wasn't. It
Drew,
wasn't a
AD,
great
and,
series in terms of.
That was a 3-6
competitiveness, but
series,
it was
right?
memorable.
Yeah, it was 3-6.
That
but
was the
their
worst
records
series
were
of
so
Lillard's
close.
career, right?
Like, it
Yeah.
kind of gets
No,
like
they were the favorites. They were the
misremembered as,
favorites.
like-
They were the favorites.
No, I'm not saying they weren't, but it kind of gets misremembered as like, oh, the Pelicans, how could they? They won like one less game than Portland. Like the 3-6 wasn't exactly like a gargantuan gap.
Was it
between-
4-1? It was a 4-1 series.
No, 4-0. It was a
Oh, it was a
Swept.
sweep. Yeah.
Swept.
Yeah, they crushed them.
What's crazy about
Clamp.
Drew is like I think there was like a decade in between like All-Star games.
There
for
was.
him. It could be like 8 years, 9 years. Was it a decade?
2013 and
13 to I think 22. I think he made it the year after they won the title. Yeah.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And by the way,
It was a
actually-
full decade. It's 13 to 23.
He was actually, I
23,
want
I thought
this
it
to
might
be
have
on
been, yeah.
record. There
And
was
then
a
he
period
struggled
the
again.
next year after the title, Jrue was the best offensive player for a stretch for the Bucks. Because I don't think people remember this. Giannis was dealing with some injuries, and you probably don't even remember this deep cut, Mars. The Atlanta Hawks game, I believe it was. Jrue had like 40.
Oh, you
And
talking about the title year?
Was it after? It might have been after. It was one of the, it was. I might have been a 22-23 season right after that. Because Giannis, I know, was dealing with some stuff early on in the season. Jrue was going bonkers to start the year off, and he was playing super well. And then he kind of like teetered off as like the season went on. Same thing with the Portland Trailblazers that year. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I might have to go with Jrue, bro. Jrue was something crazy to watch. He was crazy with the Pelicans. He was a great defender, great handle. He could get to the rim. He was a great passer too. He just played in New Orleans, and then he had to end up on that bum franchise, the Bucks. Like, I'm sorry, bro. That still pisses me off, Carson. Like the fact that they have 3 first-round picks and 2 swaps, because Denver tried to trade for him in 2020.
Oh, okay.
He would have been great at home. He still would have been in Denver to this day. He wouldn't have to deal with going to Portland and playing with that franchise over there.
Yeah,
I'm for sure
playoff
going with Jrue
offense with
Swiper.
the Bucks was so ugly,
You said what,
but that
Ron?
wasn't him at his best. He peaked with the Pelicans for sure, and just didn't have the team.
Well, the 22 series in the Celtics was the magnum opus bad
He
series.
struggled against the Heat the next year too. To be fair,
I think
struggled
all
all
of
that
it.
year.
It was
That's what-
all ugly offensively, 21 to 23.
That's what overlooks.
Yeah.
That's why
It dropped off.
his Milwaukee tenure gets discredited because of what Jimmy did to him in that series. A lot of people can't overlook that series.
they gotta remember what he did to Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Then.
Wow.
You
What
would
a-
you
what a-
would
what a
think so,
play.
right, Morris? You would think so.
Devin Booker had 2 13-point games in that series, didn't he?
Yeah, because they got to a point where whichever one Jrue was guarding, he had to go to the corner.
Yeah.
Like that, they
Even
genuinely
in
got
the
to that point.
Celtics run,
Because he couldn't guard both of them at the same
won
time.
games
If
alone on
Drew's
his
on
team,
Devin Booker go to the corner. Chris Paul's gonna bring the ball up. If Drew's on Chris Paul go to the corner. Devin Booker gonna bring the ball up. You know how crazy that is? Like that's like Kawhi Leonard type. That's what Kawhi Leonard used to do to people. And Jrue was doing that like in the
I
NBA
think-
Finals on the stage. So
In the Celtics championship, I think he had the most like game-winning steals in like a single run as well, from memory. Like at the end of
wouldn't
games, he
be
had like
shocked.
3 or yeah, it was crazy, something crazy.
Yeah. All 3 of these
Two
guys,
against
man,
Indiana.
underrated.
Two against Indiana.
These are 3
Yeah, I'm-
winning, impactful basketball players.
I like
I'm
it.
still comfortably taking
A little
Jrue
bit
right
more
here.
traditional.
Comfortably
I get
Over
it's-
Lowry, too?
I'm comfortably taking Jrue. I
Why
believe
Larry was good
because
too. Larry was
Jrue
good too,
won.
man.
Lowry's
One-
offense was easily the best of any of these 3 at his best.
Was it?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know how
he was
it would.
giving, like
He's by far the best
22 and
shooter.
7 efficiently. Yeah, by far the best shooter. His
shooting.
3
No, for shooting,
pulling up and off
He's
the
also the
catch.
best passer of the
Yeah.
three as well.
And Larry
And
played
that's-
D as
and the
well,
best
though.
rebounder, and a really good defender still.
He's a better rebounder than Jrue.
That one's close.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think
But-
it's
How
marginally
really
highly.
good.
Rondo's the best rebounder.
probably
in
a
that
wash.
group. We're going into 4.
I mean, yeah, Rondo,
John Wall, yeah.
Bring Rondo in.
Well, I mean, swipe it. If
Matter of fact-
Rondo was
matter of fact, hold on,
if
Ron,
Rondo was
you-
in this, he'd be playing
You're
48
not
minutes.
doing enough. You're not doing enough. We're
He'd
including
be
Rondo in
playing
this
48.
Carson. Rondo's the best. Rondo was
Why are we
arguably.
including
I know. Hold
Rondo?
on, but
Good job,
Rondo-
Swiper. Keep going.
Rondo was arguably the second best defender of that group at his peak.
Absolutely, the second.
He was the best
defender.
rebounder.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
He was the best
Absolutely.
passer,
Absolutely.
He was.
and respectfully,
By far.
Rondo had the
worst
best
scorer.
scoring run in the playoffs.
He's still by
Sometimes
far the
Rondo.
worst scorer.
He
No,
might
he
be my
did.
favorite
No,
player.
Mars, acknowledge that
He's by
point. He did.
far the worst. No, that's fine. That's fine.
No
I'm not
elbow.
arguing.
No elbow,
I'm
mind
not
you.
arguing.
Because
You
D
put
Wade
up
D
40
Wade
in
did
the
that
playoffs,
sucker
I'm
shit.
not
That's
arguing.
what happened.
You putting up 40
That's
in the
alright,
playoffs.
yeah.
I'm not going to argue that. That's valid for sure. He's the worst scorer of the 4.
What about what Lowry did in
The
Game
worst
6 of the
shooter.
finals, though? That shit was
No, it doesn't count.
phenomenal.
Doesn't count.
I mean, Kyle Lowry, like
I
in
like this.
2019 against the Bucks, like, do we remember how good Kyle Lowry was in that series?
No, he was.
Like,
He-
Lowry-
you know,
Kyle Lowry was
like in that
Kyle Lowry
series,
was very
Kyle
good.
Lowry was amazing. Like,
He was
wasn't-
also, I mean,
let's
I
go-
think he was an all-star like 6 straight years, which to be fair, it's the East versus the West, but and he made a few
He
all
deserved
NBA
them,
teams.
though, yeah.
He made
He
one.
did.
He made one.
that Raptors
Oh,
team,
really? I
man.
thought he made
They
at
were,
least 2. Wow.
He made
they were
one.
unbelievable.
Kyle Lowry was just cold, bro. I love Kyle.
Yeah, DeRozan
Lowry. I
was
got
averaging
nothing
damn near
negative to say
30
about
or
Kyle
something.
Lowry.
Oh,
And I'll die on the hill that Kyle Lowry was the
Not
best
the
player on that
playoffs.
team.
100%, bro.
Well, I know
I think I
I know
can get
you
with
feel
that
that
one.
way. Yeah, I know you feel that
He
way.
was
That's the-
undoubtedly.
Look, man, me and
He's
DeMar are
definitely
cool
Leo.
in my book. I'm just telling it the way it was.
Have
Larry
you
was
talked to
definitely
DeMar
more
since
impactful.
that
No.
exchange? No.
No, I have not.
I don't think we saw him in Portland. And I wanted to be like, you know what? Let me actually
You
go.
should have brought it
ask
up.
him real quick.
You should have brought it up. Just said like, hey, bro, what's the deal?
I will say I am not deeply disturbed at DeMar DeRozan's potential
Yeah,
standing on the
man.
scoring list.
Neither
what
am
did I-
I.
what
Believe
did-
it or
what did I
not.
miss?
Believe it or
What
not,
did I
I was
miss?
making a joke.
Carson in Carson fashion spoke about DeMar DeRozan potentially being a top 10 all-time scorer, and then used his subtle sarcasm, saying it's deeply disturbing that he would be over Shaq. DeMar DeRozan saw that, took offense to it, and said basically, "What do you mean deeply disturbing?" Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. And then Carson responded with once again more Carsonisms, bringing up.
I was
how
like,
deeply
I think
disturbed he is.
it's funny
by
that you
DeMar
know your team was
DeRozan's on-off
better if you're
numbers.
off the court.
Well,
Yeah,
and I think
no.
Carson didn't stand on business
Yeah,
enough.
good
for
old
that.
on-off. And then DeMar DeRozan said people like Carson be living behind a computer and whatnot. So
Dweeb.
it was a fun time. Yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time.
It was pretty fun.
He said-
Could
He
be the
called me
highlight
a
of the
clown
year,
in the
man.
first one, and he called me a dweeb in the second one. And I was like,
Well,
look,
I
DeMar.
mean,
Wow.
Dweeb, to
Almost
be
compliments, to
honest,
be
the
honest.
name of my platform is Nerd.
dweeb
Sesh,
is
so
pretty
it's
close.
like-
They're arguably synonym.
like-
Dweeb has a slightly more negative connotation,
I
but
don't
Yeah, but nerd is respectful though. Like,
Carson, did
Dweeb
you
is
win as
when,
far as I'm
nice.
concerned.
when you guys were starting your platform, did you guys ever consider Dweeb Sesh?
no, because like,
No. Oh, okay.
dweeb does, and I mean, I was like, bro, listen, I am a clown, I am a
Dweeb's
dweeb.
a little
Just
bit
DeMar, don't call me that when what I'm saying is valid, you know. But no, we did not consider dweeb sesh.
Wait, if I was DeMar,
There's a fine line.
I would literally, Carson, if I was like a nerd, if he was a nerd person, I
Yeah.
absolutely would have said to you, did you watch 2021 Dweeb when I was carrying that franchise? Did you watch that? Because you saying we better on the
Real
floor.
outlier.
Not me. Matter of fact, you glazed Shea for doing it. I averaged 35 for a whole damn month with game winners.
Yo,
That's what I
Carson.
would've said.
And that would have been
Sure.
valid for you to say. No, he had one great year in Chicago. And there was a lot of low impact basketball being played by DeMar DeRozan over.
Did
the
he
course
drop
of his
40
career.
versus Giannis, mind you?
Yeah, he had that
Bro.
one good playoff game.
Isn't it the
Yeah,
only
well,
player with
we're not
back-to-back
going to
I
do
wanna-
a DeMar DeRozan playoff revision.
How
He's
many players
one
have
of the
dropped
worst
40 in
playoff
an NBA
performance
playoff
starts.
before? Just because
How many
Io
players?
DeSomo did it
Like,
doesn't mean it's easy.
A couple hundred.
Okay, out of how many players? Thousands?
Well, I'm not saying DeMar DeRozan
good,
isn't
good,
a top
good.
200 something basketball player ever. I'm saying it's hilarious to see him as a top 10 scorer.
200?
Yeah.
DeMar is
I think
nasty.
DeMar- I
You
think
don't. You
DeMar-
no.
DeMar-
I'm
Hold on,
DeMar-
hold on. I
DeMar
said that
DeRozan
number
is
because I think a couple hundred people have scored 40 in the playoffs. That's why I said that.
Carson, you
But
do
also,
not believe.
yes, DeMar is definitely not top 100.
Okay,
I
Carson, let's do
guarantee
this.
you
Watch
that.
this, Mark.
Not
Watch
even
this.
close.
Watch this. He's not gonna back his. You do not believe Carson, especially you, Mr. Progressive over there, and you're evolutionist in some ways as well. You do not believe Bob Cousy is a better basketball player than DeMar DeRozan.
Okay, I mean, this is just all about criteria.
Of the hardwood. God,
Respect the Houdini of the hardwood, by the way. He was dribbling with the left hand, and they had not seen that. No, I'm a big relative to era truth. I think that's the only way you can judge athletes. You can't expect dudes to be 5 decades ahead of their time because that's not how any sport works. Everybody gets better. The athletes get better. The skill gets better. The strategy gets better. The medicine gets better.
So you
So-
agree though that in just everybody on the same floor, DeMar's
Of course,
better than
I have
Cousy.
eyes. Of
Bob-
course.
He's a better than Jerry West.
Wait.
He's better than all them.
I don't
Yes,
know about
because it
Jerry.
was-
We can keep
He's
Jerry up out of
absolutely
this.
better than Jerry West.
Oh, we can keep Jerry up out of
If
this.
Jerry saw a
Versus
6'6"
Celtics.
DeMar
if
DeRozan,
you're doing it, if you just take Jerry West from 1968,
Jerry West was 6'5".
and
he
what-
never see
He's
DeMar.
a huge guy.
Nah,
Jerry
he's-
Jerry
West had a better mini than
He's
DeMar.
getting buckets, it's fine, it's okay.
It's like, is Jerry
Come on,
allowed
send him
to
the-
handle with modern ball handling rules, or does he still have to keep his hand fully on top of the ball every fucking
Yeah, he
time?
can use all the rules he wants. If
Yeah,
he saw
he's
DeMar
gonna-
I don't even know if he
DeRozan,
would know
he's
how.
just
He might be
better
like that's
carrying.
witchcraft.
What's gonna happen? We're gonna put him on the court. We don't tell him nothing. He's gonna see a 3-point line. He'll be wondering what that is. We're gonna take him from 1968 and throw him on the court. We're gonna see how long it takes him to realize when everyone else is carrying, he can carry too. But we're not
Yeah.
gonna tell him anything. We're not gonna tell him
that's
what the
valid.
3-point line is for. He's just gonna see a line. He's gonna see Kyrie out there doing what Kyrie does, and we're gonna see how he figures it out during the game. So he's
He
gonna
was
start
locking that
dribbling like
shit.
this. And
He's
then
gonna
we'll
say
see
someone
where he
East
goes.
Bay and then leave the gym, bro. That's what's
We'll see where he goes.
No, because Jerry West was
a
a super athlete too. Jerry West could jump
Jerry was
high.
awesome.
He could run
was.
super fast. And if he sees that 3-point line, he's like, wait, that's worth 3
He
points.
had 3-point
And they're
range
like,
too.
yeah, and
He had
they're like,
3 points.
yeah, Jerry, that's 3 points. He's gonna be like, okay, well, give me the ball over here, and I'm gonna knock that
Okay,
shit
now
down.
go score on Demar. Oh, I've never seen a wing this athletic in my life. Wow.
Jerry West is frying
What are you
DeMar
talking
DeRozan.
about?
No, he's
I'm
not.
not. Wait.
I
I'm
hate
not
to
gonna
admit it,
No,
Swiper.
he isn't.
He's
I'm not gonna go that
frying
far.
DeMar
No, he's
DeRozan.
not.
We're
No,
not
he's
talking
not.
about Jimmy
No,
Butler.
he's
We're not
not.
talking about Kawhi
No.
Leonard. We
No.
aren't talking
Wait,
about
wait.
Jrue Holiday, who we
Put
were
some
just talking
respect
about.
on DeMar
We're
DeRozan,
talking
though.
about
No.
DeMar DeRozan. Okay,
Yeah,
defensively,
exactly. I agree with you.
defensively,
2023 DeMar DeRozan versus 1961 Jerry West.
Jerry West is dropping him off.
He's the wrong player.
Wherever he wants to. Right? Yes, it's gonna be like a bus stop. Hey, Jrue Holiday, I have 5 spots that I can get to. You let me know which spot you want me to get to, and I'm gonna drop you off.
Somebody
there
said
on
Elgin
time.
Baylor. Brother,
Officially.
So what, you don't think Elgin Baylor was athletic?
This isn't
Elgin
No, he
Elgin
was.
is like-
If DeMar DeRozan stepped onto the field, if DeMar DeRozan walked on the court, matter of fact, I'm going to say this and stand on it because Carson's here, Marge is here. I've had these dumb historical debates with them before. I'm telling you, if DeMar DeRozan got dropped in 1969 in Game 7, Jerry West would have got packed up.
Swipe, you're
never
having
seen
a
anything
different
like that before.
conversation than the one I'm
Jerry West
having.
still
I
got
don't
backed up, they
disagree.
He did because he sucked.
He did.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
facts,
kidding.
facts,
Just kidding.
facts.
That was Wilt. Wilt sucked. That was Wilt. That was Wilt's fault. That was Wilt's
Wilt
fault.
was hurt.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want no more excuses for Wilt. No more excuses.
No, but
excuses.
Swiper, because look, people pretend like there wasn't athletes forever. Like there
were.
hasn't been there hasn't been big guys that can jump super high and run super fast. That's been going on forever. This isn't some new shit. People jumping this high off the ground isn't new. Swiper, like people
Matter of
running
fact,
fast is not new.
Hold on.
Hold on,
I
Swiper.
know-
Hold on. It's not some never before seen shit. Like people carrying the basketball and doing moves that used to be travels. Yes, that's new. Absolutely. People shooting 12 threes a game, that's new. Absolutely. Because that just wasn't how the game was played. But if you put in also, I want to make sure that I'm clear about this. I'm not saying Jerry West is gonna drop DeMar off and pack him up like Ron's saying. I'm saying that if you put DeMar DeRozan with Jerry West isn't gonna be like, holy shit, what's going on here? Jerry West is gonna ball out. Like let's put some respect on Jerry West, but this wasn't some regular dude.
Okay, watch
I
this,
just
watch
think
this.
Jerry West is a bad
Watch
name to
this.
use.
Ron.
Right, like Jerry West ain't getting picked on by DeMar DeRozan.
I want you to be honest with me.
Talking about.
I want you to look at Bill Russell and Carson. You tap in with this as well as the guest. I want you to look at Bill Russell's frame and his body. And I want you to look at Evan Mobley and tell me what the difference is.
It was more athletic for
Evan
sure.
Mobley's
bro.
taller than Russell.
slender.
What's your point, Swiper?
I think.
So if Evan Mobley played in 1961,
These are 2 different players, though, Swiper.
No, but Swiper's looking at this like a football player. He's looking at this on some draft combine. Let's stand next to each other and see who
Bill
has
Russell
built
is a
this
better
buff.
athlete than Evan Mobley.
He is a better.
how
athlete.
you know?
Russell's a
It's
better
How you
not,
know?
no, but it's not.
How you know?
Swiper's point is not necessarily about the play.
Watch him.
Swiper's point is that the game
He's
is
talking.
so
He's talking about physique.
now
Who has
that you can
broad
generally
shoulders.
put
This
people
isn't-
back
this
there
isn't
and they would have.
football.
Yeah, but Damian, the reason why I stand on Jerry West, so I just had to put my little brother on to Jerry West like three months ago. He was arguing whether Jerry West would be able to like translate today, and it was actually a Dame Jerry West conversation. And I wasn't necessarily saying that Dame is that Jerry West is better than Dame. I just told him you got to go do your research on Jerry West. The shots that Jerry West made back then translate to any era. If you're able to make a contested mid-range jumper over somebody, you can do that in the park. You could do that on the moon. You could do that in the Madison Square Garden. If you can make a contested midi, a tough contested midi, you can score on anybody. Go look at the shots that Jerry West was making. That's the only point that I'm making. DeMar DeRozan ain't stopping that shit. If I can get to any spot and shoot over anybody, and on top of that, if I can score 40 points a night doing that, who is stopping that?
Don't forget
bro,
he was fast. bro.
yeah, he was
fast.
bro.
Yeah, there's
And
a
his
difference.
handle for that time, like
Really?
again, they were limited in what
like
they
it for a
could
reason,
do,
yeah.
but like he was explosive and he really, really controlled the ball well. Jerry was
Facts.
awesome, and he was a great defender.
Yeah, he was a
Really
great
good
He's
defender
one of the only
until
players I would say
he
have
runs
no
into Kawhi
weaknesses.
Leonard. I agree. Until he
I
ran into
genuinely
Kawhi
think Jerry
Leonard.
West had no flaws in his game.
DeMar
There's
DeRozan
nothing
isn't
good about
Kawhi
him.
Leonard. Swiper.
DeMar DeRozan ain't that far
Certainly
off
is not.
from that time period as an athlete. Please. He
As
would
a
look like Kawhi
as a
in the
basketball
1960s.
player.
Kawhi's
He was-
bigger.
DeMar was a great athlete.
He's
He was.
stronger,
DeMar
and
was
he's
a
just
great
better.
DeMar was
Demar's a great athlete for
By
sure.
the way,
No,
I was
DeMar's
just-
a crazy
I
athlete.
don't know where Mark was. I was pushing Jerry West prop already, so I'm already been here on Jerry West. I'm with you. I'm completely with you. I just think in terms of just we're just talking about like just generational stuff. Like, bro, like I mean, Demar
in his
that-
generation,
this- and matter
Demar
of
in the
fact, Carson, this is
playoffs
about
shot
packing you up. I'm
39%
packing
from
you
the
up for
field
Paolo.
every year.
Now I'm packing you up for Demar.
Yeah,
You
that's
are
league
not
average in
packing me up
90s.
for Demar at all. Hold on.
DeRozan is
In what
easily
way?
One of the 100 best athletes and best players that's ever touched the sport.
Best
I don't want to hear
athletes,
about Bill Winkle, Bill, Hot Rod Anderson, and all those other players. I don't care.
Respect Hot Rod
DeMar.
Hundley. Respect Hot Rod Hundley.
No,
Or
I
Hot Rod
respect Hot
Williams.
Rod.
You got to
You're
pick
telling me
one of the
Hot
Hot
Rod
Rods
than
who
DeMar.
exist.
That's the problem. Too many old tapes.
No, dude, I respect them all. I think it's great. I think that's how you appreciate every era. You understand these guys were the best against their peers. Because guess what, man? In 2070 something, you're going to be saying, you know what? That DeMar DeRozan was pretty tough, and nobody's going to care. And they're going to say the dudes now are way, way better.
I'll agree.
Because that's how it goes. You'll agree.
I will agree.
Okay, see, that's just not how I view sports. I think it's fun to respect and acknowledge every era because they can only play in the time in which they exist. And who does best in that time? Those are the best players.
Agree.
And now
when you've been disrespecting Bill Russell ever as long as I've known you. Don't do that. You hater. You're not allowed to.
Yo, DeMar, but
I
look,
agree.
look. First of all, because my first point, what happened was Swiper brought up Jerry West and started disrespecting him, so I had to lock in right there. But let me go back to DeMar, and I just want y'all for a second to put some respect on DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is a baller. He might not play basketball the way you like him to play basketball. He might not be super efficient. He might not do all that, but DeMar always has been and is still an absolute hooper. Like he could put that ball in the basket. So
For sure.
to
He's
your
been
point,
putting
to
the
your
ball
point, Carson. It might seem weird that he's going to be a top 10 player all time scorer all time because he's not a top 10 player all time. Be that as it may, he is still a bucket getter and he always has
100%.
been. And so I just want to I'm gonna respect that. DeMar DeRozan is one of the most lethal scorers we've seen.
Isn't by
a long
career
time.
he's one of the 10 best mid-range shooters that's ever played in basketball?
Well, we don't have so much data there.
I
mean,
mean,
I
know,
don't
but
have
I
anything
he would be.
before
I don't think he'd
96.
be in my top 10.
Yeah, I don't either. But Ox,
No,
I agree with
no,
you. I agree.
Dudes
That's-
can't just
It's
guard
I'm
DeMar
talking
DeRozan,
of
bro.
pure.
No, Ox, I agree with you. That's why the whole thing
He
is
might
so-
not make the
ever, I
top
don't
10,
think
by
I'd
the
take
way,
DeMar
right?
DeRozan.
Because
I don't
Steph
think
might.
He might
Steph
not.
might overtake him, right?
Yeah, that's true. He might not. And that's the whole thing. That's why it's so funny how much this blew up. Because, like, I was just making an observation. I was looking at it, I was like, damn, DeMar has a lot of points. That's going to be super weird if he winds up above Shaq and in this top 10 with Dirk and MJ and Kobe and LeBron and Wilt, et cetera, Kareem, Karl Malone. And I said it was deeply disturbing as a joke, thinking obviously people aren't going to think I'm disturbed. I'm not disturbed by it. It's just kind of like a weird little oddity in basketball history. But DeMar is a bucket. DeMar's longevity is great. And that's why he's going to end up there. Like, there's no denying that. I just don't think he's been a very impactful player throughout his career because of all the flaws that he has, playmaking limitations, negative defender, not a good rebounder for the position, and not an efficient scorer who is a disastrous playoff dropper. But that doesn't take away the fact that, like, he has gotten a fuck ton of buckets in his career. And also, he's probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing scorers to watch ever. The mid-range game, the body control, the athleticism at his peak. Like, you can't take that stuff away. It's two separate conversations.
He is absolutely a chain snatcher. But I don't mind the lack of playmaking. Like he's a scorer. I don't need you to be able to be a playmaker and super good passer. The thing about it though, y'all, is I think sometimes we forget how good that Chicago Bulls team was before Alonzo went down. I think that team was on to something. I think they were going to do something really good over there in Chicago, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like before Alonzo went down, that team, they were 1 or 2 in the East, and I think they were going to sustain that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
number one defense in the league with DeMar on the floor.
Really, really good with Lonzo, man. So I just, I want to give him a little grace with that. Also,
Lonzo
another
is
thing
good,
too.
man. Lonzo was
When
good.
he even when he came over with us, I think Mike Brown could have facilitated a better offense for him. You know what I'm saying? Because
He is a
cooking
hard
for us.
player to build around, though. I mean, the complete lack of a three-point shot from a perimeter initiator is a problem. Like, just as much so off ball in terms of spacing. He's weird. It's really weird to build a good team around DeMar, and that is why
it needs
it's
a
been
lot.
such a
I
struggle
agree.
to do it, and teams have been worse with him on the
Would
court.
you- would he be
DeMar
a-
never figured out the 3-point shooting?
It is
He was
crazy.
made- he was
With as
made
good
for
as
the
he is from the
90s,
mid-range.
Mars. He was made for the 90s. He wasn't,
Yeah, but DeMar
When
went
they
through that
shortened
weird
that
stage.
line-
He went through that weird stage in San Antonio where he just refused to shoot threes too, which was like a very like that became like a big storyline of like his tenure there. But then he came out and said like he can shoot him, he just doesn't want to. Which was
I would
weird
like to
too.
see him make
But
more than 30%.
Yeah, the most he's
of
ever
his
taken
career.
in a single season is when he was in Toronto, and then he averaged 3.6 a game, and then Sacramento he had just last year before this year at 3.3. And I mean that's definitely a part of it is the volume, but it's also I think this is the issue too, though, Carson. I'm so good from 2 that I really don't feel the need to add that to my game. Like I'm one of the
But
best.
I would
players.
argue he's not so good from 2 to where like.
Well, I think for what he's asked to do, apparently, and like for the mid range, he is like they ask him to do that. The coaches obviously allow
But
him
not
to do
good
it.
enough to lead to like really good NBA offense. He's not Shea from 2. If he
Well,
were
I know.
Shea from 2, it'd
if
be
he got
different.
drafted now, he would shoot the 3 more. If he got drafted now, I'd say.
Probably, but
What
he has
year
been
did he
in the
come into
league
the
for
league?
17 years, and
2000?
he still hasn't shot the 3. He came in 2009.
Yeah, I just
He's
think
in
some
that
people
class.
just not
Yeah,
going to shoot the
2009.
3. I don't think Demar. Now he is just probably a mid-range guy, like maybe some corner threes and whatnot.
Mhm.
It's just the thing with the playoff dropping for me is always weird because like typically the mid-range is what you're like that's what is meant to be available for you in the playoffs. But then with Demar, it's like he just doesn't make them.
No. And I think the physicality, I think playoff physicality was a challenge for him. I think he struggled to get to some of the same spots. But yeah, definitely. He had some disastrous postseasons on his resume.
Yeah. Only thing
But shout out to him. Good friend of mine, my best buddy, DeMar DeRozan.
I do want to say just after this segment, you know, all I got to say about this is respect DeMar DeRozan and respect Jerry West.
Facts, absolutely.
Yeah, this is Jerry West
Definitely
deserves
respect
more
Jerry
prop
West.
for having to deal with having that dude on his roster. So I mean, I'm
Yeah, your Wilt hate is
I
disgusting.
don't
But yeah,
like Wilt. I do not
yeah,
like
crazy.
Wilt. Yeah, I don't
Jerry
like Wilt.
West, the top 3-point guard ever to me. So
What is
you
there
know, I
not
think
to
I can
like
give him
about Wilt
a
Chamberlain?
lot.
I'm talking about basketball. I'm not.
Yeah,
talking
I'm not talking about that.
any
Yeah, I don't
off the
care
court
about that. I don't care about that. Yeah, there's a lot to it. Wilt was extremely overrated, but shout out to my dog.
Oh, wow.
He's a great player.
This is so that he can find a way to maneuver a certain someone into the top.
No,
5
it's all because of
That's all
Bill
it is.
Russell.
Oh shit! Yeah, right.
No,
yeah,
we
that's
did
right.
this already.
My bad,
No,
my
Mars.
bad,
No,
my
Mars.
bad.
Be fair to me.
I
We
should've thought
we
of
did this conversation last year when I had to talk Wilt versus Bill Russell. Remember for the PCL, I went through all the information, all the series, all the finals, and what I saw was that one player was consistently way better than the other one when it mattered the most. Like way better than the other
And
one
that
when it
means-
mattered.
I mean,
That means
I've
you
got
hate
Russell over Wilt. I don't think that means Wilt is over.
No, Wilt was good. He's just cool. He's a good player. But he was a super freak athlete. No, he was a great
one
player.
of the best.
Oh, yeah, he was
ever
all right.
play.
Yeah, he's one of the 20 best players to ever play basketball. I
He
absolutely
was alright.
agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wilt
agree.
Chamberlain to me is closer to 10 than he is to 20.
Shout out. And then also too, but remember, Mark, we don't share the same opinion because I feel about Dr.j different than all y'all. Doctor's close to my top
But
10
I'm
than
really
he is
high on
rest of y'all.
Dr.j. too.
What do you
I
mean
just
by
think
all of
that
y'all,
The
Swiper?
ABA film isn't very available.
Well, to be fair, I hadn't heard the argument for Dr. J until I got up here, so you could have done it before me. I'm just saying Dr. J, I think he's closer to 10 as a player than he is 20. Like I think Dr. J was exceptional. He just didn't get counted because of the NBA stuff.
Don't get me started before I got to telling you who all Dr. J is better than. Because he better a lot. He better than a lot
Kevin
of y'all
Durant?
fans.
Kevin Durant?
Dr. J was amazing. Dr. J was amazing.
Let's not get into that, Swiper. What part of the show are we in?
We're both
What are we doing
on
right
Crunch
now?
Time Super Chat.
Man, we're on whatever part
Okay.
of the show we want to be on. All
All right, go ahead, cook, Mars. Cook.
This has been a great show.
I can't do nothing. But I had Dr. J as
It
the
has been a
fourth
good
best team for whatever, and that's solely just with his NBA stuff because I can't include.
Where
the
was he in
NBA.
your top 20 that you put out or your top 15 or whatever?
I
Do you
didn't
know?
do a top 20 or 15, but he would be behind LeBron, KD. I'll do one off the top. So he'd be behind LeBron, KD, and Bird because he was behind them on my small forward list. So logical deduction, he's behind them. He would be behind Steph, Magic, and West. So that would be 6. He would be behind. So let's do the shooting guards list. He would be behind MJ and Kobe. So that's 8 names. So he'd be 9. He'd be behind Duncan and Garnett. So that would be 10 names. So he'd be 11. And then he would be behind Bill, Kareem, Shaq, Wilt, Hakeem. So that would be 50. He'd be 16, I guess. 15, 16, I guess. Off the top of my head, just doing it that way. He'd be around 15, 16.
Yeah, bro.
And
I don't know.
that's, and that's not even including ABA.
And that's not including
No.
ABA. That's based on him
Okay,
as
so
an
you
NBA
got him
player.
16 without ABA. So Mars, you
Yeah,
really got
well,
him like 8.
Yeah,
Did
if I have the ABA film available to me, because all I've seen is some All-Star games, and everything that I expect to see, I saw. Yeah, he'd be higher for sure.
Is-
Did
are
you
you
say
Years
Oscar
alone, he'd be
Mars?
higher.
You have Oscar?
I didn't say Oscar, but I would Dr. J and Oscar. Yeah, it could go either way. I have Oscar below Chris Paul. So
Next is CP3.
I love them both.
Yo, chat. What are y'all
couldn't
talking
live
about
without
right
either
now?
one of them.
Yeah, Dr.
I
J
think
has an interesting
That's a decent
reputation.
spot for Dr. J.
What do y'all say? What y'all say? A polar bear in Texas or something? That's the
oh,
same.
nice. Chris Paul's
Yeah.
the polar bear.
What
I don't have Chris Paul in my top 16.
is he?
Ox. Come on, let's respect Chris Paul.
I respect
One
Chris
of the
Paul. I think
greats.
Chris Paul
Let's
is
see if you
great
respect Chris Paul.
basketball.
Let's see where you had.
He's
Chris
top
Paul.
25. for
I
sure.
had him. I had him in my top 10, Mars. I did.
Yeah, you had him at 8.
Who was
Top 10
And I
all-time
forgot.
or
I
top
think I
10?
forgot.
Hunky
Remember,
Dory, John
if I'm
Stockton
not
over him or
mistaken, I
anything like
forgot
that.
somebody.
He did
on
have
that
John
list.
Stockton.
God damn it.
So I'll read your list. You can let me know if you
I
forgot
don't,
someone.
I don't know if we got
Magic,
this, but go
Steph,
ahead.
Jay Kidd, Isaiah Thomas, Jerry West, John Stockton, Oscar Robertson, Chris Paul, Rajon Rondo, and Gary Payton.
J.
Is that
Kidd
the
was
one you-
Sounds about right.
3? Is that in order?
That's
Yes, that's
absolutely in order.
I
Do
think
we-
he's
do
the
we-
best
do we have- do we
defensive
have-
guard ever.
Do we have Chris Paul over Jason Kidd? Is that
Bro.
I have Chris Paul over
Offensively, it is such a clearing. Such a
Yeah,
clearing.
but Carson, you're also a Jason Kidd hater, so it's cool. Like, I guess.
I'm not. I'm really
I
not.
saw
Carson
your-
being-
I
Carson
saw-
being
Played-
playing-
Kid just played. Kid played in
That's
the
what
run.
I saw Carson's passes list, and Jason Kidd was not on the top 10.
Okay,
and ever
yeah,
since
but
then,
that
you are a
was
hater.
that was
I'm
a
sorry.
criteria thing. That was a criteria thing because I was like, these
You
are my
need to
top
change
10
the
passing
criteria. You
playmakers.
need to
In terms of
change the
pure
criteria.
passing, like if you're just talking about vision, the ability to manipulate the ball, accuracy, angles available to him at his size, Jason Kidd would be top 5 by that criteria as a passer.
That's
But
the
he's not
correct
better than
criteria.
Chris Paul.
I agree. I don't have him over Chris Paul.
Me neither. I don't know why. I don't know why Ox feels
Yeah,
that
me
way
neither.
about him. It's just that the more
I don't feel
defensive
any way
stuff-
about him. I got him high still. I got Chris Paul super high. You know, y'all know how many point guards has been in the NBA?
At least
Facts has
20.
been a lot.
Like to get in the top 15 in any category is crazy. You know how good you got to be to do that. Chris Paul is one of the
I
best.
do agree with that. There was no
That's
bad
fair.
players
That's
listed.
Yeah, Chris.
Other than
Chris
Rondo,
Paul,
Oh,
there
for
was no
sure.
bad
Paul's
players
one of the-
CP is just good enough to be top 5 as a point guard.
Yeah, he was. I
What?
had him at 4.
What? Wait. So if CP3 doesn't get hurt and basically in the playoffs in Houston, we're saying that like he's solidified because he would have a fight on his resume, right? That'd be the difference for people.
That's what people
People might
say.
have, if that happened, people might have him like all time somewhere crazy.
Bro, so much bad luck.
Chris
for
Paul, like Jerry
man.
West,
Oh
he's
my
one of the only
God.
players who I would say have no weaknesses. He's
I
kinda
completely
like Jerry
agree.
West in that regard. I don't know what Chris Paul couldn't do. Like he could do everything. I have some
Everything at a high
issues with him
level.
in terms of his approach. Like I don't think he maximized everything around him and including himself. So I have issues with that. But in terms of his skill set, I don't.
You're talking about
Already.
just he wasn't aggressive enough? Is that what you're
He
Some of
just
it
saying?
was
played- he just played in a
aggression. Some
different
of
era.
it
He
was
played in a
aggression.
different
Some of it was his like decision to like actively go against pushing pace as a pro
Yep.
because he wanted to play in the
Mhm.
half court. I don't think that maximizes your teammates or yourself. And then some of it was like the dial between scoring and playmaking could get a bit wonky at times in terms of if he's looking for his shot, he'll miss reads. If he's looking for the reads, he'll miss taking shots. Like I don't think he had the dial all the way correct. But like he was so good defensively, he was such an accurate passer.
Yeah.
Never turned the ball over, and he shot the ball so well. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm
Dude, that's why-
nitpicking at that point.
That's why I can live. Yeah, I think it's fair to nitpick a couple things.
He was
but
super athletic as well when he was young.
oh my God, ridiculous. in
Oh
New
yeah, the
Orleans.
speed was ridiculous. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do think he peaked with the Clippers like 12 to 14. 14, I think, is his best season.
That playoff
Maybe-
series
maybe
versus the
14
Spurs was crazy, dog.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, I can live with him not being the most aggressive passer because before now we have dudes like Hallie and Shea. He was the best player in NBA history at protecting the basketball. And like what that did for his team in the possession game is so valuable. Chris Paul teams were amazing his entire career. They were way better with him on the court than off his entire career. That impact is a top
And
5
Carson, I
player.
think me and Mars, we had the debate. What was it? Maybe again 6 months ago. I can't remember the timeline. I think I said that he had four different like prime runs. So
yeah.
it was-
You said the OKC floor raising season, what he did in Phoenix, what he did in Houston next to James Harden.
and then
Then
Hornets
And New
but
Orleans.
then you've also got New Orleans and the Clippers. Like you got
5. Make it 5.
5.
I mean,
it would be 4 because you could kind of remove OKC a little bit. That was more just a surprise
Yeah.
to
That was
see
a
he
great
still had it.
season.
but
Yeah.
like 4 or 5. Like it was.
I mean, it
impact
speaks to his
15 years.
impact. Like every single team that he joined, he made so dramatically better. And the adjustments he made, like he went to
Okay,
Houston and he was like, cool, now I'm the second ball handler and I'm a volume isolation scorer. And he was one of the very best in the league at that. He goes to Phoenix he's like 36 years old and he scales down the scoring volume. And he's like, all right, I'm going to be super efficient as a scorer and I'm going to be up there for the best playmaker in the league. And then in the playoffs, he could elevate. He could always elevate in the playoffs as a scorer. I'm so high on Chris Paul. He's amazing.
I think he has the record for teams that he's gone to win differential the next season from memory. He might have the record for that. I have to double check.
Like the biggest gap from like where they were the previous season to one single season and like increase.
Yeah.
So that would have been 57 wins. So how much did Phoenix win the year before?
They were in the.
They
went 8-0
maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
Were they above 500? Maybe they were just below 500. Let's see.
OKC. Well, OKC is tough
some
because
kind of record
OKC
like
was
that,
setting up to tank. They were like, PG's gone, Russ is gone, and then Chris Paul was like, we're actually going to be every bit as good.
So they went up by 17 wins in Phoenix.
But that was a short.
OKC.
Oh yeah, they were both short seasons.
Yeah, they went up in OKC. They went from 49 wins in an 82 game season to 44 in a 72 game season. Someone's gonna have to do the win percentage.
So they slightly improved their win percentage, getting off of PG and.
What was the gap again, Mars?
It was 40. What in Phoenix? 17 games.
Yeah, it was 44 to 72. But then what was your?
That's a 50.
Wait, it was 44 out of 72, and then 49 out of 82.
Yeah, so 61%. So win percentage in the next season. So that would have been a
51.
I mean, that would have been a win pace of 50. Yeah, 50 wins.
Yeah. And then in New Orleans, I mean, are we doing what they were before he joined? So
yeah, so
18 wins. They went from 18 wins to 38 in New Orleans his rookie year.
That's good.
He then goes to the Clippers in 2012. They go from 32 wins out of 82 to 40 wins out of 66.
Yeah, that's great.
So another major jump. And then Houston went from, because they won 65 games his first year, they went from 55 to 65. So they went up by 10 wins, but that's a big jump.
Tough leap to take.
55 to 65. That's a big deal. So all of those teams you can see big.
Yeah, he's got
and they fell apart with that. I mean, the Thunder immediately went full on tanking mode for multiple years after he left. The Hornets picked number 1 immediately after he left. The Clippers fell off. Like everybody.
We probably should have seen all this coming with the OKC because they had Horford and CP3 on the roster.
They were meant to tank that year. That was their first year of like, okay, we're rebuilding now. And then they managed to get they the 6th seed that year? What a 7th seed?
They were the 5 seed, right? Wasn't them?
They were the 5 seed. 4-5 matchup. Oh yeah, because the Rockets played the Lakers.
They went 7.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, but it's also his
shout
impact.
to James Harden blocking Lou Dort in Game 7. Shout out to him. Defense.
Yeah, like Shea still talks about his influence. Dennis Schroeder was on that team as well. Talks about his influence. Lou Dort, he helped him.
Gallo was
battle some of that.
For what it's worth, that also goes both ways because there's been a long list of players who have played with Chris Paul who have said they don't like Chris Paul.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, him and Blake Griffin had that nonsense for a long time.
It goes both ways in that regard.
Just from a game
apparently he
standpoint,
just rides you really hard. Like some personalities are like that though. Like I expect you every single play.
That was crazy.
I was like, nobody's going to react to that.
It
is a term, Swiper, but we have to be selective with
all
the
of you are adult men here. You have families, responsibilities, and stuff like that. I'm saying in this instance, that is a common term that we all grew up with, that you have coaches that do that to you. And like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. They do. That's a very common term. Shout out.
You could have found another term in 2026. But Swiper, I would like to get around to these super chats. We got a good amount of them. Shout out to everybody that is watching the video. You guys already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ultimately become a member so you can pull up to our members only streams on Sundays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the first stream this Sunday. It's going to be a time to be had. Can't wait to see Swiper and Jordan Unleashed. All I know is that, like Mars gets credit for everybody else for taking sad, desperate, bad teams to 40, 50-plus wins and gives them credit. Nash, CP3. But when Melo did it, he never brings it up. But shout out to you.
I've actually never given Nash credit. I've just said Nash's MVP case was based on that.
Yeah, all right.
That is not something.
Well, you never make Melo's Rookie of the Year case for him?
I have made Melo's Rookie of the Year case.
No,
the same argument.
Oh, gosh.
What are you talking about?
I'm dry. I haven't been here.
All right, y'all. Spanish Jose TV said another call off from work for the cupcake. Ron, I hope you let him have it today. Bro is a coward. Who is he talking about? I have no clue.
Oh, Kevin Durant. Come on, Kevin Durant, because KD not playing games.
Hey, Spanish Jose TV. No need, man. No need. The situation speaks for itself. Shout out to the Rockets, man. You guys are getting it done. Dre knows ball. Shout out to my dog Dre. Dre said if LeBron loses a 3-0 lead, first time ever, I'm sorry, but that affects his GOAT case. He's not hurt. He's just old. That's not an excuse to let Reed Shepherd punk you. Can't have it both ways. Close it, LeBron.
You know what's funny about that, Mars? And because you're the one that most tuned into the chat. Have you seen the chat complain that we didn't talk about that game today? Like they did in any other Lakers game when they win?
Well, no, because they lost. So what's that?
That's very interesting. I just now noticed that we didn't talk about that game.
I knew that this angle was going to be coming from people, and I actually do think you can have it both ways. And the reason I say that is he's 41 years old. Everything is gravy at this point. He can literally only improve his case. And if things go badly, it's like, cool. Guess what? There's never been another player in year 23 in NBA history. He can only do things that have never been done before in a good way.
And he's
or
about
maybe in a bad way with blowing the series lead. But like, it's not actually going to be a ding on his legacy because he's already done enough to have the greatest resume.
Well, they're going to say Michael never did that, though.
Of course they are.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
It would be hilarious.
Because
it would be a hilarious
went up
thing
3-0 in the first round, the series was already over because it was only
Sweet.
best of 5. So,
true.
You know, it is what it is.
Carson, you know what would
yeah.
be even funnier?
What?
Is if Kevin Durant comes back game 7,
And then
balls out, and closes them out. Like,
That would
Brian,
be
this is for all the years you tormented me, even though I got 2 championships on you. This is for all the years that I could never be better than you. I could never, beat you and all of that. Like, if KD was to come back and do that, that'd be kind of funny.
That would be hilarious. Or it'd be hilarious
Like,
if KD
it
came back
if it
and they
happens,
lost.
people-
That would be bad for KD's resume.
Yeah, that would be so bad.
So we've all got Rockets in 7.
Like,
Nah.
I think the Lakers actually do win.
I got Rockets at 7 if KD doesn't play. If KD plays, I got Lakers at 6.
KD's not
I
going
don't
to
think
play.
KD
Oh, yeah. Okay. We can do
Rockets
that.
in 7. Come on.
All right, the next super chat is from Bob Solo. Bob said, I said it yesterday in the Hall of Fame chat. Cade scoring 45. Laughing my ass off. Love how 6 to 8 turnover Cade gets praised. Also, the whistle, wow. 4 fouls in the first 2 minutes, taking away Magic's physical defense. Go, New York, go.
I mean, there was just a lot of fouls.
Who refereed that game?
Like, he extended.
You know what time it is, Damian.
There were a lot of fouls in that. There were a lot of fouls in that game, and then like regarding Paolo, I think that's Paolo's biggest superpower is his ability to draw fouls.
Totally.
I want to know how Paolo didn't get a foul call on the other one when he got fouled, but then on the other end, Cade got the same call in the fourth quarter.
I remember that swipe, but that was some bullshit. I was so mad.
I have no idea how that happened. It's the exact same play, by the way. Exact same play.
I mean, I
And I don't know how nobody got a technical.
Hey, legal guarding position. You know how it happens. You know how it goes. Man, legal guarding position.
It would have worked.
Hey, Mars, did you see that Cade broke Dave Bing 44-point record for the Pistons?
Shout out Dave Bing.
Oh, I did not.
Dave
see
Bing's
that.
in my top 100. I'll tell you that.
Ox found out that Dave Bing was black like 6 months ago. So,
Did you start fucking with him more, Ox?
It was around this time last year, I believe, or maybe it was in the offseason. I don't know. I wasn't really hip to Dave Bing like that. I didn't really know. I heard his name.
I
was gonna say, I think he was 3rd.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dog Bing.
That was the most points in it. That was the most points in a
And-
Piston playoff game, right?
Yeah, it was.
He led the league in total
And
points
then I
one year.
I think we
68.
saw some highlights of his on playback.
Yeah.
And I was like,
moving,
yo,
yeah, he was moving.
yo, who is that?
That's a
And
top
if
75.
Paulo
all-time
makes 2
player
more
right
free throws,
there.
he sets the Orlando record too. But
Yeah,
Whatever.
Well, Dwight.
Who
has the Orlando record?
like 46.
Dwight and T-Mac are tied for it.
When did Dwight have 46 in the playoffs? What year was it?
I don't know. Probably against LeBron.
That's a deep cut question,
Wait,
bro.
09?
Maybe 2010.
Probably 09.
Yeah, I don't remember
Maybe
09. I feel like I've watched
It was
I think
it was 9 or 10. It was one of those. Those are the only 2 years. It could have been.
Maybe
It
it
was
was
against
first round.
LeBron,
no?
right?
I know it weren't 2011 because I watched him play against the Hawks. I watched that. Okay, it's not 2010. We're now
2000.
deep diving
I'm
into
2000. I'm
it.
gonna say 2008.
2009
was
sounds about right.
2011? It
Was
was
it?
2011. When did he have voices in that series? How many turnovers he had?
Whoa.
Because I was hate watching that series. Oh, it was game one. It was game one. Oh yeah,
Versus-
yeah.
versus
I
who?
actually do remember that game.
Braun?
I actually do remember that game against Atlanta. I remember that
Atlanta.
game. He had 8 turnovers.
Atlanta, that's right. Yes.
46 and 19. Golly.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did have
That
8
series was,
turnovers.
yeah, that series, yeah, I remember because I actually do remember watching that game. That's crazy. Yeah, that was a series where Dwight had 3 assists and 33 turnovers. I remember.
Shout out Dwight.
That is
Ron, are we gonna get
fucking
another Dwight Howard in the league
numbers.
again?
We have one.
No, we don't.
Yes, his name
No,
is
we
Jalen
don't.
Durant. He's
No,
just
we do not.
developing.
No,
He's
no, we
developing,
don't.
y'all.
No.
Stop
By
it,
the time he's starting for on the Olympic team, like how Chill predicted, he will
Not
be in
even
full
close.
Dwight form.
Not even close.
Man, Dwight
But
is
yeah,
so
I
nasty.
did-
I hate the disrespect Dwight gets. Dwight was so cold.
Yeah, Dwight.
So
I
cold.
think we'll
Did
get
y'all-
another
did y'all
Dwight
talk-
though.
Did y'all talk about dominating yet? Or we just
No.
We haven't talked about the game.
forget about. Keep going. Ron.
What, 18 and 17? 19 and 17?
Don't worry about it.
Losing.
10
That's what he
offensive
did.
boards.
He lost.
He was good last night, man. He was.
He was.
We didn't lose
Great.
because of Dayton. I'll tell you that. It wasn't his fault.
Shout out to Luke Kennard. He got them there 2 games and he's just decided to chill ever since. Shout out to him. You know, doing his thing.
He'll be back
Shout
game
out to
6.
Austin Reeves. Shout out to Austin Reeves coming back. Shout out to him.
4 of 16 from the
Looking,
field. but he went
looking
to the free throw
amazing.
line.
Yeah, looking
Yeah.
amazing. Missing wide open layups. Love to see it.
Yeah, that was bad. 2 of them.
Hey, by the way, whoa, Mars, you're the Houston fan.
Hello.
Jabari Smith isn't going to get any love for the great game he played yesterday?
He was awesome.
Ever since
picked him in,
Jabari decided
Splash.
to blow game 3, Jabari's been decent. Yeah.
He was so
picked him
good
in the
in game
splash.
Even in
2
game
though,
he
until
wasn't
he
bad.
did that.
Yeah, even in game 3,
We
he
hit on
wasn't bad.
splash boards, by the way.
He decided to sabotage.
That was so bad.
Law of average is just coming for the Lakers right now. They couldn't shoot 45% from 3 forever. So, you know.
Dude, that's like so much of what the series has swung on. They were shooting 46% from deep through 3 games. The Rockets were shooting 28%. Now the last 2 games, the Lakers are shooting like 24% from 3, and the Rockets are shooting like 38%.
Whoever makes shots tends to win the game.
That's a great point.
I just
Mars.
think the
It's
Rockets
crazy how basketball
have,
works. I would never would have guessed if the team makes shots, they have a better chance of winning. It's crazy.
It is crazy though when you can get 15 more shots than the other team and lose 3 straight games, like Houston did in the first 3 games.
Well, yeah.
That was incredible.
Getting all those shots to not make them.
the Rockets scheming Luke Kennard out of the series has been their most important adjustment because I tweeted about this yesterday. He wasn't just getting production in the first 2-3 games. He was actually the trigger for every offensive set in terms of movement. So now they're just like to put a lot of size on him. I think he was like under-scouted for some reason in the first few games, but that's been their biggest adjustment. I also think the Reeves integration is a tricky one because it makes your bench shallower. He's a bit underdone, missing shots at the rim, all these different things. But I saw your tweet, Carson. It is just a series about 3-point shooting, isn't it? At the end of the day, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Tyrese got with lethal shooter. He locked in.
Yeah, he was shooting pretty lethally last
We
night,
saw it.
wasn't he?
We saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Wasn't
we
he?
saw it, yeah.
Every time he
Yeah,
knocked
we
it
saw
down,
it.
I was
We
like,
knew. We knew the vision.
That's why I went more on the threes last night. Shout out to Splash and shout out to Tari. If you guys didn't hear Damien, yes, we did hit last night on Splash Sports. I think we took the less on Amen Thompson. We took the more on. I know I took the more on Tari threes, the more on Jabari, and then it was what more on DeAndre Ayton.
Yes, more
Was it
DeAndre.
points and rebounds?
Mm-hmm.
So
You guys,
he might
close.
hit that with just
you guys had the playbook.
yeah.
Hey man,
Whenever
That's
Ron
really
is not
easy to
selling on
understand.
purpose, he's actually good at this.
you guys said I was selling on purpose yesterday by taking sorry threes.
I was not here.
And
brother.
only me and Mars seen the vision.
Yeah, we saw the vision. We understand.
I seen
But,
Austin Reeves try to get. I'm too little foul, and the refs thankfully called it the other way and reversed the call because I hate those calls.
That was such a weight room moment. It's like, come on, bro.
And Reeves
But
got
all right,
short
y'all. We'll circle back around to the Lakers game and the Rockets game via super chats. I see a couple super chats about it. But the next one is from Wolves in 4. Io and Bones downgraded to questionable tonight. Injuries from Minnesota saved Jokic's best in the world case.
Nope. One game at a time. one game.
Well,
at a
that
time.
doesn't mean that the Denver Nuggets are gonna win.
Yeah, it
for
doesn't
once.
mean anything actually. It doesn't mean not one thing.
And that doesn't mean that they're not going to
They're
play.
both gonna go.
If Io doesn't play,
I
they're
have
going to
Denver in
play.
7. Yeah, I have Denver in 7 though, because we root for the 3-1 comebacks around here. So yeah, Denver in 7.
Carson, have you ever been shot by
No,
your own gun before?
no, I haven't plexico
You,
burst.
you never put a cheddar bob?
No, no.
Okay, that's
Shout
that's
out,
what this
though.
IO series has been for me. I've been like torn watching it happen. Like I knew it.
Mhm.
And then
Okay,
it's
no,
like,
that
That's
has
not
to do
you
with
getting
that.
shot from your own gun.
That is me getting
You want to
shot
know
from
what
my
you
own
getting
gun.
shot from your own gun
You
is?
said it. You said it the day after Swiper. To be fair, you said it like this was the guy that you wanted for so long. You did say that, man.
Oh, so you tell me, Carson, I had to wait for 4 years for the trade to happen to the West, and it was to the Wolves.
And not a single first-round pick changed hands. I can't believe the Rockets didn't go for Io. I'm like, what the hell did the Rockets need to see
Absolutely.
this season to be like, we're
Well,
good at
Raphael
this?
Great
Stone was
business
saying
by
maybe it's just not
Chicago,
our
as
year,
always.
so he had to chill.
Houston.
All right, the next super chat is from Tupac Westside. Tupac said, "Morning, fellas. Props to Houston for making adjustments, but I'm still disappointed in LA. Wrap it up already." That's a side note for everybody in the chat. Wrap it up already. Side note, all these years and Mariska Hargitay still looks good.
Who?
Saw her at the game.
She was sitting courtside, yeah.
Oh,
I
from the
Googled her too. I was
oh.
like, they keep showing this lady. I do not know who this is.
Yeah,
Who
I
is she?
have to Google her. I don't know. She's an American
Isn't she a
actress
Knicks
and
fan, Carson?
philanthropist.
Isn't she like a Brunson fan?
Is she? I literally had never seen her before.
I've
I
never
still
watched
don't
her
know who
show.
this- I still don't know who this is, and I'm looking at pictures. So.
Oh, that's
Mars,
Law
Mars,
and Order.
is
That's
she
Law and
worth
Order.
Googling?
Yeah, I think she's from
Law and Order.
Well, she
I
Is
don't
she
know.
worth
I
Googling,
don't know
y'all?
what you. I don't know what you like. So
Ron, settle down.
yeah, I don't know what you like. But sure.
Hold on, I'll be right
He's
back,
like
y'all.
60.
Somebody's at my
Focus,
front
Ron.
door.
As my friend would say.
I don't know,
Focus,
Carson, if you
Ron.
know this. Ron has a fresh bottle of Lubriderm next to his microphone right now. So that's just his common setup.
I believe it.
I don't know.
You
I-
got
that
a
is
bottle of
deeply
Windex.
disturbing.
That is for real.
You have a bottle of Windex right there in front of you, and it's not for your glasses.
That's a ball
All
joke.
right.
I know. I saw it coming miles away. I've never watched Law and Order for real, so shout out to her. I've only ever seen clips from like commercials. I've never watched that show in my life.
I don't see the vision. I'll just say that.
It's like
All
the
right.
Well,
longest
you're
running
not
show on
into
TV,
that
though.
that playing
Exactly.
field, so
Exactly. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
she's much older than Mars. Mars doesn't like women that older. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Not the problem.
All right, y'all. Darnell Woods said the whole Joel versus Jokic thing was funny to me yesterday. Using on-off numbers is trash. Each individual round for Jokic in 2023 was better and more impactful than any series Joel Embiid has ever had. But luck. Oh, hold on, wait. Two-part super chat. And saying Jokic played lower seeds is disingenuous when used negatively. Those lower seeds beat the higher seeds that were better than them.
I do agree with that. No one's going to convince me they would have rather see the Nuggets. play
Carson, I don't
Memphis
know if
instead
you've
of
noticed this Mars thing he's been on lately, this like Jokic prop stuff that he's doing. I know why he's doing it, but I'm saying
Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it?
Because you're correcting
You
a lot of
unloaded the
narratives
clip
that you feel like
yesterday,
is leaning towards.
Is this why you've been attacking Mars so much today?
No.
Oh,
I
it
also,
makes
I also
sense.
don't think I'm doing Jokic. props.
No, actually, he was
It
just
makes
wrong.
sense why you've been attacking Mars, and
Because
obviously
he was
you
wrong
mentioned why
about
you've been attacking
Paolo,
Carson all
and I
day.
was very
I
kind
still
about that.
wasn't wrong. MPJ was better than Paolo.
No, you
this
said
year.
he's better.
He
You said
was.
you would rather have him.
MPJ was better than Paolo.
No,
this year.
no,
He
you
just
didn't say
won.
this year. You said better, and you would rather have him. Those are the two things that you
I
said.
would rather have MPJ for sure.
That's your problem. I'm saying that in this
Give
instance,
me the 6'10" sniper. Yeah, give me the 6'10"
sniper. Have you watched
Yes.
Porter in the playoffs?
Give me the 6'10" off.
How many good
sniper.
series
Yes.
does Porter have?
2.
2
Yeah.
versus the worst defenses. No, I like Porter, but no, Paolo's clearly better. I will say though, Carson, to
Yeah.
this point, Mars was being extremely disingenuous yesterday, and you had Penn up here by himself with you and Real Talk. Real
I
Talk.
wasn't being disingenuous.
Both of y'all was up in the corner clapping each other doing tag team on Penn because Penn can't defend himself.
I wasn't being. If you're gonna say that Joel Embiid hasn't made the conference finals due to his lack of,
No, I know you were talking to Penn. I know.
That's not me being disingenuous to say they keep getting obliterated when he's on the bench. That's not disingenuous. That's a factual statement. He played the Knicks. He played 40 minutes a game,
He was
and
great.
they won his minutes,
He was
and
great.
they got obliterated when he didn't play.
That was the best series
Yeah,
he's ever
Apparently,
played.
it's his fault they
Series of
lost
his
the
career.
series.
Yeah,
I think,
that,
look,
that and the
Toronto
Boston
Raptors,
series
and they
in
got
2020.
obliterated when he was on the bench. How is that
Yeah.
disingenuous?
But you're teaming
That's
up on
just reflects
Penn.
his
You know,
game.
Penn doesn't remember all this stuff. And then on top of that, when somebody says something about
No, it's
23,
disingenuous because he's the.
What you want
I
to team up
know,
on
I know,
you?
but you were
You can get
going
that
crazy.
same pin treatment. Let's box
then
him
you
up.
brought up the 23 run from Murray. I don't know if y'all remember this. Murray wasn't great versus the Clippers at all. Like not even close until Game 7. So just
23.
no 21. Sorry, 20 in the 20 in 20.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm just like Murray was very mid versus the Clippers. He was good versus, and then he sucked in Game 7 versus the Utah Jazz.
He was
Jokic
great against
was
Denver
great
and
that
great
game.
He
against
sucked
the
in Game
Lakers.
7. What about the other 6 games?
No, I'm saying he was really good. I'm not 50, 42, 50. I'm not just not taking it away, but I'm giving the context. Clippers series, he was mid to a Game 7. And then remember Kawhi did this, got that dumb block on him that everybody was gassing at the time. Like, oh, look at Kawhi with his long finger. He has a long finger. Who cares? And then in the next
All that
series,
being said, you can still very clearly argue that Jamal Murray was their best performer in the playoffs in 2020.
I mean, I disagree with that over the course of the whole thing. But
you don't
he was
think,
great in the
you
Lakers
don't think
series.
the argument
Lakers
can be
series,
made?
he was better. Lakers series, he was for sure better. Yeah, Lakers
He wasn't
series,
better
he was
against
for sure better.
Utah as well.
No, Jokic was frying him, bro.
He
respect
carried
him.
through that Lakers series.
Yeah, I know. But
Jamal Murray wasn't the Nuggets' best.
No,
player
he
against
was
the
great.
Jazz.
No, he was great. He had 39 in Game 1. He had 50. Then he had 42. Then he had 50. I agree. I would say you can say he was better.
Wait.
No, he was great. He was great. I'm not trying to troll.
He's
Like,
talking
you know
about
me.
the
I'm
whole
not trying to
show.
take away from Jamal at all. But I just think people are misremembering Jokic in the series, like on a play-by-play basis. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like Jokic was going nuts. That's all I'm saying, Martin.
They both
They
played.
both played amazing. I fully agree with you, but I also remember I was very pissed before I started my platform in Game 7. Jamal was nowhere to be seen once again in a Game 7.
Which
Could
Game
remember
7 you talking about?
Game 7 versus the Utah Jazz happened, right? But March, you got to
The
remember
game that ended like 84, 80 or whatever.
80 to 78. But you got to
And
remember.
was it Torrey
Shot
Craig
at the
who
end.
missed the layup in that game? Was it Torrey Craig?
Yes, he did a Russell Westbrook. But you got to remember, Mars. This is why I have
Tomlin.
feelings about this. Remember 2019, Mars. Jamal Murray Game 7 versus Portland. Nothing. 0. Data. 4 of like 18.
Oh, so you thought you were seeing a trend?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Keep it up. That's all.
He was cool again, but you was in Game 7 against San Antonio in 19, and he was cool in that game.
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool. Like him, but he was cool. But like,
He
remember,
wasn't great in that series, though. He was just okay.
Like that was his. Yeah, he wasn't. From my memory. Yeah,
He had a little bit of that tag swap actually.
what'd you say? Mars, say it again.
He had a little bit
That's
of that.
why I said
Oh.
he wasn't that great against San Antonio in the series.
What tag, Damian?
He had a little bit of that like big moment tag. Like is he a big time player tag? He had that for like very briefly.
And then he got he's the ultimate big moment guy because the bubble and 2023 happened. And then it came back because then he wasn't good in either of the last 2 postseasons. And maybe he's just a very good but kind of volatile offensive player. I think that's the reality.
When you rely on that much skill and shot making,
Exactly,
you're gonna
tough
have
shot making.
major.
I Carson, I will stand on this hill. I still think he has the second best layup package in the league. When he before his AC4,
Who tapped out?
Sorry. Hello.
What
I
the
said,
Can you hear me?
hell?
I said Jamal's
Well,
layup package was sexy and then got hit with the most literal pause. Everybody paused for like 4 seconds.
yeah.
I was like, was that wild? I think it is.
remember pre-ACL Jamal was dunking on everybody, and he had the craziest layup package this side of Kyrie. My brother, I still remember Mars splitting the double team. Rudy
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
layup like. We haven't. That's what I'm saying. Rudy been getting fried by Denver for years. That's why this 3 games was so frustrating, Mars. Oh my gosh.
Nah,
Getting his
his
get
layup
back.
against the Lakers was crazy.
Yeah, he coming
His
back
layup
though, so
against
you
the
know another 3-1. Damn, Rudy gonna have 2 3-1 leads blown against Denver.
Yo, Carson, before we do move on, I do got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because we had a pretty intense debate yesterday and somebody left black, blue, and bloodied. But the conversation was really at their very best, at their apex. Who was the better player? Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic? At their absolute best.
Jokic. We can't do the revisionism here, man. And like at this point, I'm an Embiid advocate. I love seeing him ball out, but like the playoff dropping was egregious at his best, and the jump shot completely leaving him, and the passing being so bad, and more turnovers than assists every series. Like, look, man, you have to be so hard on Jokic for what's happening this year. I don't think he's the best player in the world, and I've been saying that for months. I think it's Shea, but some of the revisionism with him is kind of crazy. Like people going back to 2023 and it's like, all right, you can say, oh, he played X seed. He looked at arguably the 3 best defensive bigs on the planet at that time. Bam, Gobert, and AD. He fried every one of them. He averaged 30, 13, and 10 on 65% true shooting. Like, I think that's the greatest offensive playoff run ever. So you just have to go with that.
But he was only a +3. He was only a +3, +2. If you look at the numbers,
he was.
They were actually.
Matter of fact, Mars. People said that DeAndre Ayton was the Jokic stopper because of 21. That was the narrative going into the Sun series. So I don't want to hear this. I'm tired of Mars doing this like fake. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna be fair and everybody give me. Mars used to be on that train until it got too popular, and then he jumped off the train and jumped on the hate train to course correct. I know exactly how you work.
I don't think it's +7 in 23, so that's not true about +30 by the way.
And he was a -3 in 22, and he was still great. He was the best player in the series.
I mean, bro, it's like you can't really use a 5-game on-off sample size.
Yes, it was.
Steph was the best.
Steph played versus the bench in that series, brother. Yeah, Bryn Forbes. Good job.
No. Steph came off the bench. He did not play against the bench. Steph came off the bench. He didn't play against the bench.
Bryn Forbes is built like Mars, playing in the NBA, guarding Steph Curry. That's what it was. He's the same height as you. He's the same height as you.
He's built like me. I can assure you of that. That doesn't mean that.
All right, y'all. We gonna keep it pushing in the super chats because we got a good amount of them. I talk. You listen, sent through a super chat and said, Mars, do you still think that Jalen Duren is a better offensive player than Chet? If so, why? Because Chet is a much better court spacer and lob threat, and Jalen Duren hasn't shown he is an elite post threat.
Yeah, probably not.
Wait, when did you say that?
This regular season.
Well, this is a regular season
playing good,
saying, right?
Well, I said that, but I didn't know Jalen Duren's offense was this easy to take out games. I didn't know that. So,
also, Chet's offense translated really well in the first series, which it didn't necessarily the first couple years.
I still have my reservations with Chet, but the utility is valuable. So
sure.
I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
All right. Masinko said.
Good to see you, brother.
All right, Damian.
See you, Damian.
All right, Dame. Masinko said, well, 2016, everyone was getting bread. Tyler Johnson, Allen Crabbe, we're getting racks. Mike Conley might as well be CP3 in the free agent class.
Tyler Johnson, brother. Where have I been? Who was he? What team was he on at that point?
Miami.
Yeah.
That
was also a trash ass free agent class too.
It was.
Did he wear number 2?
Tyler Johnson?
He had like a little afro, like or something.
Yeah,
like
he
that?
did. Yeah,
he did. He wore
Did he wear 2 or 11? Why am I?
Bro, I can't remember, bro.
Tyler Johnson was all right for real. He was a lefty. He was built.
No, you're right, Mars. He wore 8. Yeah.
I like Tyler Johnson.
Boy, shout out
for a second.
He had a good promising first couple of years, and then it all fell
What happened to him? With the injuries, he just fell out of the league.
I think he just
fell I didn't keep up with him to know. It just looked like he just fell off a cliff from my perspective.
He was a good bench scorer.
I haven't thought about Tyler Johnson since he got his contract. That's literally how long he's been.
He hasn't been in the league in like 5 years, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I remember Tyler.
All right, Big Zod Dr.j, the GOAT anime, said late to tuning in, they actually got a nigga working today. Imagine that. But since nerds are here, we have to retire the Paolo fraud narratives now. He be BSing in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he hoops.
Yeah, I just left that whole segment alone because I refuse to be gaslit about what I've seen from Paolo in this series.
You're not being gaslit, you're being corrected.
No,
Paolo was really good in game 1, was mid in game 2, 3, and 4, and was really good last night. And now he's a player.
I wouldn't say mid. He was good in game 3. He was good in game 3. Game 3, that was like
he was terrible. He was really bad in game 4. He was really bad in game 2. Game 3, if I remember correctly, I'll say he was good for the whatever.
He passed good.
And then game 5 he had a double. And game 1 I think was amazing. And now he's a playoff riser again.
Yeah, over 17 games in his playoff career, he absolutely undoubtedly is a playoff riser.
No, that's fine. You can say it for this series. He has not been on playoff riser, Paolo.
I think this is actually probably the worst playoff series of his career. Like that was the best game. He just had the best playoff. He's
playing versus the best defense in the Eastern Conference.
He is shooting 44% on 2.
Who's helping him?
And he does that
shooting
like
from 3 though.
In the playoffs.
Maybe he's just a shooter now.
38%.
You do this with Kane all the time.
Paolo is shooting 50% at the rim in this series.
With Jalen Duren.
No, with the Pistons, with the
I'm
Min
not
Thompson
about to be
too.
personal.
All of it.
I'm sorry. I'm watching these games. This is not the evidence of, oh, you
Matter
were
of fact,
so wrong
Carson,
about Paolo. Last night he was
remember
amazing. I'm going to give him his credit. but
Mark
I'm not about
saying
to
that he had a Sar
rewrite
Thompson ahead
this.
of Rudy Gobert in top 3 in DPOY, and that's who's guarding Paolo.
No, he's guarding Desmond Bain. What we
Bro,
Yeah, he's
they're
winning.
switching
Min Thompson
everybody
weak
right now.
side.
Failing with the
No,
agenda,
he's rim
You're just
protected.
failing with the
They're
agenda.
switching
He
everybody
got-
right
He
now.
said
he got
he's
to-
he is
he got to deal with a
represented.
Sar and
Asar-
Jalen Duren rim
Every
protected.
time
Asar-
Paolo-
And Beef
every time
Stew,
Asar
rim
comes on
protecting.
the weak side,
Yeah.
he's smacking Paolo short every time.
I mean, he has made some amazing plays and help. He also has 7 stocks in 2 different games this series, and 3 or more stocks in every
talking
game,
about?
and
Wow.
3 or more offensive
And
rebounds in
Desmond
every game.
Bain is shooting like
Asar-
22.
Yeah, he's
Is
cool. He's
fucking
cool. He's cool.
freak.
He's hooping. He's hooping.
And Desmond Bain is shooting like 22%
Yeah.
on twos.
I think it'll be interesting to see how this series wraps up. But you got to give Paolo props. He was amazing. I do think his physicality is an edge in the playoffs. Some of the other stuff I am skeptical, like Mars, of being sustainable. But maybe he does just fuck around in the regular season and then lock in the playoffs.
Swiper doesn't watch the games as I went through detailed in fourth quarter, by the way, possession by possession. I just disagree with the assessment. That's the difference. Pack up casuals. Next super chat.
Teddy Hart asked a very good question. Shout out to Teddy Hart because he's a Hall of Famer, and he just sent through a $10 super chat. This is what Teddy had to say. Y'all really think KD want to go compete versus OKC with that scorned crowd? Bitter X that upgraded after you. I doubt it. By the way, I still want the storybook reunion before he retires. A man can dream, right?
Houston would get swept so ugly by OKC. That would be such a bad series.
So with the Lakers, though, like
the Lakers with Luka, they could get a game. I mean, I know they were down 30 at halftime in both of the games. So, yeah, they'd get crushed, but it would be more interesting than this Houston team that is 0 ball handling. And they're shooting.
well, I feel like
sucks.
Houston's defense though would be the thing that you would hope would be able to slow OKC down some, but I don't know. I think this it's a cakewalk either way.
It is a cakewalk either way. I said before the playoffs, I think OKC doesn't drop a game in the first 2 rounds.
There you go.
Big Zod JJK, the GOAT anime, said, y'all see Duren got a little bit of his lick back. He needs to do more, though, because real life, he getting his heart took by Wendell, and he already got his girl took. Damn. He probably tried to spin Angel's block again.
I've never seen this dynamic play out. And do you remember a time where we've seen this, where relationships were played out on the floor like this?
The closest you'll get is when Brandon Ingram hit a game winner over Anthony Simons because they messed with the same.
So
the same
the closest one was when Seth Curry was cooking Paul George.
Wait, did they date?
Over Doc
What, Seth Curry and Paul
Rivers.
George? No,
No, the daughter.
Over Doc Rivers' daughter.
That was right.
Doc Rivers was, but my thing about it is I don't think this is all that. I honestly don't think this has anything to do with anything. Like I don't. You know.
Well, the biggest one I remember is what happened on the same team, and I'm not talking about that one, not the Cleveland
Nash?
one. That one too was crazy. The Cleveland one, but no, I'm talking about the one with LA back in the day, but before social media. Remember that one with Mr. 32 and over there, like that was crazy.
And
Tony Parker, who was it?
God.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was someone.
His wife at the time.
Yeah.
She was on the show.
Eva Longoria was
her
name. Yeah.
I thought he was crazy for cheating on her. Carson.
Jason Richardson and the other.
Yeah, I said
Steve
Steve
Nash.
Nash.
Delonte West.
All right, you didn't have to bring that one up, Carson.
Just saying.
Well,
right,
Derek and Matt, they were already done. They weren't even on teammates anymore.
Brent Barry, thank you.
The next super chat is from Nims Gassed Up. Said, question for the nerd. What's the most impressive stats you've ever seen? Also, one of my buddies put me onto your content a while ago, and your channel is awesome. Have a good day, panel.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What's the most impressive stat I've ever seen? There's a lot of ways to go with that. I immediately want to go to Shea Glaze because I actually do think one of the craziest stats is a Shea ISO and Shea pick and roll this year. Those are 2 of the 5 most efficient play types on record with a minimum of 300 possessions in a season. Shout out Automatic NBA. He tweeted that out. He's got great stats. But I don't know. I mean, it's such an open-ended question. Like, there's some crazy stats that are just never going to be broken. Like, nobody's ever going to break Stockton's assist record or steal record. I think he gets overrated because of that. But
Is Scott's record going to be broken? The assist in the game?
What did he do?
That's
20,
crazy.
30.
What was it?
30.
Oh, yeah.
Counting assists these
I thought it
days?
was
Shit,
27.
probably.
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I do think it's possible. It is possible, but unlikely for sure. That is a crazy one.
Bam scored 83, man. Let's not forget that. Bam scored 83.
Akeem's, although actually, if Wemby breaks Akeem's career block total, that'd be crazy because that is a ridiculous record.
Yeah. I think Carson, your craziest stat,
Yeah.
besides the Josh Allen glaze, that's obviously wrong. Was
Well,
when
Josh
you
Allen,
do,
that's a great. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Sway, because he's number one all time in playoff yards per game, touchdowns per game, top 3 all time in touchdown to turnover
yeah.
ratio.
Now take out the first round and let's go from
points
there.
per game in the playoffs.
Yeah,
They're
he's
actually still really
a
good.
DeMar
We've
DeRozan
actually
in
done
the
that.
first round.
We've actually done that in the numbers.
I was
are still really
actually gonna give you a compliment. It's actually
Oh,
when you
thank you.
did the stadiums. I told you
Oh,
this. The stadium
you did tell me
stats
that.
were
Yeah,
the
yeah.
craziest thing I've seen. Mars, did you see that episode? Where he named all the
Mars is a
stadiums.
fake
They
fan.
went through all the stadiums in the NBA and named all of them.
That shit was
No.
tough.
I've
I
seen
couldn't
most of
do
the
that.
trivia episodes, and I be hating on my burner accounts. So if you see a hate comment, one of them is probably me.
Thanks, Mars. We need that. Somebody needs to bring us down a peg. You and
no
Demar.
problem. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
We
The,
have,
cra-
I
the
mean,
craziest stat I've seen is Draymond had a triple double without points. That's ridiculous.
Oh, that was crazy.
that is insane. That
I don't
is
know how you don't just score 6 more points, but shout out to Draymond. Steve Kerr was holding him back from that 6 points apparently. So
God.
Yeah. Actually, a cool stat that I found the other day. This isn't the craziest stat I've ever seen, but Wemby in his second full career playoff game had the first playoff game on record with 7 or more dunks and 7 or more blocks. Wemby is going to have like a million of these things that we're just like, what the fuck, man? He
That's
might
crazy.
break Akeem's 5x5 record, which right now
what's
is
the
like
playoff
totally
record for?
untouched. The playoff record for blocks?
Yeah.
11?
10 or 11.
In a game, yeah, well, I could check both actually.
Oh, you're saying
Uh,
career.
Yeah,
Career
I was
Duncan has it in a career. I don't remember
single
exactly
game is
what it
Andrew Bynum 10. I remember that game.
Damn.
It was against the Nuggets. So against the Nuggets. I knew that from a trivia.
2013?
2012 year. 2012 year.
Yeah, 12.
Um,
Wow.
Hakeem also has 10 and Mark Eaton has 10. Rob Will had 9. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then
Isaiah Stewart
career,
had
like
8
you
in
said,
17 minutes.
Isaiah Stewart just had 8 in 20 minutes.
17. Yeah, he's the first guy to ever have 8
Yeah,
in
shout out to
under
him.
20
And
minutes.
then blocks in a playoff game in the career is Tim Duncan by a substantial margin. He's got nearly 100 over Kareem.
Mm.
And then blocks in a single postseason, 92 is crazy.
For who?
That is
Hakeem.
insane.
In 95?
94.
5 or
94.
Yeah. The craziest, actually, I mean, Dikembe in 94
Yep.
across the series
6
when they
games, yeah,
upset the
6 games.
Sonics and then they played the Jazz, he averaged like 6.3 blocks a game. Maybe it was 5.8 blocks a game, but it was around 6 over 2 rounds.
I mean, have you guys seen the
that
Wilt
was a fluke
updated box
series.
scores? Have you guys
Yeah.
seen the Wilt updated box scores?
That was awesome.
Those might be the craziest. I mean, his last year it says he officially averaged 5. I think it was
5.4.
And he has games
Yeah.
of 23 blocks.
Bro, I mean, like we've been saying this, Mars, you and I have been saying this. If we had all the data for Wilt and Bill, there'd be years where they're up at like 8+. I wish we had it all the way through their careers, but yeah, that was
Last
cool that
legs
they
Wilt
came out with that.
5.4 blocks a game, including games with 23 blocks.
The plumber era getting crazier and crazier. But let me shout out a couple of our members in here. Renegade FGC became a new YouTube member on Player's Choice. Shout out to Renegade. JRock16 also became a new YouTube member. Shout out to JRock and Renegade. Anime is cool. Said this man Paolo really a playoff riser. Cade is a hooper. Reed Shepard stood on his nuts in the 4th, and Uno showed he's still the system. Dub off hoops.
Yep. And US believe they lose. They will be blaming James Harden.
They were trying to do that for game 3 and 4. Even he didn't play well. He wasn't
Yeah.
the worst Cav.
It was crazy to me how it was like 90% focused on Harden, nothing on Mitchell. And I'm like, they were both really bad in those 2 games. And I love Donovan Mitchell, but I've been disappointed by him.
Just the life of being James Harden.
It is.
Fred Vincent Fan said, I was at the game last night, and man, oh man, I don't even know what to say. What a duel between Cade and P5. Asor is just unbelievable. Pistons in 7.
Carson, I had who was my first team all NBA all defense Mars? It was Rudy, Chet, and Wimby, and it was Derek and Kaysen, I think. I had a star on second team.
Yeah, you was hating. I remember that.
No, I wasn't hating. I just disagreed with you.
Yeah. What was your argument?
Well, Derek. So the Derek White one.
I had Derek on too. I wouldn't go Kaysen over Asar though.
So I went on the on-ball stuff for Kaysen when I put it together. It was like 1 of 1 basically on the season in terms of on-ball defense. The Derek one was a little easier. The defense would pinpoint better with him on the floor, and he was like the best for protecting guard in the league this year. So that was pretty easy for me.
I just think Asar as a help defender is so fucking destructive. Well, he's also an amazing one-on-one defender and really good matchup versatility, but man, he just wreaks havoc. Yeah. I think he makes the most fun defensive plays to watch in the entire NBA. Like maybe Wemby just because he can do shit nobody else can, but Asar also does so many things that nobody else can other than a men because they're clones and they're absolute freaks.
Suggs game 1 was that was a reminder game defensively.
That was an amazing game. Yeah. But Asar, it's like, bro, the ground that he can cover and just the fucking plays he can make with his bounce, like it is ridiculous. And instinctually, how many like inbounds has he stolen this series or like lazy little passes? He's insane.
Yeah.
Top 5 defender on the planet.
Yeah. You guys, Swiper's not a good person. I just want you guys to know that. He's just not a good guy. All right. Don't let the gimmick fool you. He's not. But Pip named Slickback said, this new NBA draft lotto system is horrible. The worst team in the league can fall to 12. The NBA is going to create a permanent underclass of teams.
Can we sometimes can we like let something happen first and then be like, oh, that was terrible, or say, hey, this was actually a good idea?
I think trickle-down economics is a bad idea. Always.
Like, here's where I take issue with it. First of all, I think even if they just fully flatten the odds, everybody in the lottery had even odds, that would be an overreaction because that's too hard on bad teams who do need a good chance at the top pick so they can actually rebuild. This goes further than that, though. And it says, okay, you have no incentive to try to be the worst team in the league, right? Because if you are the worst team in the league, we're going to punish you. So under that system now, where nobody is trying to finish as a bottom 3 team, the teams that do finish as the bottom 3 teams are going to be legitimately the worst teams. They're not going to be tanking. They're just going to be incapable of winning basketball games. And those teams are getting punished for sucking. So I don't think it's a tanking solution. I think it's just like, I guess this is going to please the public, they think, because we're going to be like, fuck tanking. But it's like, no, you're not actually screwing tanking. You're screwing the worst teams, and you are going to create this
5.4%
bottom dweller
class. You should get punished for sucking. Figure out a way to get better.
But 5.4% relative to. So wait,
get better by hiring people that can develop.
But having the same odds from 1 to 3 as from 10 to 11 to 14 or whatever. That doesn't make sense. Like you increase the odds if you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You have a third better opportunity to get the number 1 overall seed if you're in that gap.
Swipers, sometimes some things don't make sense until they do. You know what I mean? Like
it's still a lottery system.
It might not look great, and I'm not even saying it's gonna work. I want to be clear about that. I'm not saying this is the solution. I don't know what the solution is, but I mean, this is what you get when people play with no integrity. When you go out there and you tank and you just don't try to compete, then the powers that be, the people that got control of it, they change the rules up. Now deal with this shit, and if this doesn't work, they'll figure something else out. But
so this is officially being implemented. It's on
May 28th. But what happened is, per the information I had discovered yesterday going into the show, they have already agreed on the majors. They're just deliberating on the minors. So it more than likely will be ratified come May 28th.
So bad. I think it's
for really 3 years, by the way, just for 3 years, 27, 28, 29.
And I'm on team. If you have the worst record, you should get the number 1 pick.
So we've changed it twice in the last 10 years. So people understand. Like this is the second major change from in the arbitration process on the NBA to fix this in the last 10 years.
Well, Swiper, the problem is people are going to try to take advantage regardless. So it's just like until we just compete instead of trying to work the system all the time.
My idea that I came up with, and apparently they did discuss this actually, is just freeze the lottery odds at like the All-Star break. So at that point, for the final third of the season, nobody has any incentive not to compete. So at least that way, there's like a section of the year that is supposed to be competitive for everybody. And it's usually the section of the year when the tanking is the most egregious. Because I think that's the way to balance. All right, we want to reward the worst teams, but we also want to disincentivize tanking some. Every other solution, I think, that like disincentivizes tanking is too hard on the bad teams.
Well,
And I really
Carson,
don't
why
think
do
there's a
you
perfect
feel
solution here.
like, and this is because you're on the other side of this as well, the NFL has
Yeah.
tanking teams as well. Why do you think the NFL is different? Is it because of the amount of players, amount of games that make it different?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think NFL tanking is way less egregious because you can't tank in football in a full speed life or death sport like you can in the NBA. What I'm saying is in the NBA, you can put out bad players and they can play with super meh intensity. You can't do that in the same way in the NFL.
Remember when Lovie Smith did that with the Bears to they had
Yeah.
the number 1 overall, and then you know what I mean? Then they ended up winning.
True.
So
Teams can do it for like a week or two at the end of the year, but
Yeah.
because it's 17 games, there's more urgency on every game. And I think the other thing is tanking isn't as prolonged in the NFL. In the NBA, it's a multiple year rebuild. In the NFL, you can reload so fast. You tank 1 year, and then you're probably back to trying to be competitive because the NFL doesn't have that same tolerance for year after
But wouldn't that
year
make sense though on
rebuilding.
the NBA side though? Then Carson, if you're saying, well, then let's increase the odds. You can get top 3, the best picks, as opposed to being recycled in the system, having a third less of the odds, which means decreasing the likelihood you get one of the best players in the draft, thus increasing your tank probability.
Increasing your tank probability for that season, but possibly making it so you can get out of the rebuild quicker. I think actually even like the flattening of the odds that we saw already, a team like the Wizards, you know, they kind of get screwed over where they are trying to tank. They're trying to be the worst team, and they end up winding up with, you know, not a top 2 pick. And then that keeps them in the cycle for longer. I think that's a problem because some of these teams don't have avenues to just like becoming good, just becoming competitive. They need elite draft picks. And if you make it harder and harder for them to get them, I think they get stuck in the bottom for longer.
You're muted, Ron. Yep. Great job, Ron.
Most sense he's made all day.
Along this same topic, my man Jason A123 sent through a $10 super chat. His $10 super chat actually skipped the line over all the $5 super chats. Jason A said the NBA should favor big market teams with better draft lottery odds. It's a shame Chicago's been mediocre for so long. When big market teams are good, ratings rise and the whole league benefits. Guys, I made a video on social media talking about this type of stuff. I agree with Jason. If the NBA is actively rigging, if they're actively rigging the draft, there's no way Chicago should be bad. There's no way the Brooklyn Nets should be bad. There's no way the New York Knicks should have been bad for as long as they were bad. If you guys are rigging the draft, there's like, you got to give one of these teams a number 1 overall pick. If you're rigging it.
That's why I don't think they are rigging it. That's where it's like people can always point to the certain examples of like, oh, how'd this happen? The Pelicans get the number 1 pick right after they trade AD to the Lakers. And it's like the Lakers could have gotten the number 1 pick that year, the Zion draft. The Knicks had the best odds to get Zion. Like people point to these examples where they have their conspiracies, but I think there's so many years that disprove that because the big market team didn't get lucky, you know? Also, I think this is kind of a crazy take. I do not agree that the NBA should be rigging the lottery for big market teams because big market teams already, they have more. I mean, free agency isn't a factor like it used to be, but it's easier for them to entice stars to come play if it's like a trade situation. If you're Charlotte, you have to do it through the draft or else you're screwed.
Do you think the NBA is there player mobility? Is it worse than the NFL? Like team to team, getting all the teams, going to a new situation?
Like, do players have less control?
Mobility, yeah, less ability to be able to move around. Because obviously you got the franchise tag and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think NBA players still have more mobility than the NFL, but I think the difference is less significant than it was a few years ago.
Because
and part of it is exactly everybody's getting locked into big contracts, and so nobody has any cap to actually play with. And so it's like you can demand a trade, but you are still under the control of the team. But NFL players in general, there's just a lot more ways that they get screwed. Contracts not guaranteed, tags, and shorter contracts. It's a much much less favorable business. And their fucking PA sucks. The NFL PA is terrible at negotiating for them.
But I do think it's interesting, Ron, that you're locked into a deal for 7 years, basically, or 8 years in the NBA. But now the CBA is making it impossible if you're making $50+ million, unless you are an absolute monster and your team is underneath the second or first apron. You literally cannot move. There's no way for you to get out of your situation.
All right, we got a couple other new members. The first one is a guy that's cool, and his first name is James. James Cool 347 became a new YouTube member. Shout out to James Cool. Also, Academic Athletic Freaks Force. It's quite the name. Academic Athletic Freaks Force became a YouTube member. Shout out to that guy. Also, Teddy II for PV sent through a $5 super chat and said, if Bron is the first one to blow a 3-0 lead, nasty convos will be had. Only fair because everyone said KD's legacy was on the line in this series.
KD's legacy shouldn't be on the line in this series. He's old. LeBron's even older. They both have historic longevity. I think they're just building at this point. I don't think they can really hurt their.
It's just really
careers.
speaks to how bad Şengün is, that his legacy is not going to be affected in any way, shape, or form by this. No one cares enough. He had 13 points yesterday, and it was just like, no one cares.
He gave a motivational speech. So.
I feel like Swiper.
He elbowed Bron in the head.
Or no, I'm sorry, Carson. If being old protects your legacy, if it's an excuse, then get your old ass out the league.
No, I mean,
so the only
think
reason
it's
to play
more
should be
so-
for legacy.
I mean, that's a part of it. Yeah,
what
but
I'm
that's
saying-
not the only reason. It's a lot that goes into it.
it's different between KD and LeBron because KD is not 41 and he doesn't have the best basketball resume ever. And he was supposed to be putting this team over the top, but also the Van Vliet and Adams injuries screwed them.
Absolutely.
And Şengün is underwhelming. So like for all those reasons, I'm like, if you're looking at KD and you're like, this is the run that defines you, when he already has the 2017 and the 2018 finals and he already has an MVP season and all that, I'm like, that's unfair. Like if you want to hold it against him a bit, okay. LeBron, I really do think at this point, he's just playing basketball at an age with a level of NBA experience that nobody else ever has. So it's like, there's no 41-year-old standard to hold him to. It's like Vince Carter was a corpse at this age, you know,
Right.
if you're
Well,
looking
I'm
at
not-
his peers, Kareem, this
necessarily
was his
holding-
last year.
I'm not holding anybody to anything just based on age. Like, I don't care if you're 17 or 71. Like, if you're on the court, I'm going to treat you like a professional basketball player. And we're not going to take anything away from LeBron James if they lose this series. Like, I'm not going to – that doesn't erase 2018. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't erase anything. It just adds on. Like, it's like now you did all these great things. Now, if this happens, it's not going to, like, subtract those great things. It's going to add to the whack shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we can't talk about what you're doing on the court because you're old as dirt, you go sit down somewhere. Go hit the rocking chair, old dude. You know
We can, but somebody earlier was like, LeBron can't be the GOAT if that happens. And it's like, no, LeBron is already the GOAT. You can't retroactively take that away because, no, I agree. I mean, if LeBron is underwhelming in these last two games and they lose, like, be critical of him for that, but also understand they were never supposed to win this series. He's a big reason they went up 3-0 because he was the best player. And also, like, what standard are we holding him to? Because, I mean, we ranked our top 30 players in the NBA. Me and Logan did. I had LeBron like 24 or 25 or something. I'm not viewing him as a guy who was supposed to be getting to a top 10 level anymore. So I'm not going to be like
first team
so
All
disappointed.
NBA last year. Should have been, I mean.
No, he wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was not as good this year as last year. He took a step back,
So,
which can happen when you're 41.
I mean, that's so I think that's just the difference with me and a lot of people. I'm not necessarily judging players based on expectations that I put on them before the season. Like I'm not giving you extras because I expected you to be worse. I'm not taking nothing away because I expected you to be better. I'm just trying to rank you based on what you're doing. And you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I expected the Lakers to win the series anyway.
Okay.
So if they lose, I'm not gonna. The only thing I'm gonna say is like how you go up 3-0 and lose. Like that's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's bad.
Yeah, well,
the bigger difference. even over these last couple games, like LeBron hasn't been as good. The jumpers left him, but a lot of it is Kennard being totally X'd out, Smart coming back down to earth in a big way, the shooting sucking. Like a lot had to go right for the Lakers to go up 3-0, and they're just not that talented as a team. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, there's definitely a world where like LeBron deserves to be slandered for this series, but just keeping it to the context of this series, not making it a bigger thing about trying to retroactively change who he's been as a player.
Oh, Carson, it's absolutely a world where LeBron gets slandered. Around this time next week, one of them two will be getting cooked. The thumbnail is set. The title is set. Oh,
if
it's
KD
on.
doesn't even play. If KD doesn't even play,
that's what he's gonna get slandered
Yeah.
for. That's what he's gonna get slandered for.
You better bring your ass on this court, boy. I'm telling you.
Somebody gonna catch this work. I don't know who it's gonna be.
You can't get out. You
Swiper.
can't have a 9 turnover game and then just dip for. I mean, I do think he's legitimately hurt, but that is brutal for the PR.
Swiper. Braun's thumbnail is gonna say 4-10-3-0 lead. That's all today. That's all we're gonna see. That's his legacy. 4-10, 3-0. Y'all just remember those numbers. But ISO Help 22938 sent through a super chat and said, forget playoffs, forget awards, forget championships. Just rank players based on basketball ability / talent. Who's the top 5? All because I don't think LeBron makes it when it comes to that. Is LeBron not top 5?
Yeah, I mean, you said that in pounds. You one of us? Oh my god.
Bron's not top 5 across the pond.
He's Sean Kemp. He's Sean Kemp. That's all it is.
Sean Kemp that could pass.
Yeah.
I wonder how old these people are.
But like Sean Kemp was
Sean
nasty.
Kemp was nice. Sean Kemp was
Like,
nice,
but hold on, Swipe. But like, obviously, I think Bron's better than Sean Kemp. I'm just trying to put a little love on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Where my Sonics head go?
Sean Kemp was nasty. I mean, Bron's better, obviously, but shout out to Sean Kemp.
All right, the next super chat is from Joseph Washington. Said, PC football still a thing, Swiper?
Every Sunday we go 11-1, and Carson will be on this year getting fried, especially for his Lamar Jackson take. Shout out to you. Press Box every Wednesday coming back in the season, 8:30 p.m., and we will have a brand new layout come this next season. It is about to be crazy, the stuff we're about to do behind the scenes. I can't wait. Ron's finally getting out of the way as well. Like, bro, that means excellence is coming. Go ahead, Al.
I'm a panelist next year. I'm actively in the way.
Wait, Carson, can I get a brief summary, brief preview on your Lamar Jackson take?
I don't have anything against Lamar. I'm just very pro Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is one of the greatest quarterback talents, one of the great playoff performers ever.
Man.
Yeah.
You guys can finally see eye to eye on something, huh?
Here we go.
I love that. No, Josh is like my favorite athlete ever.
Oh, man.
I am very, very high on Lamar Jackson.
I'm like actually a Bills fan. I don't know.
Oh, you're a Bills fan.
I'm a Bills fan. Yeah. So he's what Jokic is to you, he is to me. He's the fucking savior of my franchise.
Once Jokic leave Denver, it's wraps, brother. I don't tell you. I ain't got that kind of loyalty.
Yeah, right, Swiper.
that
Yeah,
kind of
right.
4 days ago, it was ready to
Wow.
be in Denver.
Wow. See, Carson, this is what I'm saying. Like, I am super, super high on Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It's just clear to me that Josh Allen is better.
All right,
I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, all right, bet.
I mean, we can look at the
let's run a
playoffs.
poll.
One guy's got
the
13 touchdowns to 11 turnovers.
Cool.
The other
The
guy
last
has
time
like
Lamar and Josh Allen saw
40
each other in a playoff
touchdowns
game.
to
I distinctly
10
remember
turnovers.
Lamar being clearly the best player on the floor, and then Josh Allen, great 126 yards passing, good sir, game manager, great, wonderful job, great job.
That was one of the worst playoff games of Josh's career, but still,
What was
you know what
last year?
Josh didn't do?
was
Josh
last
didn't
year?
hurt his team in that
what
game.
did he do last year?
What did Lamar do in the first half?
What
of that game?
happened when he saw Bo Nix last year? What happened when he saw Bo Nix last year? Who was better?
Okay,
Who was better?
first of all, he didn't see Bo Nix. He saw the Denver defense.
Oh no way!
Second of all,
Get out of here!
Second of all,
Get outta here!
we can go through that game play by play. We can go. Josh made a lot of plays in that game. Josh made a lot of mistakes.
Talking about, y'all.
Josh was
This
not
is
up to the
bullshit.
standard.
This is why he's nasty. He literally had the ball running around at half. And
Could you
that
let
was
him get it
horrible.
off,
That was
Swiper,
horrible.
please?
That was horrible. And
Some of us wanna hear this.
Triple coverage.
Swiper. Okay,
Swiper,
Swiper. He had
some of
two
us wanna
awful
hear
plays in that
who
game.
talk.
He had
No, he threw another pick in double coverage.
Are you talking about the Brandon Cooks?
And then on top of that, he had one that got dropped in that game.
Are you saying the Brandon
And then on
Cooks
top
pick was
of
a
that, you're saying
terrible
the
play?
Denver
The
Broncos
ball that
defense-
was in his
Guess what
hand,
happened?
that if the receiver catches, they
defense-
win the game?
I'm sorry, I gotta step in, and the only reason why I'm stepping in, Carson, is because
Carson,
this
get
is
on the show and
this-
get your bootstraps ready.
I would love
this is
to.
absolutely Swiper's arena. And he's not gonna let you get a word
don't
off.
get
If
that off,
y'all
man.
have ever
This
seen
is
this guy
arena too.
right here on the press box, if you've ever seen him on the press box, he is terrible. Hey, y'all think Dion from Ohio's terrible? Y'all thought Ticket TV was terrible? If you guys think anybody
Demar.
on this platform is terrible, he is worse on press box. This guy right here, he won't let you get a single
I
sentence
just
off.
watched Dan
And he hosts the
Orlovsky
show
get up
too.
here and said the offensive lineman should have fell on the ball. That's what Carson just did for Josh Allen. That the offensive
What are you
lineman
talking
should have fell
about?
on
I
the ball.
think that play was horrific. You can't say I just did something I didn't do. Say something that's the
This
opposite
is
of what
player
I
street.
said.
Have you been here?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to let you get away
Happens
with
all
it.
the time.
I'm telling y'all, Swiper like Luka Doncic on steroids on the press box. I'm shooting everything. Every pass has to come from me. You got to
Lot of
get out the way. I
turnovers.
got to get all the rebounds. Oh,
This isn't
definitely
true.
that.
This isn't
That's
true at all.
Jokic. That's not Luka. That's Jokic.
Yeah, a great
Makes
elite
sense.
player, the best player in the world. I agree.
We can't function unless I touch the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we can run a proficient
Hey,
offense without
just
me
because
touching it all the time.
Just
But
because you're
let me
PJ
get it.
Tucker, just because you're PJ
Let me-
Tucker, don't get mad at me.
Let me get it.
All right, Shaw.
Swiper, just because you're Dion Waiters, don't mean nothing. And I'm not talking about Syracuse Dion Waiters. I'm not talking about nasty Dion. I'm talking about nasty Dion.
You're talking about high on the plane, got scared, Dion. Yep.
Yeah. I'm talking about ate too many edibles, Dion.
Yeah.
Academic Athletic Freaks Force said, can we please just skip the second round of the Western Conference and get to the Spurs and Thunder?
I have Denver beating San Antonio, so
That would be a great series.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon. Oh boy.
Peyton Watson will be back next round, right?
Maybe he's came back and got hurt again, man. This has been a lower body injuries, man.
Man, what are y'all doing up there in Denver? So I feel like who's taking care of these?
This is the only year
These
There's not enough blood flow to your muscles because of the altitude.
Yeah, man, that's they need to move that team to a
I
lower
agree.
altitude.
I agree.
I know a good place, too.
Albuquerque.
I know a place.
Ron clapping and twerking
Kansas
for Jokic
City.
after all these years.
They should move the Denver Nuggets to Kansas City.
I think Albuquerque. I think you were spot on with the whole Albuquerque
No,
thing.
Albuquerque
What about
has high elevation too. It's not as high as
Topeka,
Denver.
Kansas.
Wichita,
I can
you
get with
said?
that.
Wichita would work. I said Topeka, but yeah, either
Oh.
one.
Garden City.
It's funny because y'all never been to any of these cities. Y'all just yapping. Go ahead. Next year.
Virginia Beach. We can see Jokic's beach bod. Young boy Goated said all the haters like Chill and Mars. Let me move you up here, buddy. All the haters like Chill and Mars said the Knicks were done. Brunson back to being a top 7 to 8 superstar. Cat and OG hot. We're going to the finals.
We just lie on my name for fun these days.
Nah, I remember it.
Facts.
Damn, Mars. Thought you was better than that.
Nah, I'm not.
Goon King Forever said, y'all Meg fans need to leave my girl Lexi Brown alone. Meg knew what Clay was. It was just her turn. Any dude with a boat is a player. I'm sorry.
Y'all doing
Carson, thoughts on this
y'all doing
situation?
Clay so bad on the internet. Like, man, leave Clay alone.
Dude, I am not sharp enough on this situation. Who the hell is Lexi Brown?
You know who
WNBA
WNBA player.
player.
You know who
WNBA.
Lexi Brown is.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I did. Wait, how is
Shout
she
out to the
involved in
Seattle Storm.
Ox, how
Her
is she
and Clay
involved?
are well acquainted.
I don't know how she's involved. She said it's not true, but I mean, what do I know?
Her
I
and
don't
Clay
know.
are allegedly well acquainted. I don't want to.
This ain't no big deal, man. This is people just regular life shit, man. And it's it's the people on the internet making it a big
The
deal.
Meg
It's not
stands
no
are saying
big-
who was Klay Thompson
It's
before?
not no big deal. Hey,
before Meg.
that's crazy.
question.
My thing
That's a
is
good
this,
question.
Swiper. This is the
That
thing.
is an awesome take.
He could have shot her.
All right.
He is
Laura,
one of the
by the way,
finest shooters ever. He is one
Laura-
of the finest shooters ever.
You know what I'm saying,
remember-
Mars? Hey,
He wouldn't
Clay
have
don't,
missed.
hey, Clay don't miss. You know what I'm saying?
Clay don't miss, man. Clay don't miss.
Clay,
So what you trying to say is it wouldn't have been no toes that got hit? It would have been.
all I know is Clay was with Laura
She
Harrier.
wouldn't have been on stage
Ox.
twerking 3 nights later. Is what I'm saying.
Do you remember who Laura Harrier is? Ox, you remember Laura Harrier?
Laura Harrier.
Laura Harrier, chat. Look up Laura Harrier. He was with Laura for like a minute, and so I didn't know they broke up until like not too long ago. And then I know he was talking to somebody else, and then the whole Meg thing. Bro, dating an NBA athlete is tough. That's a
Man, that's the immortal Klay Thompson. This dude is 35 years old, ain't married, don't got kids. What you think? Man, go on somewhere with all this bullshit. This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal at all. And like I said, if Klay would have shot your ass, you wouldn't have been twerking on stage 2 days later. So just be happy.
Oh, and on top of that, Clay, brother, you got a Rolodex. Salute.
Facts.
Hey, I can't wait to see the next chapter.
Check Klay resume, man. Damn.
And it's not quite Derek Jeter, but like you moving like Derek Jeter in 2026.
Mark, they're saying you
boy.
need to Google Laura Harrier. It's Harrier.
Great actor.
All right. Tika DeCoon said, chill. Shout out to your Mets. Swept by the Rockies. 14-2 loss to the Nationals. Y'all really thought you ran New York. Knicks and Yankees parades this summer.
They got swept by the Rockies 14-2. No, they got swept by the Rockies.
They lost to the Nationals 14-2.
They got swept by the Rockies though. Damn the New York Mets.
I'm trying to get to Denver and go to a Rockies game. I got to.
Bro, we can go for cheap, bro. Let's line them up, bro.
Go
drink some Coors Light.
I don't go to cheap stadiums, so
I go to a lot of baseball games.
I'm not going to 10 with you guys.
I'm cool with that. Ron, you weren't fucking invited. God damn. We were talking about you not going.
My bad.
We know you're not going.
I'll stay at y'all business. Y'all going to get brunch before that?
Yes, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, mimosas with each other.
Yes.
Carson, did you hear these guys'? Did you hear these guys' story? I'll tell you offline. I don't want to embarrass these two. Look at Swiper blushing behind the mic.
I do. So yes, I will have some mimosas and glizzies at the game.
Yeah, that's valid. Those are some of life's joys.
First off, Carson, what Ron doesn't ever like to admit and tell you, I room with Drench, and I remember he came to wake us up one day. I was already up. He was standing over Drench's bed like this paranormal activity, swaying from side to side in a hot sweat. So he never liked that story being brought up. He was definitely drunk. He was sweating the alcohol out, standing over Drench like, oh, I thought this was my bed. This is a true story, Carson. I'm not kidding. It was 3 a.m.
That is disturbing.
It was 3 a.m. He was standing over him in a hot sweat, drunk. And look, Ron, when he goes out, the thing about this chat, y'all need to know, he disappears. Ox disappears safely. I know Ox has a good head on his shoulder. He take care of his business. Ron will leave, drunk leave, and then be on a corner somewhere standing around, just looking around with a glass in his hand, illegally on the street, mind you.
Looking like Ned the Wino, just outside, just stumbling and shit, messing with people. Randomly.
Ron, do you have any defense against the allegations?
And then Ron,
I gotta say, mimosa seems very, very harmless compared.
It
to
is harmless.
over.
And then when Ron goes out, I saw this in person when we went to Indy or we were San Francisco. Ron literally, when he meets somebody, will like, yeah, I'm 6'3", so if you like
bring it up,
brothers, you know what I mean. He said the first thing he said.
Carson, when you're asked a question, you answer it.
Mind you, she didn't say anything to him.
Carson, he
Mind
just
you,
harasses
on the shoulder.
He just harasses people. Just harasses people for no reason. It's like,
yeah,
it's not a good look. Leave them folks alone, bro.
You really shouldn't throw stones when you live in a glass house.
You out here drunk, sweating at 2 p.m.
I'm going to let you guys get this off just for the sake of whatever narrative you're trying to push. But all I'm gonna say is you guys have fun in Colorado, just like you had fun in San Francisco.
Shout out to
that was actually Indiana. Like,
y'all had fun in San Francisco too, with other people from San Francisco. But see, it told you.
I love my San Franciscoans. Yeah,
I appreciate that, Ox.
Shout out to all the sassy San Francisco.
I'm from right down the street, so I love.
You went to get donuts. We got donut holes.
Makes sense why you spent a lot of time out there. What's up, Swiper?
You got a bag of donut holes. I remember that. That's what he had for breakfast one day. He has a terrible diet. Stands around by himself.
A terrible diet and still has a high metabolism. It's crazy.
Donut holes go crazy.
That's how it always works. I think.
But all right, y'all.
I stopped eating fast food.
Doesn't
and
brush
then
his
got
teeth.
Fat.
King Bo said, we get into game 7. Io and Highland questionable.
Yeah. They're going to play, but lower body injuries across the board has just been terrible.
Do you want to win it like this, Swiper, or does it matter to you? Because for
Look,
me,
you know
basketball,
me, bro. I want
give a damn
everybody
how it
fully
happens.
healthy. I want everybody like, with a sensu bean. But you got to do what you got to do. It is the way. I mean, nobody. I keep saying this. Denver wasn't healthy last year. Like they weren't. I mean, it is what it is. Like you got to beat who's in front of you. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
All right, the next super chat is from 989 Michi. Said, my YouTube wasn't working for some reason the first 4 games, but Pistons in 7. Pistons to the finals. Pistons to win it all.
What do you mean?
I
YouTube
agree.
wasn't working?
How convenient. How conveniently. Yeah, YouTube wasn't working. Sure. Speaking of the Pistons, we got another member by the name of Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Royalty from NY also joined up as a YouTube member. Shout out to Royalty and shout out to NY. And Petty Hardaway re-upped his membership. Salute to Petty Hardaway. Pimp named Slickback said, Ox, you'd hate baseball talk. Half the time I'm watching with StatCast, looking at a launch angle, exit velocity, barrel percentage. Baseball is a mad sport.
There's nothing wrong with that. I like that type of stuff. Like, that's cool. I don't like math skitball. I like math. I love math. I'm fine with stats. I'm cool with all of that. I don't like math skitball. I don't like when people manipulate stats to talk about stuff they don't understand. I don't know how many times I got to reiterate this to y'all. There's nothing wrong with stats. Stats are a great thing. Math is a great thing.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is a great thing. What do you say? All that stuff in baseball, exit velocity, barrel, all that stuff. That's dope. That's cool. I'm into that. You know, if you ever have a chance and y'all go have a shoot 360 around you, they got all that stuff that they have in the arenas now too, where you shoot the ball, shows your angles, all of that type of stuff. Everything. That stuff is dope. I think that's a good thing to have. Basketball, the death with basketball.
You don't want people showing you somebody's Darko RPM regression.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. So
Exactly. Who does? Who does?
Yeah, I'll be seeing those graphs. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like if it actually makes sense and it's there's a reason why we're tracking that and it
For sure.
actually translates to basketball, then that's a great thing and we should do it. But I still think that we shouldn't rely on that. We should watch basketball and talk hoop.
And baseball is like a crazy easy sport to just isolate the math with because everything is happening in like such a contained atmosphere. It's like you have one objective. You're trying to get on base. You're trying to get a hit. As a pitcher, you're trying to get the guy out. Whereas it's like basketball, it's such an interconnected game. There's so many moving parts. Baseball, it's pretty easy to like isolate the variables. And that's why I think analytics started so much earlier in baseball. It's just easier to figure out.
Absolutely. And on top of that too, I just want to another thing. It's like when it comes to basketball, baseball, stuff like that, I'm not as attached, so like I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to watch baseball. I'm sensitive and emotional about basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so I go a little overboard. With baseball, I don't care. Like, it's just baseball. You know what I'm saying? It's just watching and have fun.
Oh my god!
I got bad news. I got bad
bro.
news, Ron.
Godly.
My bad.
Ron, you can wait to open up your other like tabs for, like after the show. Just get through this one first.
Oh, got it. Next time it's just y'all just gonna hear whatever.
All right.
But I'm running a poll right now. I asked you guys, whose side are you on? Meg the Stallion or Klay Thompson? And the reason why I asked that is because we got another super chat from La Nigga in Drag. La Nigga in Drag said, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Klay. Lexi Brown is real wifey material. I saw that dude's face when Meg was loud at dinner, and I know that look. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Obviously, NBA really
I don't know
is
if she's real wife.
drama TV for men. Like that's literally what it is, bro. I don't care about none of this, bro. I have no idea the things that make their relationship work or don't work. I don't care. Know nothing about it. Don't need to know.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's
I've
all I
heard
know.
so many stories, by the way, of working in the media side. I don't care. I don't want to know this. Why do I know this? It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't have anything to do with their VORP. Not at all.
Facts.
It's true. But they might need to figure that out in the algorithm. That maybe should be in the formula somewhere.
Wilt
Whatever,
will
like the
skyrocket.
defensive, the assist to defensive box plus minus correlation that's boosted Jokic. They got to do the equivalent of that, but the inverse for Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, wouldn't it be an other side? Would it
I
be
agree.
a devious thing, like a devious factor? Like how devious are you off the floor? How
Yeah.
untrustworthy you are?
Right. But is it a good or a bad thing? It's probably a bad thing, I guess.
Oh, what? It's probably that.
I've never seen that show in my life, brother.
Nah, what's the one that you watched? Old girl. What's her name? Oh, shit, I forget her name. The Arab chick. What's her name?
I'm gonna need a little more out of you, Ox.
Yeah, a little more context.
I don't
a
know.
little more context. What is it? Love Island.
Yeah. Love Island. That's the one. Y'all put
Yeah, I have seen
me
Love
up on
Island.
old
Haven't seen
girl.
the new seasons. Carson, you're gonna lie to me. I know you are. Have you seen Love?
Yeah, Hudder. Y'all put me up.
I've seen one season. Of
I
Love
was
is Blind.
close.
What city? You remember?
It's super. Close.
I think it was the first season. They were in Charlotte. I want to say was that the first
Atlanta.
one?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
actually, you
Chad.
kind of
Chad, y'all
look like
always got
Cameron.
my
You
back.
kinda look like Cameron. That's what actually. Carson,
on,
would you
hold
do Love Island or Love Island or Love Is Blind?
Man, we need to get out of here. What are we doing? Oh,
Yeah, I'm with Mars.
They'd be so lucky as to have me. But
Oh, man.
I would light that show up. They never seen anything like me coming.
All right, y'all heard that. Y'all got a top contestant right here. Hey, I bet they love nerds on that show too. Teddy Hart said CP3 top 5 floor raiser ever, in my opinion, and that's being conservative.
No doubt.
maybe, yeah.
La nigga in drag with another super chat said, "What's your top 5 athlete?"
Womanizers. Ron, read it out. It's a great question.
Nah,
Why
we
not,
don't got time. If this was like an hour ago, we would tear that segment up. But as of right now,
Jeter on that list.
Big Zod JJK, the GOAT anime, said also Swiper, the Chainsaw Man movie, finally on Crunchyroll.
Shouts. You see how
watching
people
movies on
I get
Crunchyroll?
so many diverse super chats, and all Ron gets is "Do your job." That's it.
Swiper, you're watching movies on Crunchyroll?
Oh
Yes,
my God.
yes.
Please, we are so close to the end.
Good film. Good film.
The People's 23 said, Carson, when it's all said and done, where do you think SGA will rank as a scorer of all time? Where will he be all time after his back-to-back?
If you're talking all-time scorer, like in terms of literal points, or if you're talking in my personal rankings, I think he is going to go down as a top 3 scorer of all time in terms of how highly I value his scoring peak. Where will he rank all time as a player after the back-to-back? If they pull it off, I think he'll be a top 20 player of all time and probably at a top 10 peak of all time.
There you have it. Buttered Biscuits said, which duo had the higher DBPM? Diana Rossini?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that Mike Vrabel cheated with?
Mm-hmm.
Diana Rossini and Mike
Allegedly.
Vrabel, or Clay and Meg. Longevity, it clears, but I'm not sure about peak. What's DBPM? You know what that is, Ox?
Fantasy box plus minus.
Absolutely not. I just think you should stay at these people's personal lives. Like Mike Vrabel can hit who he wants to hit, as long as it doesn't interfere. Like as long as it's not in the contract, somebody that works for you that you're not supposed to touch, then okay, do what you do, man. Knock it down.
Even if it is in the contract, it's just a contract.
No, absolutely not.
It's just words on a paper.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
just
If you're
the
not-
signature.
If you're not supposed to be touching these people because they work for you or because they're your assistant and it's in the contract, then don't do that. But if they're not and they're grown and it's consensual,
If it's in the contract and it's consensual and she's grown,
Go 179, knock that down.
hotel room, do it in the office. You know what?
What's your problem?
What you mean? What's my problem?
Next super chat, bro.
We got a couple new members. Joe Cage became a new member, and player 1-J6V also became a member. I like that picture. Bam 83. That's nice. That's nice. Shout out J6, man. And shout out Joe Cage. Appreciate y'all for joining up. If you're not a member yet, go ahead and make that happen one last time. You got an opportunity. Flight sent through a members chat and said, respect Redarius Shepard. Bronze tried to bully him by giving him a shove in the fourth, and he responds with a midi and a steal and slam. He poked the bear.
Yep.
Told y'all about Reed, didn't I?
Facts.
8 Gates Lee sent through a members chat and said, shout out to Dennis Scrotum. Cavs in 6.
What?
He coming for that Hall of Fame, man.
Same OG sent through a members chat and said the refs were atrocious to start the game.
Magic game.
I understand it. Very ticky. It was very different from the rest of the series. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say ticky tack, but very different from the rest of the series.
Andrew Coleman said Joaquim Bomj commit to Duke. Ron and L host.
Yeah,
I see no correlation here, but
he's someone who played in Spain who's going to Duke next year.
Shout out to him. I've seen his highlights a little bit. He played for Barcelona.
It's probably Joaquim
looked all right.
Bontje. It's probably what it is.
Yeah, we'll find
Say
out
it one more time.
Joaquim Bontje. It's probably what it is.
Nice.
Something along those
Shout out Joaquim.
Close enough, man.
It's Z07 said, I'm no longer tolerating CP3 disrespect. Top 20 of all time.
Facts. He is in my top 20. I don't know if he is. I just said that.
He's definitely close.
Top 75. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's on the top 75.
Shepherd's
Too
Pie
many-
finally
too
did
many
something.
hoopers for him to get top 20. Too many hoopers.
Last but certainly not least, Drink More Water sent through the last members chat and said, not the craziest stat, but one that I want to share. In 2019, Ersan Ilyasova set the single season charge record with 51 charges and played only 1,200 minutes. He drew more charges than 19 teams that year.
That's a
Shout out Ilya.
fantastic.
I love
stat.
bringing up Ersan Ilyasova. There's 2 Ersan Ilyasova stats, man. It's going to be charges and that he was player of the week that one time.
Shout out
Also-
Illy, man.
Shout out to Monty Kamara because I think he drew like 3 times as many offensive fouls in total as any other player this year.
Yeah, he be flopping.
Tumani's got to get better this year, man. I hope he's got to get better. He got all the tools.
All right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been real. Carson, appreciate you for pulling up and representing the
job,
half
man.
of Nerd Sesh. You guys, if you're not following Nerd Sesh across all platforms, it's Nerd Sesh across all platforms, right?
It is.
Nerd Sesh across all platforms. Go and do that right now. Their content is amazing. If you like the panel, you'll definitely like them. We'll be back the same time tomorrow, same place. Just we'll have better topics. All right, y'all.
Merry Christmas.